part of the problem might have been my mic,
All right, we're
because this
live.
thing's super sensitive. Yeah. All right.
And we're live?
Are we live?
Are we live yet?
Come on, YouTube.
Yeah, you're live. I just got the notification.
All right. Welcome.
Hang on.
Hang on. All right. Hang on.
We're waiting. Good to go live. We're live to episode 100. Is it fucking me up, huh? Yep, classic. God damn it, I hate YouTube.
Apparently we're live, aren't we?
I know.
Yeah, I got the
We're
notification
live.
already.
We're live, boys. We're live. Eric's working out technology, boys.
Technology issues always
Technology.
are gonna
Oh wait, hold on.
be
Hold
painful.
Oh wait, yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, you're live.
Episode 100. Do you want to move in, mate? I can't. I'm out of frame.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
All right. Now I'm kind of in frame. There we go. All right.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 100 of the Red Force Podcast. Joining me today is Christian Talato.
Am I still the guest?
Yeah. And special guests, Drits and Silvers are in the house.
So I'm the guest, and they're the special guest.
The only
they're the
guest.
special guests, alright?
What's
Don't
going
worry
on,
about nothing.
guys?
Yo, dude, why do you guys have the chat up on the screen while you have a chat like on the stream?
Yeah.
This chat
I guess it's
sucks.
for.
It's for
I
the
guess
video.
it's for yeah, it's for
Whatever. Don't worry
replay
about
value.
nothing, alright? Don't worry about
Doesn't
nothing.
it happen in the replay where it's live time?
Hey man, BDA Law does it, so
Yeah, we're just following
I
BDL
do
laws,
it.
alright? Shout out to BDL Law.
all right.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you a specific question. You blokes in EST time.
I'm in Central Time.
Central
I'm
Time.
Eastern.
It
I'm
is
Eastern.
indeed 7 p.m. So the boys should be coming in shortly. But
Eric once again doesn't know what
you're
daylight
prepared,
savings
alright?
is. He doesn't know.
Daylight savings fucked me again.
Doesn't know what daylight
Oh
savings
yeah,
is.
we did have daylight savings recently.
Should have
So,
calculated it.
you know, it's an issue, but you know, we're here, we're live.
All right.
What's
It
been
is.
going on,
Yeah,
boys?
you're probably not going to get Brago then because I think Brago is doing a stream with BMC about Hunter x Hunter
Yeah,
at 7.
no,
or
it wasn't
an
at
hour,
7, it was
rather.
like 4:30.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
they had to push it back.
Oh, well, yeah, sweet. That's
A lot of
great.
the boys said that they were going to be coming through a little later though.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we got our here. We got our boys. We
Not the
Drits.
boys, don't worry about it.
We got our boys
People will
Drits
come.
and fucking Silvers, whatever his name is. You know.
I'm the most reoccurring guest on the Red Force podcast.
Is that true? I
course
think
I'm
that
gonna
is
be here.
true.
No, that's crucial.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh man.
100
Though he was more
episode
like
guest.
though he was more like a co-host, but okay.
All right. So, like, we had plans. All right. We had plans to get people.
Yeah.
But you know how the anime community is. You know.
They turn up when they want to turn up. Now,
Exactly.
boys, we've got that chapter to talk about.
Sure.
We've got many
Ooh.
things to talk about.
Yeah.
Fritz, you know, he's gonna be like, that chapter was trash. I hate everything.
I'm not going to say anything unless I'm asked.
Okay.
All right.
Oh wow.
All right. He's not talking.
He's not talking.
He's not talking on
No,
live
no, at
stream.
least about the chapter. I'm not going to try to intentionally drag it down.
Okay.
Just
I'll
that's
just
your
talk about plot points.
All right.
just that's like your whole identity now.
I'll
You
do
have
it so
to
that
drag
you
it
guys can
down.
enjoy it more. I'll try to be what's it called, family friendly. I'll be
Family friendly. Okay. You don't have to be family friendly
yeah.
here. All right.
Did you guys mark the channel as not for kids?
I don't know. Are we for kids? What do you reckon, Christian?
I mean, we
Absolutely
do swear. We do.
Yeah, you guys say
Cool, cool.
cunt, so
Hey, come on! Don't get us demonetized, Silvers.
Yeah, come on.
What are you
Alright.
doing? What are you doing? Don't get us
I
demonetized.
apologize.
What are you
I
talking about?
apologize.
All right. So, I guess we'll just talk a little bit about the chapter. You know, classic Wano flashback chapter.
Mhm.
We get Scabbards. We get, you know, Odin being hype. We get Neko and Ino, and then we get Whitebeard.
That's right.
That's basically the
Oh,
chapter.
absolutely.
Right, now we can talk about, you know, Odin himself and his kind of, you know, morals and what he stands for, which is, I don't know, like, I can't get a read on Odin's character right now, because it's like he's morally righteous, but he also doesn't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
Well, I feel like then you should basically know exactly what he's like.
That's basically his character, right?
Well, yeah. Well, for me, he's like I guess to a lesser degree. I mean, he's basically just a Luffy copy, right?
To a
This is
certain to a
exactly
certain
how
extent.
Luffy lives his life.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
so.
Luffy doesn't have a moral compass. He just does
I mean,
things that he wants to do.
I mean, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
I feel like
You
Oden
know?
has his own moral
Right, and that's
compass.
exactly what Odin does. So like Odin will like walk around and then he'll walk away. He'll just do things that he wants, doesn't expect things.
Oh,
Kind of like
yeah,
that,
I
right?
would. I would definitely say
But
he's a
then
lot
he
like
gives,
Luffy in that regard.
but then he gives money to Orochi because he feels bad. At least in this
Yeah,
Yeah,
he-
graph,
well,
yeah,
Luffy gave money to these citizens in Orangetown after
yeah,
their
but
place got destroyed. He felt bad for them.
he does what he wants, but when it
Yeah.
comes to actually helping people, if he feels it's the right thing to do, he'll do it.
all right.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll go chronological with this chapter. So first of all, the cover page. Apparently last week was completely irrelevant because whatever vacuum lady was just a gag, I guess. Nothing happened there. Do
Remember her? Frankie kissed her. Do you remember that?
you remember that kiss?
Yeah, him and Senior Pink were fighting over her and her eyes.
Yeah. So we get that, and then we get the new introduction of the germ pirates. Okay. Where is this going? Where is this going?
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Yeah.
Nowhere.
I don't like
Uh,
not anywhere that's real. I think it's just supposed to just it's kind of like most cover stories. Most cover stories
Yeah.
are just like there for like filler for the most part.
Filler? Okay.
I'm
There
not.
you go.
Yeah, at the end it'll probably tie in at some point, but it's usually never anything really serious.
Okay.
Yeah, literally until the end. I mean, look at the Caribou cover story. At the end, we actually saw X Drake. A lot of these cover stories really have nothing to do with anything. I was hoping that this would lead Capone into leaving the New World because at this point in the story, I feel like we should start axing off some of the supernovas and start whittling down to the point where we're getting into the
Wait.
people who are actually going after the One Piece.
Silver's
That's
axing
quite the
off or
segue.
asking off? Which one? Which one did you say?
Say it again.
Did you say axing off or asking off?
Axing, AXING, axing.
Because when you ask a question, you also say ask a question.
I say asked.
All right.
I pronounce the SKE and the D.
Let me ask you
Alright.
something.
Oh
I'm
my
Drizzt.
god.
I don't know if that's
My
I don't know if that's
vocabulary,
PC,
my
'cause-
vocabulary, and my pronunciation is immaculate. It is immaculate. Except when I'm around other black people.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
when.
I think most of the Capone cover story will be like every single other cover story where it'll just be a bunch of stuff that we'll look at until the end, where they'll probably be like they come across some place, nothing concrete.
Yeah, Christian wants that Senior Pink cover story with Frankie.
Exactly.
Alright.
That's in your pink cover story.
Okay. One, we may get it. I mean, Eric got his King Kong Gatling and Stampede.
No, I
Christian.
did not get my King Kong
Yeah,
Gatling
that's
and
a spoiler.
Stampede. It does not count.
Yes,
Alright.
Silver's. Can you stop spoiling everything?
Who cares?
That's
the
a
movie
spoiler,
came
dude.
out 3 weeks ago. If you're a One Piece fan, you've seen the movie. Alright?
And
haven't seen it.
yeah, at this
Well,
point,
Drizzt,
if
we-
you haven't seen it or
I said if you're a One Piece fan, you've
Exactly,
seen the movie,
so-
so you haven't seen the movie.
I read the spoilers though, so
Yeah,
yeah,
you read
at
the
this
plot.
point, if you haven't seen the movie or read the spoilers, you don't care enough to
I mean,
care about whether or not somebody spoils.
except for the UK because they literally can't get it, but
they
Yeah.
can pirate it.
yeah, they could.
What's wrong
They-
with UK? They can't get it.
There's no theaters.
UK doesn't
screening
get
it.
anything
Yeah.
ever.
Sad to be
Yeah.
the UK, you know.
Anyway, let's actually get into this chapter. What do we even start on? It's like what?
Well, I guess we have to talk
Kawamatsu-
about what
Kawamatsu?
things that there are to really talk about.
No, like the start of the chapter is Neko Inu and Kawamatsu, right?
Yeah, they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get the Mink law that the Mink tribe and the Kazuki clan have been working together for centuries.
Which we know.
And
yeah, apparently
if-
it's
yeah.
not. It didn't start with Odin or his father. This was like Void Century stuff, maybe even
Okay.
further.
I think we all knew that.
Yeah,
was the
it's been
case.
common knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been common knowledge as well that most of them don't actually know anything. Most of
Yeah.
the Minks, they don't actually know why they do what they do. They just know that it's a thing.
Christian and I are always clearly the other races are all part of the ancient history and some kind of bond.
some sort of alliance.
Yeah, some
No.
kind of
Yeah,
alliance.
agreed.
So,
So yeah, giants, fishermen.
giants, fishermen,
minks,
mink,
yeah.
maybe skypians.
How about
Oh.
bird people?
You mean Morgan's, who's not a real person.
Oh
Whatever,
my
dude. Whatever,
god.
dude.
That
So
was a
like,
dead theory.
so they just decide to go to Wano, which is like okay, for the purposes of brevity, all right. They just go
Sure.
to Wano, to go check out the Kazuki clan. Somehow they find Wano and go up the
In a
waterfall.
tiny dinghy.
Yeah. Were they swallowed by a carpfish? Maybe. I don't know. You can throw
Their
out all your theories. How the
their
fuck they got
ship
up there?
Yeah,
wrecked.
everyone.
Their ship wrecked on the shore of Wano. They went through the whirlpool, and just like Whitebeard and Big Mom, they washed up on the shore.
Yeah,
And
but
And
they had to.
they didn't get amnesia, so they're stronger than Big
They
Mom.
don't have a
Big
devil
Mom's got
fruit.
that
Fact.
devil fruit.
Don't have that devil
so,
fruit druids. So
You know,
Big Mom sank. They
Luffy also didn't get amnesia, so don't worry about
Luffy's
nothing.
stronger than Big Mom.
That amnesia plotline still baffles me.
It's
It confuses
infuriating.
me. I don't understand why
it
it was
was
necessary.
it was literally only there just so we could get a breakout for Luffy and them at the prison,
Yeah.
and to remove Queen from the prison while Luffy and company did everything that they needed to. I'm still curious as to why Queen hasn't gone back to the prison yet and just fucked everything up there. Again, sorry,
That's
excuse
kind
my
of funny
language.
though. Something that I noticed is that like the story we were told prior to coming to Wano is that there's a no like closed borders policy. It's a closed borders policy. Literally everyone just
Strolls
winds up in
up.
Wano
Yeah.
and they just like chill there. Like that the Kawamatsu's mom just like landed in Wano and just became a part of the culture there.
Yeah,
what's it?
right.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Literally build a wall? I don't know.
I don't know, probably should have killed her.
I mean,
They
technically, they
tried.
do
I
have a
mean, yeah, they
wall.
have a wall.
Look at a wall and then a waterfall you have
You
to
know,
climb.
those pesky immigrants managed to get around that wall.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
apparently, that they need to get a new what's it called? They need to get a new like typhoon thingy.
Sure.
They need to
We can
put up the
talk-
money for that because it's definitely not effective.
Like we could talk about Wano and like its pre-Orochi sort of feeling. The only difference is like the flower capital is the only place that's good, rather than everyone still kind of has the same attitude in
Yeah.
Wano. So like, like Orochi just took all the resources and put it in the capital? Like, did he completely screw over the culture? Not really. Like,
Doesn't seem like it actually.
yeah. So like, why is Wano worthy to save? They're just like, is the Onan the only reason?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
It's still
I
up
mean,
in
as
the
far
air
as we've-
why the border is like so heavily
Closed.
closed. It has to do with the
Yeah.
city of gold or whatever.
Yeah, maybe
but we
we'll
still
get a
don't know really
flashback
why.
in a flashback, or we'll have a Ryuma flashback.
The Yuma flashback, yeah, sure.
Fuck, it's gonna. Look
But-
forward to it.
Like, I get like, sure, like Oden's supposed to be the the open-minded guy who's gonna take Wano into the next age by opening up the borders, and teaching people to be more open-minded.
Sure.
But we look at the people now in Wano, and we look at the people of the past. They're basically the same people. Just some people are suffering more than others.
Well, a lot
Right?
of people are suffering more.
I mean, the
than
main
others.
difference is basically just Kaido.
I mean,
The
I
water,
mean,
Since
the
it's only,
Orochi
food.
it's only
took
because
over-
of Kaido that came. Kaido was the one who came down and then made all those factories that actually like polluted the land.
Yeah.
Sure.
Orochi
Yeah.
didn't do that.
Let's talk
I
about
mean, but Orochi
and Kaido for a second.
allowed
I mean,
it.
Orochi corroborated with them, but I mean, the person who's actually responsible for it's Kaido.
Do you guys like Neko and Anu this chapter? Because like
I mean, they're cute.
they are
Yeah,
cute.
they were-
I like how, but the problem
I mean,
is
in terms
right,
of like, there wasn't really too
s-
much there.
the scabbards I already like are getting like more
Spotlight.
development, and
Yeah.
the ones I don't like aren't getting anything. So it doesn't really fix the problem. I already like Neko and Anu,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah, definitely.
I
They're
want to
cute, though.
like the other ones, but they're like, all right.
I want to touch
he's-
Inurashi's pet dog ears.
Those two in
I wanna
Stu
touch his
form are gonna
paws.
destroy the battlefield.
His little
Oh,
foot.
so good.
Oh my god, Neko and Inu. Okay, what is everybody's opinion on the whole? You remember the theory that Pedro's alive because the full moon and
No,
he
Pedro's
rapidly
dead,
healed?
alright? Don't-
Yeah,
don't
I'm
shoot it
saying,
out.
yeah, I'm not that theory was dead on arrival.
You think they're gonna grow back their legs and arms?
I don't know.
and so
Is it
on?
though?
I'm asking. Yeah, it definitely is, Dritz.
Is
Yeah,
it though?
That's the question that I'm posing, Eric. Do
Dritz
you
wants to
think
know.
that theory? Do
It
you
doesn't
think that
really
that
matter.
theory
Like loss of limbs doesn't really mean anything in One Piece.
for for certain characters.
Yeah, so
Well,
like,
no,
I
no,
mean,
no, 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 no. Never mind. I retract that statement because Kiros was running around Dressrosa as
Oda
if
Yeah,
he
literally.
had both legs.
Oda refuses to put peg legs on any character. They're just walking around with one leg.
I don't get that.
It's
You
because
had
Zeph is the only
Frankie.
one.
They're too strong, alright?
Zeph is the only one who can have the peg leg.
You had Frankie right there. Just give him a leg. Just
Nah,
replace their
man.
limbs.
That's his ninja way.
Yeah.
That is
His
way.
Nindo. Oh no, not Naruto.
Basically, like, Neko is like missing his hand. It's just a star.
Hello, lads.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, what's up,
King
man?
King of Lightning.
Wait, what was that reaction? Yo,
Oh,
fuck
man.
you, I'm leaving. No, I'm done, Eric. I'm done with
Big
this guy.
King, I'm just shocked.
Goddamn cocksucker, bro.
You come in,
I'm
you
leaving.
come
Fuck
in.
you, bro.
You covered with the heat. I wasn't ready.
Really? The heat? I just did hello, lads.
Yeah.
And all of a
Wait,
sudden,
hold.
fuck
Wait,
you,
hold on.
cocksucker.
Pause. Time out. I
Fuck
say cunt, and I get the full reaction.
Hey.
He just said fuck. He just said fuck
trying to- we're trying to-
everybody.
We're trying to make money off this stream,
Stop saying
Silvers.
cunt, alright?
Stop saying
I'm not silly
God.
for that. No.
They
You
are.
want
I mean,
cuss words
everybody.
now. You want cuss words
You
now.
want to be?
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't want to
absolutely.
be. No.
That's
You
right.
don't want to be in the kid-friendly zone nowadays. Hell no.
'Cause that's
That's
a
right.
terrible zone.
Guaranteed no
Be
money.
provocative.
King, talk to us about
Exactly.
this
Maybe
chapter.
show a little skin.
Oh,
Talk
just a
to,
little bit,
talk
you
to
know.
us about
A little
Whitebeard
bit of
versus Odin,
man
alright?
nipple.
Yeah, maybe just
Say again
one
now?
nip. I don't know.
Talk to us about Whitebeard versus Odin, or where Odin will be when he fights Kaido. Is he Emperor?
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
man.
Whoa, we just hopped already.
Instant,
Okay, damn.
instant.
I don't give a
Instant.
fuck.
Yeah. Instant
Instant.
power scaling.
I want to hit. I want to hit that. I want to hit that heat.
Look. I don't want to go as far as to say that, this man is Yonko level because of one
No.
clash.
This man
But
has
people
so
have been
much sauce on
saying.
him.
But
I
people
mean,
have been-
he's very clearly 3 notches above
what the
Yonko
hell is that
level.
talking
Oh
about?
man, is that Tekken?
The Tech King
Yes.
returns.
How you doing?
Not bad, man.
What
How
up,
you
baby?
Oh,
I'm
my
good.
gosh.
No, but
Pretty
yeah,
sure
Odin
he
is
can.
very clearly like if you take all Yonko together, maybe Odin might have a challenge. But I think he's clearly
He's
the
godly.
strongest
He's,
ever.
he's a godly
Yeah.
beast.
No.
Okay,
But no,
No,
yeah,
alright.
stop.
seriously,
Okay.
let's talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm one of the people who put, I think, too much love for the swords in One Piece, but the community from that one clash between Odin and Whitebeard, they instantly threw Odin above most emperors now.
No,
Wait,
okay,
who-
no. It's
who
not.
did
It's
that?
not even the
Alright,
clash.
whoa,
It's the
whoa,
fact
come
that
on. Yeah.
the man said that he was incredible. So it was
Also,
and,
did
and,
you?
like, and by,
I mean,
like,
yeah.
and by the way, like, so someone in my chat when I was doing the live reaction, they noted how, like, if you look at Whitebeard in this chapter, you can see why Marco said what he said during Reforged War, because Whitebeard is like mega perceptive. He's mega like his hockey seems to
Observation,
be
yeah.
very good in the opposition sense. So the whole thing with, let's say, Squardo, he would have seen that he would have seen that like coming a mile away and dodged that easily.
Well,
So
Uh,
if he was
first
still
of
back in his
all-
prime.
First
all
of
in the
all,
hair.
is this Whitebeard Prime or is
It
this almost Whitebeard Prime?
It's Whitebeard
Apparently,
Prime.
it's what
It's-
it should be.
it's
It's like
Whitebeard
Whitebeard like
I would
40.
say it's actually pre-prime because his crew's not fully
Be-
developed.
be
Whenever
right
he
back.
was in his prime, he
Well,
was fighting Roger in his crew with his crew. This
Well,
seems to be
that's just
pre-prime to me.
assuming that
Anyone got an age for me on Whitebeard here?
he should be
36?
40. He should be
He's
40.
44. He's 44 in the time skip. I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
in
But
the
he
flashback
should
right
be
now.
clashing with Roger at this point.
Or
'cause-
close to.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's 6
yeah,
years
Yeah,
after.
'cause Roger,
Yeah.
this time skip I keep saying time skip. This flashback right now takes place 5 years before Roger found Laughter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
this
they
is,
should
this
be
is
clashing.
right around the time
yeah.
he would be clashing with him. Yes.
So this
I mean, like
man-
they probably are clashing, but it's not like daily duels like Miyalt and Shanks.
No,
like,
no,
you know,
no,
like, they fight on occasion.
I mean, I
and that's
would
it, you know,
consider
move on.
this. Yeah, I would consider this prime Whitebeard easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If
Also-
not
Or
Prime
like pre-prime,
Whitebeard,
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
maybe
crazy then
just below.
because that's crazy because Odin having never done anything on Wano's like going
yeah,
up
he
against
fights
Pirate King level
Shintamaru,
people.
right?
That's
He
insane.
fight- he
That's
fights
what
Yeah,
Joji-
but you see
He's
the
got
lore,
like the
like
highest growth rate
Yes,
of anyone in the series.
Oda
at this
has
point.
been gushing about this guy in the lore.
Have you
for
heard
years
about the
now.
lore
The
of
sauce on
Odin?
this man is ridiculous.
I mean, I've seen the slurp, man. The slurp is pretty heavy for Odin.
Uh,
not
to
even,
be
bro.
fair-
He is the Chad of Wano.
To be fair,
He
he's
is. He is.
Undefeated, undisputed, just an absolute
Dritz,
monster
to
of a
be
human
fair,
being. I
Big
mean,
Mom
like
didn't
again,
do
like the
anything.
moment he was born, he
Yeah.
like what did he do? Like he threw the wet nurse when he was born.
Ooh.
It's
Yep.
okay, dog. All right.
I
He's
did
got-
I did
he's got a
whole
big-
thing
he's got a big
comparing
mum
him to
stat sheet.
Hercules.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Yeah.
He's got a big mum
And-
stat
and-
sheet, boys.
In
At the
regards to
age.
the power scaling,
Yeah.
once you get to a certain level, like every fight is going to be incredible. Once you get to a certain
Mhm.
level, of course the emperors are going to acknowledge you. Like even
Yeah.
Whitebeard, look at Whitebeard. If in Marineford, the admirals were still giving him trouble, regardless of how weak or strong you thought he was at that point. even though even if you assume that Whitebeard was in his prime, you have to admit that he would still acknowledge the admirals as quote unquote incredible.
Oh yeah, like if like Prime Whitebeard fought against like Aka Inu now, like if they like yeah, I mean I could see that.
Yeah, and Odin, I think is Christian. I think we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
What was it? Admiral level.
I'm gonna
I would
say
put,
Admiral level max.
I don't know, dude.
I would say he's probably close to Yonko levels. Definitely
Yeah.
stronger than Rayleigh.
Have you guys
I would
seen
go
Definitely
with
the?
stronger
that,
than Rayleigh.
yeah.
definitely stronger than
Prime
Rayleigh.
Rayleigh?
I think he's definitely stronger than
Not
Prime
yet.
Rayleigh.
Yeah,
but
rip my
soon.
boy Rayleigh, dude.
Oh, absolutely not. I will
Bro.
not have the.
Have
I
you
will
read
not have
more?
this. I will not.
To be fair,
even-
to be fair,
even
when the Viz
coming
comes
from-
when the Viz comes out tomorrow, we'll get their take on the actual is it incredible? Is it fierce?
Viper
Is
just
it
called him trash.
whatever?
Something
yeah.
dangerous.
Yo,
Yo,
so,
Yo, even
but,
coming
like,
from
the
the King of
context
Lightning,
the
I will
words
not.
matters.
I will not
Whitebeard was
accept the disrespect from
flabbergasted at
Rayleigh.
Odin.
Look, like I would say that I'm not too sure if, let's say, a Prime Rayleigh could beat a current Yonko. So I'm not too
Okay.
sure. So Odin is someone that is probably has a better chance, considering how, again,
Why's that?
Whitebeard, the man that's supposed to be able to fight against Goldie Roger, can go toe for toe, blow for blow with Odin. So it's like,
Well, I
dude,
mean, you said
you know, I mean,
yourself
so
when you
far.
first came in here, King, that it was just a clash.
right?
Rayleigh
Yeah,
could
it's just a
definitely
clash.
clash
No,
against anyone.
no, but it's not just a clash. It's that he said that he was incredible, or so.
Well,
he was
wait.
incredible. And I was
So
like, okay, so maybe again, like I think right now, considering his backstory and how the guy is pretty much perfect, with the exception of him not being able to sail, so he's basically a demigod.
sure.
And then
yeah.
you have how nothing can
What's
really
this
stop him.
basically stuff, Cole? What's this
He's
basically?
basically a
stuff?
demigod, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like he's teetering. He's
He is,
teetering
he
on
is.
godhood.
Yeah.
It's sure Oda himself has alluded to us through various means, through big name people like Roger,
yeah.
like Shanks, like Whitebeard.
Oh yeah.
Even in chapter 957, like the big it ends off with Odin Wank. Like, hey, like this guy,
Yep.
like remember this powerful guy in their crew. Remember,
Okay.
Sakazuki and Shane, they're all talking about
Yeah.
Odin. Odin has to match the lore, and he's matching the lore in spades.
Dude,
The
my boy
lore
Rayleigh
is
just
out of
keeps
control.
taking L's recently,
Yeah.
man. Douglas
I love
Bullock,
Rayleigh,
the
but, I
strongest,
mean-
and if not stronger. Now it's this chump Odin.
No,
bad,
no,
man.
no.
Come on,
no.
don't bring up non-canon material.
All right,
No,
wait.
It's
Well,
canon.
Bullet is
Yeah.
not canon.
You
bro.
guys seen
Dude,
I mean, the
Bugs
movie's
is
not
already
canon.
canon now. That's what the editor
Hey,
said.
honestly, to be fair though, here's something. We're probably gonna see Roger's crew in a few chapters back then.
Can
Bullet
we-
might be
Yeah.
part of that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's when I'll accept Bullet as canon.
So we'll,
but
If-
until
we'll
that
hang off on
chapter-
that. That could
That'd be
honestly
kinda weird.
be
Oh, guys,
a
what's
week
the-
or two from now. We could
That'd
see
be kinda
that.
weird.
Speaking of Shane,
Yeah.
speaking
If
of
we never
Roger's
saw
crew,
Shiki in actual prime, if we never saw Shiki in actual canon, except for like silhouettes, then how are we gonna see like Bullet? That'd be
Speaking
kind of
of-
weird.
speaking of Roger's
Man,
crew,
Well,
I mean,
I
with
guess we'll
Shiki-
have to wait and see for
what's,
that one.
what's the over
I mean, with
under on,
Shiki,
like,
at least we had a mention of him.
what's the over
Yeah, we
under
had
on
chap-
us
yeah, we
seeing
had chapter
Shanks
0 too
being
and all
trained
that,
by
yeah.
Odin on the ship? Is that a chance?
What's that?
Say again.
Are we gonna see Shanks being trained by Odin on the ship?
I don't think
I
Odin
wouldn't be
trains
surprised.
trash.
No, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I would be surprised
Whoa.
by that.
What?
Whoa,
What'd you
Dre-
say?
That'd be
Dre-
dope.
bro, you said you weren't gonna be negative. You
I'm just
promised.
I'm being
But
provocative. That's
seriously, like with this Whitebeard stuff, there has to be plot around Whitebeard's journey. So we're gonna see him like go around talking to Kaido, fighting Kaido, Big Mom, Roger. What's the story? What do you think's
Next
going
chap-
on?
just probably
Yeah.
a montage.
Yeah, montage.
Yeah, next chapter, I think
Yeah.
we're cutting right over to Whitebeard and Odin
Okay.
sitting down having a
Shout out to all
talk
the
or something.
donors,
I don't
alright?
know, how long was
Yeah.
Odin aboard Whitebeard's ship? Because I mean, they're all kids right now, so I don't know how long was he
We
actually
have
there.
no
And then like, why
confirmed
did
time
Izo
for
choose
it.
to stay? And then why did Izo choose to stay and not go
Yeah.
Odin?
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's
there's
a
some up with Izo there.
5-year period before Odin has to leave, right?
Shout outs to all the commanders, alright?
Yeah.
Because I'll give someone a prize if they can name all of them right now.
Oh, I can do
Yo,
it
I'm
right now.
Dead,
I can do it right
do
now.
that.
Oh,
Go,
yo,
No,
Young
no,
Vision,
Tekken,
go,
Tekken,
go.
you are
Water
disqualified because
Buffalo,
you can.
Water Buffalo
That's
Animus.
not fair.
Courier.
Come on.
Tekken, you can name like the most like irrelevant character in the series.
Shout
I'll
out
still,
to
I
I'll
guarantee.
still do it. I'll do it right now if you want me to.
I guarantee you can name the Alabasta soldier. No, he wasn't even a soldier. The rebellion
Koza?
member in
Koza.
Alabasta.
Everyone
No,
knows who
who
Koza
lost-
is.
That's easy.
No,
Yo,
who
Koza's
lost
easy.
his- He has like the big
Oh yeah,
hippo
that
teeth,
guy. I
and
know
he
you're
lost
talking
part
about.
of his shoulder.
Yeah, I actually don't know that guy. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know his name. I'm not that good.
No, it's falafel. I remember. I got
That
ya.
is
I
correct.
got ya.
Falafel, that's funny.
Bro, Koza's
I got ya.
All right.
Gojo's trash, dude.
His main character, man.
All
I
right.
mean, obvious. All
Oh.
right, going from right to left.
Oh, Moore's just pulling out the camera.
Obviously, Whitebeard Marco, Jozu. People are assuming that's Whitey Bay. Some people said Big Mom. Some people
It's
said
Whitey Bay.
Baki.
Who said
No.
It's
Big Mom?
Whitey.
What?
No, who said
How was it
No,
Big
go
Mom?
Oh,
on
wait.
the One Piece
That makes no
Reddit
sense.
and
The one,
on
you can't use
the
the
One Piece Reddit and Thriller Bark.
Big
There
Mom
are
would
some
be
crazy.
no wait. Big Mom would be just as tall, if not taller, than Whitebeard, dog. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Whitey.
that's
no
why.
way.
That's
Bay,
exactly
like
why I'm saying it's
100%.
That's
crazy.
Whitey Bay 1%.
Whitey
Whoever
Bay,
said that was. Oh my god.
An
Vista.
18-year-old prime
Vista.
time, holy Whitey Bay.
now we'll
She's
be
so
now,
Bay. She
now-
is
Guy
so Bay.
behind
Okay.
Vista is Andre, and
Yeah, Andre. And
I
then
think
there's
you
the
like that
Equator.
white skin.
Andre
don't you?
3000?
Yeah.
You like that pure.
and I
white
can't
skin
remember.
on white.
He said Andre 3000.
Yeah.
This is
And the
fucking
other
Teddy
two, and the
Bear.
caterpillar guy, I'm
Equator.
drawing the blank on his name.
Equator.
Yeah,
Equator.
and the ball and chain guy. Fuck, I just had his name.
Rakuyo.
So
Rocket, yeah.
are these
There we go.
goons gonna do anything to
I
prove
call
their
him Bob.
worth, or what do you?
Yeah,
think?
it's Rakuyo's
he
the
does
ball and chain guy. Epoida's the caterpillar dude. Whitey Bay, Andre, Vista, Jozu, and then we all know the
Shout
other.
out to
Yeah.
Zarkon
Marco.
for the €5.
Here's the funny thing though. Marco is 15 in that backstory. Jozu looks pretty big. He's only 12.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Sure.
Jack.
Vista
Hey man,
Vista is 17.
hey
Yeah,
man.
he's always had a top 10
Jack
that.
Jack was 8 years old when he stormed Wano.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Don't
So
worry
there you
about
go.
nothing. Don't worry
Wild.
about it.
there you go.
Do you think,
Yep,
what,
that's
do you guys
true.
think
Now Oda
Whitebeard's-
could retcon stuff like that at a
Yeah.
moment's notice, but
Yeah.
from right now,
That's
it's
clearly a
because he
mistake.
did that with Orz's
Yeah.
height. He was
That's
like
it.
Orz is like 40 meters. No, he's like 70
No,
meters.
he did it a
Like,
lot, dude. Yo, he said that the
He does. He does.
Like he said that the Sea Kings were like supposed to be like 5
Oda's
kilometers
not a
tall minimum.
mathematician, alright?
I'm like, wait a
Leave
minute,
him
that's
alone.
halfway down to Fishman Island, dog. Are you sure?
My
about
favorite is Zunisha is 35 kilometers tall.
that?
It's
I mean,
taller
I can
than
believe
Sky
it. I was
Island.
like, I think, in the data books, we found out that it eats like these apples from Sky Island. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
then
I know,
probably.
right? It's
Yeah.
like insanely
Yeah.
big. But it just didn't seem that big in the anime, but it
Oh.
is.
With Zunisha, Oda did some weird shit where like so it doesn't look like the elephant can like reach all the way to the ocean floor. Then he
Yeah, the long
released a
legs,
drawing later
yeah.
where Zunisha
Yeah.
just has like secretly like super
Yeah.
long skinny
Yeah,
legs
yeah.
going all the way
Yeah,
Yeah,
down.
what,
yeah.
didn't he base it off
Like,
of like
alright.
some weird painting?
Yeah,
Salvador
Dali.
Dali.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
some
Salvador
kind of
Dali.
painting.
Yeah.
You gotta get
Yeah,
some
he does that a
culture
lot.
in this. You gotta get some
But it's
culture
just
in
insanely big, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
definitively the biggest
Giggity.
thing in One Piece right now. That's pretty
Right.
common, yeah.
Right.
there. Yeah, what about those Thriller Bark things?
Yeah, honestly, those things looked about as big, if not, I mean, maybe a little smaller than
never find out
Zunisha's.
what they
35
were.
kilometers tall is pretty damn. It's like in the stratosphere
Right.
at that point. Like it's huge.
They could be wider, whatever they are. Like,
Wait.
like,
Yeah,
if
they
if they're
could be.
one thing,
I
but,
had a
mean,
theory.
Zunisha's
I
so
was
tall.
thinking about that the other day. Those things might all be part of like one big body. Those might be the eye stalks of like a giant body under the water. You just
Maybe.
don't know.
What
Yeah.
if it's the next villain of the next movie just to shut us all up about it?
Yeah, no.
Nah, I don't
What,
think
the
Oda would
Thriller
do
Bark?
something
Another
like that.
giant
A
thing.
Yeah.
new
to find the-
another
Yeah.
canon villain for
Yeah.
a movie?
Yeah,
Oh.
crazy. It's crazy.
Shout- look, people.
And in the movie, he just beats Shiki.
Just
Yeah.
bring back Arlong.
Shout
Bring
out
back
to Shiki,
Arlong as a
never
villain.
had-
There you go. Done.
Will Shiki ever
Like
show
all
his
along with
face
like
in the
waffle
manga?
metal enhancements and shit, like
Yeah.
lasers and like all types of fun stuff.
Meta
Yeah,
meta
I'll-
meta meta
Even
Yeah.
Arlong.
Shiki couldn't beat it. What?
Oi, King.
You know,
do
I
reckon
actually
Shiki's
I
gonna
talked
get
about
line
this
in the
before in a
manga,
video
or-
last week, but I'm like, what happened to Arlong? Because we just don't know. Like, if you go back to the chapter
he's
when
got a
he's
big-
defeated,
He's
it was
in
never.
video.
He's in prison in the East Blue.
Wasn't there a cover
He
story
is,
about that?
but we just never really saw much more after that. So I thought
Yeah.
maybe he
Yeah.
like he could be a
Oh.
slave in Marijua right now. You just
How
don't know
long
about.
is this video in 2019, dog? That's crazy. All right, I respect it. I respect it. Somehow, some way,
Thank you.
video. No
Thank
problem.
you.
Shout out to
Tucky makes
Arlong.
everything relevant.
Yeah,
Somehow.
at some point it loops back around. At some point, I made a video on all the allied pirates of Whitebeard today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
43 of them. All
Wow.
43 of them.
Shout
Oh,
out.
God.
Marineford was, you know, a clusterfuck to say the least.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's about to get worse. A whole lot
Oh, yeah.
worse.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's gonna be fun, but then
Better.
a lot of characters aren't like. Listen, as long as I get a Brook and Apu, I'm fine. I can walk.
Brook and Apu.
Oh, that would be great.
Is that
That
all
would be
you
so
I'm
want?
waiting. I'm just waiting for Brook and Apu. I'm waiting for this fight.
Okay, King, there is not many things that I disagree with you
Brook would
on.
probably
There
body
really
Apu.
isn't. But the reason, I'll guarantee the only reason you want them to go head to head is because they're both musicians, correct?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, that
yes,
fits.
bro.
That's just
Yes, bro. I
When
want
has
the
Oda
music
ever
that-
given us the matchup we wanted?
Never.
Oh, come
Um,
on. He gives us the matchup we want all the time.
I mean,
He's all right.
Aside
know,
from
man.
Luffy,
there's
aside
no
from
chance
Luffy,
you're getting.
How did
When
last
is we-
chapter end, huh? What did last chapter end with? Matchup
gotta
I
This
This
want
cha-
to see.
okay. Whitebeard and Odin. That's hype. That's
Flashbacks don't
great.
count.
it's not like a
Yeah,
matchup.
right?
Flashbacks do count.
They
Okay.
just clashed.
Yeah, they just
Flashbacks
clashed.
don't count.
If clashes matter,
Well-
then I got the matchup for the character I love. I got
Do
Tashigi
it.
versus Zoro.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
my matchup.
Yeah, that might be extreme diff as well.
And on top of it, Zoro ran away. So Tashigi won that.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I'll give it to her.
I agree with
Oh
this. Yes.
man. Oh whoa. No.
No, we're rolling with that now. That's on your blood.
Silver's.
all you.
You're getting crazy.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm accepting it. I'm pulling
What's
it
your
tie.
handle
I'm
on
accepting
Twitter?
that. I'm
At-
rolling
Is
with
it
it.
at Silvers? No, it's at 6ConGun, isn't it? What's your Twitter handle, Silvers?
6 King Gun.
Yeah, add him and
Si-
let him know what you think about Zoro and Tashigi.
Zoro versus Tashigi. Tashigi won. Zoro ran.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Tashigi won and Zoro ran. All right, note to self.
Hey,
yeah.
if we're counting clashes, Tashigi won.
You
that.
guys subscribing to the theory that Odin gave Whitebeard his scars? Or is that someone else?
No, come on. Wait, how strong do we all
Maybe-
think
Wait,
Odin
which,
is?
maybe
which scar?
one
The man's
scar.
got like a billion scars.
Well, I've seen
Well,
I think he has
why
like
don't-
3 of them on his
he's
chest.
when
Right?
Shanks rolls
Right.
The
out.
three that he
Yeah,
got on
yeah,
his
there-
chest. On the
There's 2 on his
flashback,
chest,
whenever
but, yeah.
he meets Shanks, he tells Shanks as he touches his chest that basically those are the scars he got from Roger.
Yeah,
He says
I mean,
that
it's
back.
implied that
Yeah.
it's Roger at least.
Yeah.
It's either Roger or Buggy or
I
something.
mean, he scars Kaido,
Yeah,
so
Sit or buggy.
Equally as strong characters.
he
Yeah,
scars
exactly.
Kaido.
Again, I don't want to put Odin on that level of Yonko just yet, but I think he's relatively close.
I think
considering.
Oda does, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay,
the way
yeah.
this
it
is so
depends.
apparent, dude.
Do you all
Yeah,
do you all
he's
put
a
Roger and
shadow.
Whitebeard above the other Yonko?
Yeah.
Because I personally do.
I do.
In which case, I would
Yeah,
happily
I
call
do.
Odin
I
Yonko
do.
level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, like we know that somehow, some way, whatever Orochi did, and then Kaido was able to subdue Odin in some way, shape, or form. So, like, he would have to be, I think, at least somewhat weaker
why-
than Kaido.
yeah, it's
current
like,
Kaido.
why would
But
Kaido
Kaido's the
need
strongest
Orochi?
Yonko as we know it right now, so Odin can still
Yeah.
be Yonko
What?
level while
No,
we need
What?
I mean, are we forgetting about our
What?
Shanks
What?
fanboys.
Oh, I'm
Boys,
sorry.
What?
I forgot.
Boys,
don't
I
forget
what
forgot.
channel
I
you're on,
forgot.
right?
What?
Don't forget what
I
choose
made a
channel you're
mistake.
Oh.
God dang, wait a minute.
Well,
He said,
well, thanks for Mr. Morse for turning up to the stream. We appreciate him turning up.
Oh no! I'm getting booted.
Mistakes were made.
Howdy.
Kaido is the current strongest,
Oh,
and
my-
he's
the Shanks
allying
fan's
with
gonna
Big Mom
eat
to
you
take
up.
over the
Oh,
world.
he's just so
Okay.
sweaty when Big Mom turns
We
up.
could
He
put
can't
Kaido
handle
2
it.
or 3 if that makes you guys happy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I mean,
right.
physically
Yeah.
strongest, I would say yes.
No, not even.
Speaking of
Sure.
Kaido, though, that actually kind of brings up like a topic where like, did Kaido actually need Orochi to like
Yes.
scumbag Odin in order to get rid of Odin?
I feel like that's where we're
Because
going,
if he
to
was
be
that
honest.
much stronger than him,
Yeah.
he just would have like beat him
I
up,
always
right?
viewed it.
Okay.
I always viewed it like Orochi somehow betrayed Wano and like allowed Kaido's forces to get in and some deal between them. There's
Well,
some reason why
if
Kaido doesn't just
Orochi-
kill
if
the dude
Orochi
and just
wasn't
rule Kaido
emperor,
Yeah,
and Wano
it-
himself.
Right.
You know, he probably
It's
doesn't want to deal with all the
probably-
politics of it. You know.
Yeah, it's probably he let Orochi take control because it's better to have a face in control rather than
Yeah.
conquering,
You
and
also
you
need to
have a
do
bunch
it-
of
yeah.
a bunch of rebels.
Like
I
the
don't see
samurai need to
Kaido dealing with
follow-
the day-to-day political operations. You know what I
It's
mean?
also a
pretty much.
cultural thing where like the samurai need to follow like a samurai and all the customs and then outside.
Yeah.
And it might be more easy as like a tradition in Wano for someone like at least one of their own to lead
Because
them
we
instead
see,
of Kaido.
we see with the kids, right, in one of the first chapters of Wano, like they're teaching them that like Orochi was the hero. That
Yes.
saved Wano.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's the greatest, and all the scabbards
yeah,
are
it's all
evil,
like
and
a
Odin was
setup.
horrible.
Yeah,
I'm-
they
I'm
pulled
assuming-
they pulled some Senate crap from Star Wars. They made everybody
Yeah.
believe that the Kozuki were evil.
I'm assuming that
Yeah.
Orochi poisoned.
Yeah,
Odin.
Suki. He pulled a
Yeah,
he pulled a
Suki
Dio
lied.
before. Yeah, he pulled a Dio.
Because I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume that Orochi is like, not Orochi. Odin is like Kaido level, and then Orochi had to fuck him up, so like
Hmm.
Kaido would easily beat him.
Here's
yeah, what if,
something
what if
I,
Odin got nerfed?
Yeah, he definitely
Ooh.
got nerfed.
Or Kaido had to beat
I'm
him?
seeing a hard nerf for Odin.
I
because,
mean,
like,
it's understandable
Yeah.
now why Orochi is so paranoid because it's like no wonder he thinks he's still alive
Yeah,
after dunking him
also,
in
like,
boiling water after all the
Sengoku-
crap Odin went through. You know?
Sengoku and Aka Inu are like know who Orochi is. Not Orochi. I keep on switching them. Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See now, Christian, I would like an apology. I'm not the only one who does that.
Oh, I do it all the time. Oda and Odin. Yeah, that happened to me constantly.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
You weren't doing it.
Orochi. I wasn't doing it before. I was doing
Yeah,
it.
Odin, Oda, Orochi, like it happens all the time, bro. Of course.
Yeah. I used to edit it out of the video, but then at one point I'm just like, this happens too much. I gotta geek this moving. I can't stop every 5 seconds.
I'm
You
not
know?
Japanese. I'm sorry. All right.
I just
Just
call
like
him
I
Chad Den. Like I call him Chad Den because that's what he
Chad
actually-
Den.
Chad, that
Chad,
works.
yeah.
That
Now,
works. Yeah.
King, I want to do this here. I got a bone
Absolute
to
fucking
pick with you,
specimen,
okay?
bro.
I got a bone
Like yo,
to
and
pick
then
with you.
plus like again, like the fact that this man incomes like Whitebeard was sweating. Like I've never seen a man sweat that much since a Kainu.
That's
Kainu
right,
is
that's
so
right.
sweaty,
Sweat.
dude.
I'm like, yo, Whitebeard, relax. It's one dude. No, something incredible.
Next chapter. Next chapter's gonna open up. The
Well,
whole
there's a
beach
reason
is gonna
why
be
Aka
devastated
Inu is
after like
definitely
2
afraid.
seconds of fight. You know.
There's a reason why
Whitebeard is bloody
Arcade is
and, like,
definitely
Oda, and then
afraid
like
of
Odin.
Wano.
Oden. See what you did there?
Yeah.
Oden is like, you know, clean. It's like, okay. Sure.
Yeah, bro.
Oh man, but I mean, listen, man. I will say one thing though. Like, even though I'm enjoying Chad Den, the pacing is just kind of throwing me off. Like big time.
Weird,
But at
so
the same
for
time, now we got those comments from the I don't know if you saw Sandman's Twitter
Yeah.
translation of the So it's pretty evident now that I was on the money when I said that the pacing is extraordinarily fast. Again, to me, I think the biggest indication was I really wanted to see Zoro take some time to train Momo. Didn't happen. Like fuck. Okay.
That would be nice. That would have been cool to see.
Now,
Whatever.
if Oda is correct, and indeed One Piece is 5 years to go, which is questionable.
I mean, I always just
Oda's not
But-
the best
I don't know.
estimator.
I
of
just
all
roll
the
time.
best takeaway from that article is that Oda thinks there is 5 years left, which means there's not that many arcs
I
left.
think there's about 3 arcs left anyway.
Yeah, so Oda thinks there's 5 years
I would
left.
argue
So
after Wano's concluded, after Wano's done, you get the final saga right there with the like 2 or 3 more arcs included in that final
Yeah,
saga. and
100%,
then that's it.
100%.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
pretty
think that's
much
much
it,
of a surprise though.
yeah,
The implication at the end of Act 2 was that this is literally the start of the final war in general. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not going to be just like constant war from here to the end of the series, but like this is the start of the final
Yeah,
conflict
it
at least.
depends.
So
Yeah, and
Makes
it kind
sense.
of,
Yeah.
you
It's
kind
the
of feel
God-following
that
that-
considering we're getting a big Whitebeard flashback
It's
right
Luffy's
now. I mean,
God
that'd be
Yeah.
good stuff.
So then question then. So then, do we think that it's possible that when it comes to the outside moves, would Shanks and Blackbeard altercation happen at the end of Wano or sometime during?
I
Wano?
think everyone's turning
I
up to
think-
Wano.
But
I think
King,
everyone's
why is it
turning up.
assumed to happen?
Yeah.
I agree with Christian.
Everyone's
I think everyone
turning
can
up.
turn up to
Yeah.
Wano, but I think Shanks and Blackbeard happens like right before the last arc of the series, basically. Like,
Do you
so-
think?
Yeah.
Do you think like Sword's gonna help Luffy out, or who's helping Luffy take on Big Mom and Kaido?
Probably everyone.
Clearly
else.
Marines.
it's not
No,
gonna
Luffy's
be-
doing
Yeah,
it solo.
everyone who's here.
Because I'm pretty sure that like it's obvious that it's a parallel to the God Valley.
So we're gonna get
we
Marines.
need-
Yeah.
we need,
Yeah, Kobe
And-
shows up
yeah,
and
Kobe-
Luffy
Kobe-
helps
Oh,
out.
Absolutely,
fuck off,
absolutely not.
Kobe.
Smoker
No.
We need
shows
a
up.
full body
Oh
here.
yeah, I
man.
agree with that
Boy,
100%.
boy,
I want Smoker and Tashigi. 100%.
Kobe's still recovering from the beating Boa gave him. All right,
Thank you.
Well, that was a
Dude,
that was a
she's a
sexual
girl, she's
beating,
done,
but
bro.
yeah.
bro. Have you seen
Yo,
Stampede?
Kobe and
Have you
Boa,
seen the
bro.
Boa feet in Stampede? No, you
Yo,
haven't.
shout
Jess.
out
You
shout
haven't.
out to the George because he's waiting for Kobe to just pull some crazy
God,
hockey and
shit.
boas on her
Yeah.
fucking knees.
Oh
Like,
wait.
shit.
Hold
That
on.
would be
Wait.
What?
What?
Wait, well, who? Someone saying what?
Kobe shows up to Amazon Lily. You know Luffy? Yeah, he's like my friend. He's like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Boa decides to
Luffy
just like, well,
fangirls meet up. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like it is what it is. Like, and then Takano, Yume wo, Kaguyazume. Like we're all Luffy fans, yay! And then
I love.
something
Like,
happens.
seriously,
And then
Boa
Bartolomeo's
Hancock
there for
in
some reason.
Stampede, what she
Yeah.
did to Bullet, that was like insanely
It was
powerful. Like
cool.
I didn't even
It was
like
really
what.
cool.
The power of
Heavy-
love
it
is
was
too strong. It's too
But
strong.
listen,
Heavy,
yo,
I
I
did
think
not go to get food. I am representing Zoro fanboy and my boy Eric
Oh,
with the
that's
t-shirt
perfect.
designs.
That
Yo,
is
wait
F
a
the
minute.
George
amazing.
baby.
Yo,
Ah,
That was a-
Good
that was
man.
I
like 2
still
years
have that.
ago.
I still have that
Yeah.
Grand Live Chronicles from when I sent Zoro fanboy that
Wow.
first shirt. Absolutely.
Wow.
F the George, F Kobe.
Shout
Yo,
out to
dude,
George
King, did
Shea,
you see
alright?
Matt retweet Zoro fanboy's reaction to Fairy Tail on Twitter?
Oh
Oh my god, it was so good.
I missed
Now,
that.
shout outs to
he
Matt
sounded
B.
like Riley.
Okay, he said he was turning up. Now, this is the second time he's ditched us on this show.
Dude,
Alright, shout
Matt
outs-
is definitely high right now. There's no doubt in my mind.
God damn it. Every time I invite him on the show, he's like, yeah. and
Either
he
that
doesn't
or he's
turn
on some
up.
edibles.
Well, it might make the stream
they are
more
powerful.
exciting. Who knows?
Make it more exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Come in with that energy.
What do you think's happening next week, fellas?
All right.
With this chapter? With next chapter?
Probably some Whitebeard stuff.
Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Soccer
think
here's
player.
some-
Someone mentioned in my chat about Blackbeard joining. We get to see whenever that happens. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
to see.
he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
What is
I don't know
60?
if this was. I do not know if this was. I just have it in my head that he was 16 when he joined, and he would have only been 10 right now during the flashback. I don't know if that's canon or
Well,
not. I'm just thinking
Apprentice
16.
Apprentice Shanks and Apprentice Blackbeard had to clash at one point.
Yeah.
Right?
Shanks
I
joined
think-
11.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No.
Probably.
I mean, it's not necessary, but it
Well,
could
he
happen.
didn't have the scar in chapter 0.
Yeah, chapter
Yeah.
0 when Shanks was at the execution, he did not have the scar.
So it
Alright.
was somewhere.
Yeah, when
on
he
the
was-
same-
when-
No,
What?
because remember we actually didn't see Shanks's face. You remember he
No.
had his hat tilted
Yeah,
over.
no. Yeah, but later on in that chapter,
Yeah, when
he's
he
recruiting
recruits
Yasop,
Yasop,
and we see
yeah.
him.
And we don't see his face, right?
I thought we saw him
Yeah.
from behind when we
No,
saw him recruiting
No, he
Yasop.
recruits
No,
Yasop,
no,
and we
even
see his face.
in both instances when he was yelling at Buggy, I think that was anime only though, and when he was recruiting Yasop, he had
Hold
the
on, you
hat
know what?
down and only
You
saw
know what?
one part,
I
one of
actually
his
have
eyes.
chapter
Yeah, let's
0
let's
right next to
Carfax
my
that.
We
hat
have
right
chapter
now. Hold
0.
on.
Let's
Yeah.
fact check this.
Here's the Carfax.
Get fact checked, alright? Fact
Yeah,
check it.
I am prepared. I have chapter 0 right here. Hold on.
Shout outs to Tekken doing the fact
No,
check.
I'm pretty sure you're right because I recall him.
Oh no,
staring
yeah,
at-
no, yeah. He does not have his. Yeah, I mean, in the anime, it's probably a different thing, but in the manga, at least, we don't see his face.
Yeah,
Okay,
in the manga,
yeah.
in the manga,
Oh,
we see
that
him
was with
from
the dub.
from behind.
I wonder why.
We
we
see him
don't
from
see
Yeah.
his
behind.
face.
In
Hey,
the
yo, let me
anime,
check episode
he has the
0.
hat tilted down, and we only see the eye that doesn't have the scar.
I
I
wonder-
guess, you know, I
I
always
wonder
assumed
why
it
we
wasn't
don't see
until
his
a little
face.
later that he got the scar. You know, so it
Yeah.
had to been after he started his own crew after Roger was executed, and then before Luffy
Might
at
be
Fuchsia.
powerful.
I
So that
assumed it would
was-
have to be early because I just don't see
Yeah.
Blackbeard like
Yeah, it
without
would've
double
been-
fruits
it
and
would've
stuff
been
getting
early
Shanks
on the
with legit
voyage,
scar.
for
So
sure.
Yeah, that's.
Well,
I
what
don't know,
about the
man.
image of Blackbeard with that Wolverine claw type weapon? I forgot.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that's what he did. Yeah.
Do you reckon he's
somehow he
bring?
used
Do you reckon
that
he's
weapon.
bringing that back when he fights Luffy at the end?
Wolverine claw.
Bring back the Wolverine claw.
that's his ultimate weapon.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, right.
Puts high
Arm
It
and
looks
price.
like
eye.
a-
Crazy.
It's one of like the 12 legendary swords. This is his claw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Staijo Wasamono Wolverine claws.
Yes.
I'm like, damn, okay.
And then he makes it black in the
Oh,
fight.
Yeah, but it's like gold.
Yeah,
Cerberus.
that's it.
It's
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called
It's
Cerberus.
got
Yeah,
diamonds all
that-
over it.
that-
That would be dope, actually.
That would
I'm
link the
telling you,
theory
bro.
back together.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I guarantee. I give it a week.
Calaberus.
You
I give it a week before that theory that
all of you think
Blackbeard's
Blackbeard's
claw is
getting
one
a
of the
third Delphi,
12
right?
shows up on the Reddit.
Theory
Final
theories.
fight, Zoro steps up. Looks like I'm taking this one.
Zoro.
Yo, Zora fans on Twitter be losing their mind.
At
Hey,
that
you
point,
know
Zoro
what?
will have beaten Kaido and be beaten Blackbeard. Luffy's like he can get. big
Here's
moments.
here's something I thought I saw a lot of people questioning, and it's just something that has to happen soon.
Hmm.
It's 30 years before the current storyline. Odin somehow has to meet Toki and have Momo within 2 years.
Yeah.
So when do you think? I
It's-
think Toki might show up when they're traveling with
Yeah,
Whitebeard
I
because she
think
could
it's on the
pop up.
ship.
Yeah,
anywhere.
there's,
It's on the
yeah,
ship.
there's nothing that says that Toki is from Wano.
Yeah.
No,
What-
she's
Says
just
that
gonna
she's a
time jump
time
into the
travel.
future.
What if
Yeah, they
Odin
made- they-
what if Odin steals Whitebeard's girl?
Oh damn.
Oh.
Where's this barking by the way?
Whitebeard doesn't allow women on the ship.
He's got Whitey Bay.
That's
He's got
incorrect.
Whitey Bay.
That is
that
incorrect.
was his rule, though. He doesn't allow women.
He has
No,
no.
the
meme's
no,
over.
that is
The meme's over.
misinformation. That is misinformation. He has women on his crew.
Yeah, yeah,
At
yeah,
the Marine
yeah.
Ford War.
He's
At the
got, like-
Marine Ford War, he took all of the women and left them on an island.
Whitey Bay
Yes.
though. He's got Whitey Bay, so
He's got
the
Whitey
meme's
Bay.
over.
That's-
Yeah.
the
So there you go.
nurses.
Yeah, he has women on the crew, just none fought at Marineford. That was the statement. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, what are you gonna do?
Get body, Jits.
Drit's coming in here with the fake news.
Chris is sexist. That is
We're
a fact.
SBS.
Yeah,
We got some
Drit's-
SBS wizards in here. We're set.
Drit's is the most sexist, toxic One Piece channel on the,
Yo,
on the
I'm in the
internet.
chat with King. How dare you?
Oh, whew. Whew.
Please stop. Don't even get that.
Yo,
Don't
listen,
even-
me and King are men of culture. We realize that the women don't do anything.
Ooh.
Look, man. Look.
I mean, you saw Stampede, right?
Big
Or at least
Mom.
you read
Big
the
Mom.
spoilers.
No, wait, stop. No, right? She did one kick. Relax. Listen,
He
bro.
was pretty
And
sweet though.
it
Oh,
I mean,
my
that
goodness.
was a pretty goddamn
Captain,
big kick
my
there.
God.
it decimated bullets.
Let
She
me-
did that
no.
alone.
She's stronger than Sanji. We
She
can all
got
agree on that.
legs.
Yeah,
She's stronger than
better
Sanji.
legs
Bro.
than Sanji for sure.
Where
She's
is
stronger than
Robin's
Sanji.
fight? Where is Nami's fight? Why did Smoothie do a goddamn thing, even though Smoothie's the second
Hey.
commander?
Hey man,
Like,
she's
there's
in
too many
Wano, right?
instances where Oda's like, okay, listen, man,
Okay,
for
can you-
reasons of feminism and or maybe sexism. I don't know. The females take a backseat.
There-
Stop.
Wasn't
Get
it
out.
confirmed
Okay,
that Oda
can
had
you
plans
name-
for Smoothie and had to cut
Can
them?
you name another female character who not only was able to wield and control an emperor's weapon, but took it with her? Literally stole something
Yeah,
from an
no,
emperor.
Nami was
He
big
literally
in
tricked
Whole Cake
Nami.
Island.
I would
call Nami
probably
the-
say
Absolutely.
Merlin would be capable of that. Oh wait, wrong.
I mean,
series.
according to the guys, according
Yeah.
to the anime, Nami could block Cracker with no problems. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
better swordsman than Zoro, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck that
exactly.
guy.
I mean, according to the anime,
Shoutouts.
Batman low dips
Yeah.
Luffy.
Shout out
Yeah,
to the
exactly,
people who
fuck
think
that
the
guy.
anime's
Fact.
canon, alright? Those
Okay,
people
well,
are in dreamland.
I just saw Joker for the first time last night.
all
Was it
right.
good?
Really?
I
Okay.
I mean, it was disturbing, but good. You know,
I
It was a
haven't been
good
able
one.
to see it yet. I want to see it, dude.
I
That
really
shit was
it's
all
been out for like 2 months. I finally got a
might be
chance
a
to see
life
it
story
last
to
night,
it,
and there was
but
actually
it's-
still quite a few people in the theater. People, I mean, it's still a really good.
Yeah,
movie.
it's really good. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
All right, there you go. Shout out to Joker.
So how'd you compare it to The Dark Knight? Is it better or worse?
I liked it
did-
more
I
than
mean,
Dark Knight.
Apples,
I mean,
oranges?
no one died in the movie theater, so
Oh, damn.
Oh,
That's a
look, damn!
plus.
That's a
Stop
measure of
trying
how
to
good it
stop
is.
trying to delete our channel, fucking Silvers.
I
All
mean,
right, stop
it's
trying to
been- I don't
delete our
know, bro,
channel.
like, It's been a
Jesus
decade.
Christ!
I don't know.
All right, they was gonna start breaking out conspiracies and saying it never happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Hey,
A question.
Matt.
look
If
at this.
you just
Bye, Matt.
Did I just see a rogue Matt B turn off for 1 second?
Yeah,
You did.
Might be actually turn up.
He's like, what? Oh no.
Yeah,
crazy.
apparently.
That's my
Oh, there you go.
that's my guy.
So I don't know. Do you guys want to do chapter ratings? What do you want to do? Do you want to do predictions? I don't know.
Was there anything else? to
Before
talk
we
about?
do that, before
not
we
really.
go into the ratings and predictions, I want to pose a question. Who is Denjiro in the current timeline?
Oh,
It's
Is
obvious
it-
what it is.
Is it Koshiro? Is it
Yes.
Kiyoshiro? Is it Scopper? Or is it that old guy that was
Can't be
talking during
It can't
during
be
the
Kyoto at this point.
during the
It's
Marine
not
War?
Scopper.
I love that
Not
guy.
Scopper.
Like we see that guy once, and everyone's like,
Bruh,
okay,
it's Scopper
he's so
Kabon.
done
That's
going
Scopper
on with
Kabon.
him.
Denjiro.
hey, did you know
I
that
like to
Scop?
think Denjiro is Koshiro's brother that
you-
got
did
separated.
you know
at
that-
birth. It's like a whole
yeah.
thing I have. I have something. I have the none of the above answer. It's
Did
like
you-
a weird
That
answer.
Yeah.
that probably would support a lot of
The
the
people still of the
Kuina
Kuroshiro-
Toshigi twins
Yeah.
theory.
The people that
Denjiro was the father of
Selena
Toshigi.
Toshigi twin.
Koshiro was the
Oh,
father of Kuina.
Wait. So are you saying that Hiyori or Komurosaki or whatever is the daughter of Kyoshiro?
No.
If we're saying
Koshiro?
Koshiro's daughter was...
Koshiro?
Wait, who?
Oh, wait,
What?
no, never mind.
No.
Odin?
no,
Odin?
no.
Odin?
Alright,
Making it up.
fuck at me now. Wait a minute. Now,
What-
yeah,
what?
now I'm lost. What happened now? So,
Nothing
Okay,
happened.
okay.
All right, nothing happened.
alright, so
I got
who was the
confused about
daughter of who?
What's the theory?
I have a theory. Okay, so you have Shimosuke Kozaburo, the guy that originally forged the Wado. Okay, the
Yes.
guy that
He
left
left-
Wano like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
He had my theory. He had two sons, Koshiro and Denjiro. They were
Okay.
twins.
Yes.
Denjiro we see in Wano being raised, whatever. Koshiro ended up having to go with his father to the east for some reason.
Mm.
Koshiro is the father of Kuina. Denjiro is the father of Toshigi. And I actually looked into this, and twins having daughters that are cousins, they would look very similar to. So I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. There's
But
holes
Toshigi
here.
never
I'm
mentioned but Toshigi has never mentioned or alluded to anything in Wano at all, ever in the entire story.
Was she
no, yeah, right.
abandoned?
No,
Yeah.
what would happen
she
is
would've been
Denjiro
abandoned,
could have
yeah.
left before the fight, before Kaido took over. Denjiro could have went to the east to go visit his
Well,
brother, and then
before-
she went there.
If you
Like I
look
said,
at the
there's holes
panel-
here. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, if you look
Okay.
at the panel of Ashura Doji fighting Kaido, you actually see Denjiro's silhouette. I was corrected on that yesterday.
Well,
You
like,
actually
the
see
Oh,
whole-
I didn't
Denjiro
see that.
fighting
Yeah,
alongside,
yeah, yeah.
alongside
I did not
Ashura
see
Doji.
that.
That
I did
was
not
the
go back
original
and
one.
check all that stuff yet.
Also,
yeah.
with like
ships leaving
the,
Wano
I think they're
doesn't
talking about the
actually
ship
matter.
that left Wano, right? That went to.
Yeah, that was
Pearl
like
Village?
50 something
Yeah,
years ago.
I
Yeah.
do think in
Okay.
that SBS
Yeah.
that was revealed. Oda also said that it would basically be irrelevant to the story.
Yeah.
He just said,
Yeah, there were
yeah.
there were two.
He said there
two
was gonna be-
instances, though.
He just said that there was somebody on that ship who we're acquainted with. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but I do want to expand
Yeah.
on it more. That's pretty much what he said.
Oh, Zoro.
He didn't say it was. Yeah, I don't think he said it was like there's nothing important on the ship. It's just like, yeah, that's not
Well,
going
he
to be
just
part
said
of the
that
main
basically
story.
like the ties of the it wouldn't like,
Yeah.
be that big of a deal. I
Well,
think.
the way that
Which would make
I
sense if it was like the Koshiro stuff. I mean, we're talking about Toshiki. She's not a big deal, so I mean.
yeah,
That's
I,
right,
well,
yeah, that's
I
right.
would look at it like the way I looked at it was like Oda's going to be like, oh yeah, this is the connection that Tashigi had with Kuina. I'm not going
Yeah.
to make a big deal out about it, but here you go. That's what the connection was. They're
Yeah, I
long lost
think
twins
so,
or whatever.
too.
Moving on
Oh,
to the next thing.
canon?
Yeah. Just to explain it.
Okay, there you go. That's
So,
the
Look,
theory.
Matt was in here for like 10 seconds. Where did my guy go? What the?
Denjiro.
Oh
Matt
my
keeps
God.
I mean,
Jumping
he
in and
said he'd come. He said he'd come through. He came through.
He,
think
yeah, he
it's
shut
fine.
it.
I can only,
Spoiler.
I can only, honestly, to be honest though, I can only stay for like another 10 minutes
That's
because I gotta
fine.
get other
That's
stuff
all right,
going
man.
on.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, so maybe he'll pop in after I
We
leave.
appreciate you turning
Swap
up
out one map
regardless.
for the other. It'll work
That's
out.
right.
All right. So
Congratulations, guys, though, for the 100. and
Thanks,
everything,
man.
yeah.
We appreciate
Right?
it.
Yeah, no problem.
100
Yeah,
straight,
Yeah.
100 straight weeks, no breaks.
I moved
No
state. and we had
breaks,
No
man.
breaks, all right?
No
Hold
breaks.
on,
Go.
wait, wait.
That takes skill.
100 straight weeks. All right. We're
Yeah,
consistent,
congrats, guys.
unlike King of Lightning, unlike Dritz, unlike
Oh.
Silvers. Techi's consistent. We'll give him that. Morge
Have you seen
consistent.
my
Yeah.
Twitch? Have you seen my Twitch game, son? Stop,
Bruh,
baby.
no one's watching Twitch, all right?
King,
Come on.
have you played
I've
Breath
been
of the
banned
Wild
from
yet?
Twitch. You just triggered me.
I am consistently inconsistent.
Wait,
That's true.
wait, Tekking, the family-friendly man got banned from Twitch. What did you do?
That was a long time
Probably
ago.
some sort of hentai
I feel like
thing.
I played.
apparently
like,
with
I didn't even.
Scooby-Doo.
Okay, technically, I didn't play it. I was about to play Yandere Simulator, and I
Oh,
got
no.
shut down before I even had a chance to
Oh,
play it.
No.
Should
Yeah,
have
I
checked
didn't
the
know this
banned
was
game
before.
list.
I didn't even know Twitch had a blacklist thing. I
Hey,
didn't
at
even
least-
know, and I'm like,
Techie,
oh, okay,
at least you
well.
haven't gone down the Nuxtaku route, all right? At least you haven't done that.
Shout out to
alright?
Nux.
Shout out to
I mean,
Nux.
Yeah.
whatever to each
Yeah,
their
shout
own
out to
on
Nux.
this, whatever.
I'd take the route to.
Hey,
I've seen those.
I did do a top 21 best boobs in One Piece video.
I
at one
did
point,
see
so,
that.
yeah.
I did see
remember.
that.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was
I mean,
fun.
I mean, there are people out there
Wait,
doing top 10
wait,
full-on hentai.
Yeah, we just mentioned that, Silvers.
Well, that's just culture right there.
Yes, yeah.
But
it's
I
man-
walked away to grab a drink. Hey boys, cheers. 100
What
episodes.
is that?
100
Is that a
straight weeks.
literal cap?
Off, you disgust me.
Yeah.
You know what, Grusha? We do have the spice rum in the studio.
Wait, behind. All right.
Yeah, I don't have any rum or scotch at the moment.
Eric, is that
I don't
Or
have a
even
Dr.
some
Pepper on me, so I can't do it.
Yes,
What?
that's
Hey, yo, wait a
Smirnoff. That's all I got right now.
What's your problem?
Leave me
What's your
alone.
prob?
What's your problem?
It's Captain Morgan
Captain Morgan,
Black.
really?
Captain Morgan is pretty good. I don't drink very
Yeah,
often,
I mean,
at all, but
Is that
I've had
finished?
Captain
Are you
Morgan
finished in the
before.
bowl?
Yeah, the bottle's empty, boys. Which is,
I mean, I could go get some Jack Daniels or run to the liquor store and get some aviation gin if you want me to.
God damn, Eric. Shit.
that's how we roll down under King.
Yeah, the down under. Okay.
Hey,
Down under.
until you start taking shots of Everclear from someone
Oh.
playing Rocket League, don't talk to me about strong alcohols.
What the hell are you
This
talking
is-
about?
What are you
What's the
talking
Rocket
about,
League got to do
Silvers?
with it?
Why was Rocket
Frankie.
League? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Frankie played Rocket League when he was first starting his channel, and every time he would score, I would take a shot.
Matt B's trying to pop in, but something's happening.
Shout out to Matt B. Can't figure
I
out
am
how
not
Hangout
surprised.
works ever.
Wait, what did you,
Oh,
what did
he's
you,
here.
what did you
My
say?
man,
Oh, shit.
Matt.
You are
Matt.
son.
Oh
Matt,
shit!
Yo, what's good?
Matt, you finally
What's
made
up,
it to the
what's up,
channel.
what's
We
up?
appreciate
Hey,
it.
Matt.
Like, what's happening, dog?
Yeah.
Huh? What's up? Oh,
You just get up?
Nah, I
created?
just,
What's up?
nah. I just got done recording something.
Oh,
I got my rap voice still on.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
Yeah, when are you
But
release
nah,
some
bro.
music content, Matt?
at the top of next year for certain. I just
Oh,
got
hell
some new
yes.
equipment, so yeah.
Good
But,
the
I don't
technology
want to make
unlock.
this about me.
Yeah.
What's going on? What y'all up to?
We're
We were
talking
talking
about.
Neverworld.
Oh
damn.
shit!
Oh,
Oh shit!
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Dritz, stop!
Dritz,
Dritz,
can you just not troll for me just one day?
I got you.
Yeah, Dritz, you broke Cole. You broke Cole.
Gang, you all right? You all right, Chris? You okay?
Shout out to the network. All right, solid lad. Shout outs. All right.
I haven't really heard anything about Neverworld in a while.
Hey guys,
He's
come
doing
on,
his thing,
come
right?
on,
He's
come
doing
on!
his thing.
Don't let Dritz derail the stream, all right?
This is
Yeah,
my stream.
Dritz, why are you
Why-
trying to bait him
he's
like
always-
that? We were talking about Chibi, not for Neverworld.
We never did
Oh,
rate
Oh,
the chat.
wow.
Oh,
Wait,
Brian,
where's
Brian,
Brago,
look
by
at-
the way?
Whoa, dog.
Better
Let's
watch
go.
out.
wait, where's BDA Law
Where's
at?
B-Day Lorat, aka...
He should be in a Hunter x Hunter stream soon.
Oh
Oh,
man,
man.
why even bother talking about Hunter x Hunter? You know what I mean?
It's Hunter. It's a finished series, man.
Why, bro?
Oh, there's
Like, yo,
Brago.
I would be there right now because Hunter x Hunter is so fucking good. but-
Oh come on,
It is
man!
great. I mean,
Christian, do you want to go on a rant about the last
like
Flux, or...
I literally just finished rewatching the whole series. Like,
I
just
mean,
yesterday.
don't bother with the manga because the new arc is terrible. But don't worry about that.
Anime of the decade, Hunter x Hunter.
Anime is great. Anime is great.
Yeah, but
Cool.
the
I would
an-
actually be with you on that. Like seriously,
Yeah.
I love that series.
Drew,
you
I'd
know?
say
Drew,
anime
could
of
you
the
tell the
decade.
people why
Yeah,
you hate
right.
Hunter x Hunter
Of the
and it's Hunter x Hunter?
decade?
of the
Yeah,
decade.
I mean,
What anime came out in the last decade?
there can
That was
only
like-
be one. What would
Hold
you
up.
pick anime of the decade?
Jojo.
Part
Hello.
five.
Hello,
Pretty
Jojo.
good.
I love
That-
JoJo. But
Okay, yeah,
I'm not-
JoJo. I mean, Golden Wind is pretty good.
There's
Yeah,
a
I didn't-
certain series.
Okay, what about
No,
that
no, I'm
30
not gonna
second
do that.
Muda? Did you like that?
The new season of High School DxD.
Silver, if you were to say One Piece, I swear to God, bro.
Oh no! The anime for One Piece is abysmal at best.
Well, we got
I was
we got
It has not. It has been pretty solid. but-
Samurai Champloo this
In
decade.
Wano. Samurai
No.
Champloo.
No,
that's
2008?
older, that's older than a decade, isn't it?
Yeah,
What
I
is?
think Samurai Champloo came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like 2003,
Yeah.
2004, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
Space.
like
We got
Like,
Space
like
Dandy.
After like a few years after Cowboy Bebop did.
Space Stay Stand.
We got
Yeah.
Space
Yeah,
Dandy.
Space
Yeah,
Dandy.
Space Dandy.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
Space Dandy.
Oh, I love Space Dandy.
Space Dandy is not anime of the decade, though.
Stay,
Stop.
stay
I mean, it's
dandy,
pretty
baby.
good.
Whoa.
Though. Yeah, the top 10 maybe.
I mean, whoa.
Hunter,
King,
I
stay
mean, it's,
dandy.
it's dandy, baby.
Hunter is anime of the decade. Like there's
I would
no,
definitely go with that.
There's
yeah.
no way, like especially with longevity and just the
Okay.
quality that it maintained
It
from
did
beginning
make-
to end.
It did
Like,
make
I mean,
the series popular. so-
It depends on who you ask because a good
What?
anime makes the series.
Ask or
Until
ask?
the
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Until the. I said asked.
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 Oh,
I
asked.
said it. I just said it fast. I'm tired of this racism.
Oh, racism. It's not racism.
It depends on who you speak to.
Okay.
I'm no longer saying the A word.
Okay.
Depending on who you speak to, a good anime makes the series because, to be honest, until 2011, I really didn't hear many people talking about Hunter x Hunter.
You can say this.
And
Yeah, you
now
can say the
that-
same thing about Demon
And
Slayer
now
as
that
well.
Demon Slayer came out, I'm hearing everybody say I was always on the Demon Slayer
Yeah. Oh,
bandwagon.
get on.
I don't know that, but
Well, I mean, an anime
Demon Slayer-
always elevates the manga like infinitely. It's like
Yeah.
not even close.
I mean, yeah,
like,
when
okay.
I did not start talking about anime until 2011, and that's when I started hearing about Hunter x Hunter when it came out. So I can't.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I guess not a lot of people were talking about it before then. Yeah.
I only knew
Manga
about
I've
it because
seen
of the
that's actually like a
yeah.
top selling manga on a regular basis that doesn't have a dedicated anime is Kingdom for a goddamn good reason, Eric. For a goddamn
Man
good
can't draw
reason.
horses. Man can't draw horses.
I'm
All
not
right.
interested.
Man
I'm
can't draw
tired,
not
Eric.
horses.
interested,
I'm
alright?
tired of this guy sucker, bro.
Man can't draw
I mean,
horses.
if you want to talk,
Oh, like, come
anime
on.
of the decade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, guys,
I think
I
we
got-
have
I
to
gotta-
throw-
I got to get going.
All
I
right.
do some other stuff,
We
but thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having me.
Cheers,
You
Tekken,
guys
take
have
it
a
easy.
good one.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right,
See you
see
guys.
ya.
See you. Have a good one. Yep.
Hey, Tekken, stay up, bro.
Nah, he's
Nah,
gone.
he's
He's
got
gone.
a busy man.
If you want to talk anime of the decade, I mean, we have to throw Ruby in there.
Oh,
Shut
get out of
up.
here! Get out of here! It's not even an anime, bro.
Ruby? Is Ruby
Ruby.
trash?
Yes.
Yes.
Hot
That-
trash.
I've heard from people that like Ruby that Ruby is trash.
Yeah, it has taken a drop. It has taken a drop.
There you go. So
And what's
Yo,
the-
somebody get Brago the fuck out of here.
What is Brago? Brago want to talk?
Where
or-
is Braga?
I mean, that's not hard to do.
Brago is in the chat. He said Prison School is the anime of the decade.
Ooh.
Absolutely,
It's okay.
absolutely.
Oh
Not.
my
And
god.
Prison School is actually hilarious though.
Finish the sentence. Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Whoa.
not.
What about Keijo? Keijo's pretty good.
Keijo is godly, but it will work better as a real live sport.
I
I don't.
I-
Okay.
Folks
Haikyuu
gonna
is
say
fire.
Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan,
No.
because of recency bias, Kimetsu no Yaiba, maybe One Punch Man, Mob Psycho.
Oh, how do we
Hunter,
forget? How do we forget about One Punch Man? Obviously,
Yeah,
Anime of the decade, there
One
you go.
Punch Man season 1.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Well, that
Really
was
definitely
One
for-
Punch Man and
definitely
Attack on
runner.
Titan, like both season ones, like broke the internet.
yeah, they broke
Those
through.
are, like,
They broke through the.
massively
Yeah.
popular.
Chat saying
Fine,
Attack
but
on
then-
Titan as
yeah, but-
well.
yeah, but-
I mean, but
Yeah,
Attack
they
on
mentioned
Titan
that.
really,
They tapered off huge after that.
Attack
Well,
on
yeah,
Titan's
Attack on
Titan, like,
popularity
what,
really
3-year
mostly
hiatus?
came from like the shock value, didn't it?
Because
Because
Well, it was- also, it had-
nobody
it had,
really.
It had pretty good animation.
Yeah.
I mean, it
unique.
doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
It was
yeah.
it was more so the concept than anything else. There hadn't been like a really good, like
Concept.
kind of. It's kind of like a zombie-ish concept where it's a similar thing, just a larger scale.
Yeah.
There hadn't been a good one of those in a while. I mean, I can't really
Yeah.
name any good like zombie anime. I mean, like the only one I can think of is like
Now,
basically a hentai,
Brothers-
and that's
Brock
High
is
School to
saying
Dead.
Hunter x Hunter is the
Jesus
best.
I
but
think
it's
in,
not
in
the
general,
actual
for me, it's
straight.
hard to compare like what's the like how good is an anime because it's so hard
No.
based on like the storytelling of the manga. Like Attack on Titan's super popular, but I think like
Okay.
the story is all the manga, and I think it was like
Far
even
out.
the vibe was done better in the manga in the first place. So like, I don't know, like for series that the manga is better than the anime, it's hard for me to call those like the anime of the decade or something like that.
Anyway, let's bring this back to One Piece. Let's talk about the One Piece Wano anime and how it has fallen off a cliff.
Has it?
Right? Yeah, it's
Yeah, kind of. Honestly, bro.
yeah.
What's been happening?
okay.
What's been happening?
Nothing's been happening. That's the
In the
problem.
last episode, and here's what we'll say, right? I really do appreciate the pacing of the Wano anime because it's kind of what I want from the manga, where it's slow, it kind of fills out things a lot more, and then you get a more.
Yeah, but King. Yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. Yeah.
The last episode. Wait, no, I'm giving you a story. In the last episode, you had Zoro fight against some random tiger with a sword.
Yeah.
One shot, and then move on, and that's how Zoro segues to the goddamn port. I'm like, what is this garbage? It's the anime has fallen off. The animation at times is really good, but it's fallen off.
That Kaido versus Luffy thing is cooking, boy.
Can I just do a quick check? Where's the anime at right now?
We're about to fight Kaido for the first
Okay,
time.
can I say this then? Basically, I would bet that the anime gets way better once Act 2 starts. Because Act 1, all the chapters are like single scenes, but Act 2 is when the pacing gets like, we're cutting all across the place every chapter, so that gives the anime way more room to stretch stuff out.
There was an
It's like, if they're getting the cart from like the village to the other village,
Yeah, but
the anime's gonna drag it.
the problem is the anime.
I mean, the other chapters.
Compared to most other arcs post time skip,
Mhm.
Wano has already been like more consistent in terms of animation and character designs. Like, because
Sure.
I want to say in like seriously more. I think it's been way more consistent. Way more consistent, bro.
No, okay, no, I think it was like four episodes ago where you have Zoro and Luffy and Kiku fighting filler dudes.
Yeah. I don't mean in terms of filler. I mean in terms of the animation. And it still does drop, but look at parts in Whole Cake Island where 1 minute you'll see Nami up close and everything looks good, but as soon as it like goes to the wide shot, Nami is now just some quick thrown up thing that you won't even recognize. And in Wano, most of those character designs have been consistent. Yeah.
No. It's happening in Wano too. I mean, like
but it's less often than it did in Whole Cake.
I would say that the drop off is way more prevalent in Wano because you have, like, for example, when you had Hawkins against my boy Basil Walkins, one of the best parts of Wano by far.
Basil Walkins.
Yeah,
Gets cut in half by law.
You don't talk about that.
When he fights against Zoro,
it's all part of his master plan. All right, don't worry about it.
The later half of the episode is really, really good. It looks vivid. It looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
First half of that is straight ass cheeks, bro.
Yeah,
it's straight berries. Like, this shit is disgusting.
See,
like, it is not good, not clean at all.
The thing about Toei is they don't actually know when to extend scenes in the right way, because you've got like a scene with Batman knocking back Luffy and destroying him, and it takes like half an hour to do anything.
Crazy.
Yeah, talking shit.
That'll forever be a meme.
He swatted a full armament hockeyed Luffy away with just his wing.
Everything, bro.
Yeah.
Also, why does Hiroshima have like Whitebeard's fruit?
You see that
as well?
Why was Luffy and Orochima staring at each other for literally 15 minutes?
I saw that. Dude.
Well, that's gonna be the case in One Piece until the manga gets some more distance from
Matt. Look, have y'all ever seen that meme video of this is what the One Piece anime is, where it's just Luffy standing and looking at a dude, and then he moved his leg, and then the world lost their shit. Luffy and Orochima, that's literally what it was. He popped up.
They're stalling for time.
And then plus also
Luffy and Orochima, and then Luffy and Hold'em. They did it twice. He saw Tama and Hold'em's lion mouth, and then he was like, "Oh!" And then literally 2 minutes later, he does it again. They focused on that one.
Is it really One Piece anime if there aren't like still shots where it takes like 2 minutes?
Right,
yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's been happening since the pre-time skip.
Yeah.
Yo, Matt,
but it's definitely happening more.
Yeah, what's up, King?
When I tune into watch an episode.
So for reference, real quick, Matt, even when One Piece ends, they're still gonna drag that out because there's still money to be made. I mean, look at Naruto. Naruto ended, and they had like an entire gigantic individual dream filler saga of every character that was in the
The
dream.
Infinite Tsukiyomi was absolute. Oh my god.
I mean, but
listen,
but
King,
everybody
King.
called that when that manga chapter dropped.
King.
Yeah, but like, yo, like it was like I think like half a year or some shit like
no,
that.
it was
King,
a
Dude,
year
it was
and a
like
half.
40 episodes, bro.
Look.
The way Naruto did it, where it's just like episode of filler, I'd kind of rather prefer that than where like One Piece, you know, you have to watch the episode and feel the filler inside of it. So dragged out.
Fair.
I'm.
Well, yeah, at
Look,
least you could
King.
skip it then.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. You know, if whether they're gonna get better at that or not. We know that they're gonna milk One Piece all the way until the end. We all know
and then
this.
start One Piece.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying though is for them to just be more consistent with the anime, they need to get more space in between the anime and the manga because like right now it's only like a year ahead.
True.
It's like it's like 40 to 50 chapters ahead. If they just animated the cover stories, that would be so like, that would save them so much time.
That's so frustrating because like the filler they need is right there. Oda writes cover stories that they could just
they actually
use.
talked about that in one of the
interviews
Saudi Arabia,
recently.
yeah. They basically said they're not going to do that until after Wano.
At some point, they are going to animate the cover stories. Like they have plans for it
right now. Yeah.
Could you imagine if they go all the way back to Anel? Could you imagine that?
That would be absolutely crazy.
If they go that far back, then I think it might confuse a lot of people. Like it's not like the Wapple cover story that got like a quick animation and run through in Reverie.
They'll just do what they did for Reverie. Yeah, they'll just do a recap of like every single arc prior to the cover story, and let's continue it.
Right.
It's Toei. They do that all the time. They'll do it again.
Yeah, one thing I'm kind of worried about, you know, the Kaido fight that we're all like waiting on, basically.
Yeah.
How are they gonna do that without dragging that out? Because I'm kind of worried that like the two options are one, it's not going to be a one shot, and it has to be a one shot, right? Otherwise, it kind of ruins the effect. Or two, it's just going to be Luffy having to hit Kaido.
No.
One shot. It was Luffy's
No. This is easy.
G4.
No, this is easy. Just add just literally add more. Add a Gear second scene where he goes, you know, Jet Gatling or Jet Red Hawk Gatling or something like
Red
that.
Hawk Gatling.
Have that go on for like 2 minutes.
There's enough content.
Remember in the in Waters in Fishman Island, the Elfin Gatling is like 15 minutes, dog.
Oh yeah,
it's so long in Fishman Island, bro.
Guys, there's enough content.
Just let Luffy get more offense in, and then like,
I'm saying
the
that's
one
not
shot
like
will
a
be
good.
that much more devastating.
That's not like a good 20-minute episode, though. Like that's
if they don't. All right, look. If they don't extend Luffy attacking Kaido or Kaido attacking Luffy, it's just gonna be Luffy like running through fodder on his way to Kaido.
They can do the They can do the front half of like Kaido blowing up the mountain and shit, and Luffy running down and then fight him.
Yeah.
That, which is would be enough for
but knowing them, what they're gonna do, they're probably gonna have like these slow motion scenes where like Luffy's fists are like meeting Kaido's flesh, and it's like.
But they're farming out. They're farming out episodes. They're farming out episodes to.
Or like the dragon breath, reaction is gonna be drawn out to all hell.
They're farming out episodes to Western.
Oh no,
You're gonna see people
you know,
like East Blue going. Ah!
You know how whenever Luffy's fists, like whenever they were first touching Rob Lucci with the Jet Gatling, that's what they're gonna do. That's exactly
like every scene, just like dragged out 2 minutes, every contact, and then you do for everyone.
I think it's gonna be
the Elephant Gatling, then Kong Organ, just each one gets its own little thing, and then Luffy just sweating buckets, like a 5-minute like drop of Luffy just standing there. Breathing real hard, the guy just gets all right, fine.
Laws like Nani.
Yeah.
Like Thunderbog with shockwave expands like the entire island and shit.
Waves across the sea.
Well, they are stalling out.
Yes, exactly.
They are stalling out to do this episode.
Like this cloud line just disparts and shit. Like it's over. It's a wrap.
It'll be like One Punch Man when Saitama punches the alien at the end. Just split the heavens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with less.
Yeah.
Just with worse animation. But yo, do y'all want to do the predictions for next chapter?
We didn't even do the ratings yet.
We didn't even do the ratings. Ratings for this chapter. We'll start with.
We won't even talk about Dritz. King, what do you reckon?
The chapter, I would give it. I think the chapter was.
All right, do it.
Honestly, I think it was okay. Like, it Whitebeard, but I think it was over okay. Like I would say like it's a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, there you go. Skip Dritz, Morge, what do you reckon?
Yo,
I thought the Whitebeard stuff at the end was really good. I'm still a little disappointed by 962, but I think 963 did it a little better to make me get why the Scabbards, why they care so much that being Odin's retainers made them into samurai or whatever. Just wish we'd gotten more time. I'll give it like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Matt?
I'll give it chapter 7. I liked that we finally actually got backstory on some of these characters.
Yeah.
It seems like the flashback was just dragging, and that we like the first 2-3 chapters of the flashback, we didn't learn anything new about Odin. Like it was just stuff that we already knew. But yeah, it's like a 7. It was a good chapter.
Silvers?
7.58. Like everybody else said, I like the Whitebeard stuff.
Hyped over
We got
Whitebeard?
more stuff from Marco.
yeah, Whitebeard's high, but then everything else is kind of like meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got stuff about like his early crew. I love that.
I would have to agree. I guess you could say you kind of get more of a connection with Yasui here.
Neko in as well. People forgetting about that. That was pretty.
Kawamatsu, we finally get confirmation that he's a fishman. Obviously. All right.
That bullshit.
Shut up.
What do you mean? It was obvious, bro. Come on.
Yes,
it was so obvious that he was a fishman.
Zoro said it like 5 chapters ago, and everyone's still arguing.
Man, obvious. All right, Fishman, come out to obvious. Done.
But King, you of all people should know, especially looking at your chat, that people did argue for him to be a legit Kappa.
Dude, my chat's don't come on, bro. Like my chat's all over the place, bro. Come on, like you can.
It is
find,
the
like,
abyss.
3
His
guys
chat
that
is
are
the
arguing
abyss.
all
Roasting of
shit,
your
bro.
fan base. I like this.
Yeah.
Well, my fan because they know, like they're off the like. Sometimes they're out of pocket. It is. What
I
it
mean,
is, bro.
I mean,
happens all the time.
King's Discord is the abyss.
What about BDA? What about BDA's Discord?
No, Brago's Discord is the fucking abyss.
Okay, all right, all
No,
right.
no, Bragos is the front.
I think
That's where you go
King's
to
is
train.
King's is one level above the abyss, so it's the darkness.
Yeah, but like
There
King
you go,
has this
perfect.
like weird sexual thing going on in his Discord that BDA doesn't.
No, I try to purge it. I try to purge it.
All right.
Yeah, that's also in BDA as well, dude. You can't escape from this.
Yeah, like,
Okay, all right.
Hard to purge that shit, bro.
All right, yeah. So I would tend to agree with the ratings. I'm gonna say about a 7. Yeah.
I think everyone's giving it a 7.
Yeah.
For me, it was I like
6.5. Wait,
I like
hold
the
on. But what does
Eno and
Dritz say?
Deku stuff more than.
We're
not
skipping
allowed to
Dritz. We're skipping Dritz. All right. We're
I'm not
skipping
allowed to
Dritz.
talk.
Dritz already gave it a 2.
Yeah, I think we
It's
should skip
fine.
Dritz.
Yeah.
Matt, how could
The
you?
rest of the podcast.
Skip Dritz. All right. That's the motto of this podcast. All
I
right.
think Dritz gave it a 6 the other day.
I was gonna
so-
buy your music, dude. What the hell?
Oh no.
Oh, you still got to do that.
All right.
actually sell
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright.
will.
Yeah, I'll
All
buy
right.
that actually.
Predictions. All right. Kings. We'll start with you. Predictions next week. Roger stuff, or are we still sticking with Whitebeard?
We're still with Whitebeard because I
Okay.
believe that we need to see how the other people, because I think it's not just Oden. I think it's also the other Scabbards. They also
Sure.
join in as well.
Yeah.
And then they go on like a little journey. Like
I
I,
mean-
think maybe not all of them join, but I think some of them do join and go with him.
Do you
to
think we're
the
getting
outside.
a side quest and we're meeting Toki, or?
I don't think we're meeting Toki just yet. For some reason,
Yeah.
I feel like Toki is Roger, because
Yeah, but the
because there's things
timeline's
that-
an issue. Yeah.
Because when
but,
we see, I think it was in chapter 958, when we see Oden with Roger and company,
Mm.
and they're just chilling. There's no like female there to kind of indicate that there's Toki.
Mm.
So I think that it's going to be either during Roger or after when he returns to Wano. That's where I feel Toki's going to be incorporated.
Okay.
But I feel like we're going to focus more so on the Whitebeard stuff. Hopefully, we'll see him be. I want him to be the second division commander. That's what I want, honestly.
Who's first?
I don't know if he's. I mean, I think maybe in principle he'll be a second because of whatever reason. Like it,
Mm.
not more for a power thing, but more so like a principle thing where like
Well, yeah,
somebody
Oda
like,
did say that the divisions don't mean strength for weapons.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like even though like I would say that Jozu and Marco are better than Vista. And
Are we gonna see Thatch join the crew?
I don't know.
I don't know.
With the
I want
cover,
Black
like with the Ace novels, kind of already covering a bunch of that. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Right. So I would
Uh,
say for now we just focus more so on like seeing certain parts of the world. Hopefully the montage isn't too quickly, so we can enjoy some interactions with Whitebeard and Oden and other other crewmates and that kind of stuff.
But there
And
has-
so it was gonna be mainly just Oden Whitebeard focus, and then on a journey, and then we kind of maybe get some stuff until like Izo decides to stay with Whitebeard
All right.
and not side with Oden.
All right. Morge, you got any theories for us next week?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm going along with what I think,
Yeah.
it's not my theory, but I've seen definitely people say it. Like Whitebeard and runs into Roger at some point,
Mm.
and the reason Odin swaps over is because of the Davy back fight.
Davy
It's like
backfired,
you
you
kind of
reckon?
know,
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
like
it's
Davy
a nice way
backfight.
to bring it back in.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that too. Yeah, good point. Day back fight.
I don't know if that's the next chapter, but I definitely think that
When
that's
do we
something coming
see
around
the
the corner, which
conversation
would be
that
awesome.
had
We could see Odin versus Rayleigh then, which would settle some people's
That's
disputes.
after Raph, though.
Really
Yeah.
wins.
But here's the thing, though.
Really
It's like,
wins.
I feel like the Davy back fight. Because here's the thing. I've been really pondering this for a while now. When Sengoku noted that Sebek was Roger's strongest opponent,
Yeah.
rather than
The real
Whitebeard,
rival, yeah.
wondering the context of the Whitebeard and Roger clashes. So if they've been like predominantly Davy back fight, then that kind of changes it a lot between Roger and Whitebeard. It does.
Do you
honestly.
really think Oda would pull that out of the
'Cause,
bag
like-
now?
No.
After like 7
Again,
Hell
chapters?
no.
according to Sengoku, the
Hell
strongest person.
no. That's not true.
Hell no.
Now
Wait,
Whitebeard's
what was
the
the question?
Like Oda pulling out the Davy back fight now, like 800
Hell no.
chapters later, is a bit strange.
Not
I
800.
think it's totally
It's 4,
doable.
it's 500. yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really see a purpose for that arc.
I mean,
But-
you know,
Morge, I
I
thought
give
your
him benefit of
entire
the doubt.
idea was that you thought that was going to come back in for Elbaf. What changed it here?
But it can come back in multiple places, dude.
multiple Davy back fights.
I mean, I think the Davy back or that
Foxy
arc
arc, yeah.
was a excuse to introduce Aokiji.
yeah,
That's really all I look at.
Yeah,
it as.
most likely.
I don't know.
So,
I,
Morge,
I, I
do you
give Oda
think
benefit of
it's
the doubt.
going to be introduced here and then in Elbaf as well? Or are you just really hamming for this? It's just it has to be relevant at some point, kind of thing.
No, I stick by all my reasoning for the Elbaf thing, but I'm saying here, from the things that we know of, we know Odin and we know Whitebeard and Roger fought at some point. We know that they
Right.
seem to be pretty friendly, even though they fought. We know that Odin moved from Whitebeard's crew to Roger's crew, and we know that there is a system that pirates do called the Davy Backfight, where they fight and all they do is trade crew members. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
I think it fits. And it's not my theory, it's just something that I've seen other
I
people
don't
bring up.
think we'll ever see Roger lift a finger, so I'm not really like.
Well, if we do
Keep the-
see it,
keep
it'll
the
be
myth
like
around
it'll be like a montage. If that does happen, Norge, I don't think we'll actually see any fighting whatsoever. If it does happen, it'll be like montage like
Yeah,
everything
the
else. and
fight
you just see,
between
the
like
result.
Whitebeard
I'd
and
be so
Roger is like a
disappointed, but
drinking
I
competition.
could see Oda doing that.
I mean,
you
because
know?
like, would you really be able to see Oda revealing Roger's fighting style or other characters' fighting style in this
Dude,
flashback?
I mean,
Hey,
no,
bro,
I think
five-
Oda's
five
nice,
years
but-
left.
Keeping
5 years
Roger's
left, bro.
fighting style secret for the rest of the
Yeah, we
series.
won't
basically.
see
We
him
can just
fight.
leave
I
it to our
guarantee- I can
imaginations.
guarantee-
That'd be lame. That'd be so lame if we get like if we don't actually like even when we're in Raftel and then let's say Whitebeard or Blackbeard and Luffy's already happened and we still get no Roger fights. Nothing. It's like
King,
this
it's
is
the
lame,
mystery.
dog.
It's
like,
the mystery of the character.
Tell us.
Don't
Tell me,
reveal
bro.
it.
I don't think we're ever gonna get a Roger fight, King. I'm gonna keep it a
Yeah,
buck with you.
a full fight. No, we'll probably see him swing a sword, maybe.
It's the
Mm,
we
mystery
You know
see
of
what
the
him-
would be
character.
we're
honestly,
lucky-
yo,
we're
yo,
lucky
bro,
he's
honestly,
mistake.
like you know, I really, really hate if he gives us that information in a data book. I'll be
No.
furious.
Nah,
Oh,
it'll probably be in an
Absolutely
OVA.
furious.
He's already
V
told you
version
he
of
was the
OVA.
strongest.
OVA data book,
a side
Yeah.
chapter.
side
I mean,
movie.
bro,
no.
I'm just being 100. Like, I don't think like we're gonna see a Roger. If we do, it'll be in this flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, but it's just that,
Yeah.
just give me an inkling of what the man could do. Like, was his hockey so goddamn good to where like even like the trees bend the knee or some shit? Like what could he sense like
King, Rayleigh's
multiple
the
islands
hockey
or, like a
master,
section of the
and he
ocean?
was a
Like,
second-hand
how
man.
good was Goldie Roger?
He
If
was
we have
Well-
Whitebeard, if we have other Yonka that we're seeing now, I mean, like for example, it's like I don't want Goldie Roger to be in the same camp as fucking Kong, where Kong is just there. It's like, what can Kong do? Who the hell knows?
I mean, Roger
He's
has
just there.
more than Kong, dude. Kong's got nothing.
Kong's
You
got
see
3
his
panels.
forearms, though?
Yeah.
That guy's
He's got
forearms
the
are
arm.
literally-
He's got the
Nah,
Kong
we
horn.
we
God,
can't
bro.
say that Kong got nothing. He was a former fleet
Yeah,
admiral.
he has less than
mean,
Roger.
Sure. Yeah. Like, I
Kong
don't
looks
know.
like he holds the world record bench press.
He has
in the
literally
One Piece
3
universe.
panels in the story, but whatever.
There you go. There's the obligatory Kong
Shout out
discussion.
to Kong.
Yeah.
The man will do nothing.
I hate Kong so much, bro. Absolutely worthless.
What has Kong
I've
ever
seen
done
this.
to you?
I've seen this
to
question
merit
going on
this
on
hate?
Twitter, right?
That's
We
Scarf's
have
dead.
we have a flashback of the Rocks Pirates, and we're talking about Goldie Roger. We're talking about Gawp. We're
Where was
talking
Kong,
about
dude?
Sebek.
Wait,
What was
where's Kong?
Kong doing?
Yeah,
bro?
Kong
Even
wasn't
during
doing
episode
nothing, bro.
Zero, or film yeah. Manga chapter 0, episode 0, when Kong was Fleet Admiral. No, it's Sengoku. Like a spunky Aokiji and then just a emo Akainu. It's like, wait, where's Kong, dog?
Kong
Like,
does
I don't
nothing,
understand. He's Fleet
I
Admiral.
mean, we heard him tell Garp like, "Get back here! I'm not done talking to you." So
Garp said no.
I was
So
like, fuck off.
yeah, he told.
Right.
He's just writing papers, dude.
Yeah, he's just signing paperwork like Sengoku was for the
He's like
majority
Naruto
of the
after
story.
Naruto became
Yeah.
Hokage.
Yeah, he's
dude,
like
man.
he's like Akihito now, just
like
sweating
literally,
and
the
signing
man goes
papers.
to the gym just for appearance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Akinu doesn't have time to get stronger because he's signing papers,
Yeah.
alright?
I hate those
It's
people.
a lot of papers, man.
He's got a lot of papers to sign, alright? Can't just burn all of them, alright? He's got to sign a few.
Yeah, he's always burning shit.
But if
Um,
you never know what Roger can do, then Roger's in the same camp as Kong. He's in the same
Yo,
camp.
we're gonna see Roger King. And just
Oh,
to
that's
piss you off-
bullshit, King.
I mean, no,
That's not
King,
bullshit.
King,
He's in
you
the
gotta,
same
you
camp
gotta.
as Kong.
Now you gotta look at the context. Kong, we have nothing to base his strength off.
Yeah,
At
we
least
have
with-
nothing to
Fleet
base his
Admiral,
strength on.
one thing.
It-
That's it.
That
His
okay,
stats.
his
His
title,
status,
but
which
if you
is
want to go by
fine.
titles, Maynard is a vice admiral. And
Yeah,
he
but
got
Vice
no
Admiral
gift in the
can't
Yeah,
be
hallway.
bad
but
and
Silver is
good.
the difference between
What does
Vice
that mean?
Admiral and Fleet
He got
Admiral.
no gift in the hallway.
Yeah, but like the
Silver's
only
in
a
requirement
bathroom.
to being a vice admiral is just to have hockey. That's literally
Not
the only
even just be
requirement.
strong.
No,
Like,
it's
look
that you
at
have to have
Government,
hockey.
or look at Dalmatian. Dalmatian had all the Rokishi stuff.
Why are we talking about the Navy? They're trash.
That's also factual.
Okay, but yeah,
the
but
Navy kind of
but
matters.
back
Like,
but
They
back
do
to the
that?
original thing. Back to the original thing. At least with Roger, we have people to compare him to. We have statements to actually, scale him. He's equal. Like him and Whitebeard went equally.
can't
Him and
even,
Garp
like-
fought
you know what?
equally.
I will use.
No. It said
Rock.
that Whitebeard was the only one that could fight on par with Roger.
yeah.
Gotta get that right.
Alright.
Look, the
Oh,
thing
okay.
is, okay, where I
Well,
do
I
then-
thought they
until
said
Sebek-
piracy.
until
But
Sebek.
okay.
Until Sebek, apparently.
Yeah,
Until
and
Sebek.
they've also fought
Um,
each other many times, Matt.
All right, look.
Roger and
Okay, look.
Garp, so.
I will use.
Look,
I will
I
use.
view-
Okay, fine. Fair enough. I will use the same argument that Christian made
Mhm.
for my Discord. It's not the abyss. It's the darkness.
It's the
okay?
darkness, alright?
Roger's
Yeah.
in the darkness. Okay, he's in the darkness.
I saw this on
I'll leave
Twitter
it
the
at
other day, right?
Look, Roger's he's Pirate Jesus. He's Pirate
He is
Jesus.
Pirate
You don't need to
Jesus.
see him fight. You just know that everybody basically worships him and the entire
It's
story's
the-
happening because he
It's
died
the
for
mystery
everybody.
of
That's
Roger
all.
that has to stay intact. You can't show
Yo,
you.
King, what if we saw him fight, but the first thing he does is throw out like a Gomu Go and a pistol?
No.
I mean, look, that'd be awful, but I'll take it, bro. Whatever. Just give me something. All right, just give me something. Look, all it means is more 30 videos. That's it. Boom, more 30 videos. Wrap. We can move on.
Alright.
I'll hate it, but I'll take it.
Alright, I guess that's the chapter talk over. So it's now time for the live episode 100. How strong is Shanks?
Quiet, please, for the sermon.
Alright.
Oh, good God.
Quiet, please, for the sermon.
We will take no disrespect. You will get kicked. Alright. No disrespect
Quiet.
during the How
Church,
Strong is Shanks
please.
segment.
Yeah, you can't do it right now. Roger just came in.
Roger came in at a really bad time.
Well,
Quiet in the church. For the
Church of
sermon.
What are you
Shanks.
guys talking about?
We're doing a sermon, alright?
We're doing the sermon.
They're
A
waking
sermon?
Shanks.
Yes.
Shank. Oh, you're talking about Shanks?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing the sermon.
I mean, Shanks is cool. He's a cool guy. But he's not.
Roger,
He's not my
please.
favorite character. I'll
Roger,
say this.
Roger,
I'll say this about
please.
Shanks. I'll say this about Shanks. I think Shanks is a great character, and I'm very much looking forward to his death chapter. I think it's
Well,
gonna be
thanks
fantastic.
for Roger for turning up to the stream. We
We
appreciate him on the
Roger. You're very
stream.
welcome. Quiet in the church. The
I gotta say
sermon
that
will
thumbnail
commence.
you made is 10 out of 10. Absolutely beautiful.
Gold, shiny.
Gold
yeah.
thumbnail.
Alright.
There are the sermon.
Quiet, please, in the church.
No, but I genuinely like Shanks. Wait,
Jesus
are people
Christ.
saying they don't like him or something?
Kick him out.
We're trying to do the sermon, Roger, please.
There's things at the end of what they do is they just wank him at the end. So it's like the
He's
little
been
smack.
on the show. He knows how it goes.
So y'all really wank
We
Shanks
accurately
at the game?
gauge Shanks' compatibility.
Engage the
Every single
sermon.
episode.
This
Quiet.
is what we do, really?
How
That's what they
strong
do.
is Shanks? Okay? How strong is
Young
Shanks?
He's strong enough.
Now
That's
every
the answer.
week.
He's strong enough.
For 100 weeks, non-stop, Alright.
Shanks is admiral level.
we come here and we tell the people how strong Shanks is.
Mhm.
And the answer to that question is, Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God
Yep.
King.
The good king.
Yep.
Alright?
Wait, what's this about?
And every week,
Wait. What's
Beautiful.
We tell the
Shanks'
people the
admiral
truth,
level thing?
right?
Hold on, I'm not letting
But
that slide. I want to know what
there are
that's
still
about.
people out there.
Still.
After 100 episodes,
100 prayers, 100 sermons.
100 episodes, there's still people out there
Sure.
who think Kaido's the strongest.
Ridiculous.
Or the
Blasphemous.
dragon is the strongest.
Hide.
Kaido will be dead by the end of the story arc.
Dragon's the strongest.
Oh, come on.
Dragon is
Wait,
Who
the
do you
think-
disagree with
strongest.
Sweatiest
we all
man
just let
on the planet.
Segment of the show.
Akainu is the strongest.
Okay, Drit.
Hide blasphemy.
Okay.
Okay, Megaku.
Akainu's not the strongest. That's ridiculous. I'm
There are
with
also
Chris.
people
that's,
who
that's
think-
ridiculous.
Dragon's the strongest.
Mihawk's the strongest.
Ugh.
I can see Dragon being the strongest.
And
I
the
can
worst
actually
of them
see that
all.
happening.
The worst of them all.
Stop.
There are people who think
You think he's a Winlogia?
Aimu's the strongest.
Yo, King. When was yo? I say this to you every time, bro.
Every time.
But they're
wake
wrong
me
and they're
up.
incorrect.
Yo,
Because Shanks is
wake
stronger,
me
Shanks is
up.
Go King.
Wake me up whenever,
Now, we come with
devil fruits,
100%
whenever devil fruits are the only
genuine.
scheme in One Piece.
Factual
You think
information
that- that's toxic
to tell the
than
people
someone
why
like
Shanks is the strongest.
Hell yeah.
And this week's evidence
What?
is
There's no way.
Shanks is so strong.
Stop.
His daily duels with Mihawk, where he only decided it
Watch
was a
yourself.
draw, so he wouldn't shatter Mihawk's dreams to become the world's
There we
strongest swordsman.
There we go.
And that is factual, and that is a
Unsub.
sermon.
He's
Shanks is
spared
the
Mihawk.
strongest. Shanks is the God King.
So,
Amen.
This is kind of
Now,
on topic because you guys are talking about
On
power
the topic
levels
of the
anyway.
show, whatever the fuck
This
you
is
want to
it's
talk
on
about.
topic. It's on topic, but I'm
Alright.
just curious.
There
you
Have you
go.
guys seen
What's
Frozen
going
2
on?
yet? Because I think Elsa
No.
solos the whole verse. To be honest,
didn't see Frozen 1.
Good God.
you
I
should have
also
seen
haven't seen
Frozen.
Frozen.
It's really good. Frozen 2 is really good in theaters now.
Frozen is
Okay.
overrated.
Chris
All
had
right,
pulled
let
the
me
mic
ask
out.
y'all a question. Have
Our
y'all
headsets, we
ever
couldn't
watched the
actually
Red
hear
Force
you guys.
podcast?
Which is
Of
ridiculous.
course.
Okay, now have
That's
y'all
a cap
ever
from Roger.
seen?
I'm gonna call that right now.
Have y'all ever seen the segment "How Strong Is Shanks"?
Damn right.
No, I always
Okay.
turn it off beforehand.
I never said on repeat. I just keep video.
He fell out. Now what
Shanks
happened there,
isn't the
boys?
strongest. Shanks isn't the strongest.
Shanks is the
We all know
strongest duel.
this.
Now, were you
With the
were you,
exception of
No,
maybe
he's
Kaido.
not. King.
were you guys
He is
talking
not.
over us? Because
Dragon isn't even top 5. Move on.
little bit of technical issues there. Christian pulled the headsets out, so we couldn't actually hear you talk. So we're just talking.
Oh
over
yeah,
top
no,
of
I was just saying how
Yeah,
Dragon's not
yeah,
even
that's what I assumed because you guys are still going.
We
And-
did it, and it's done. Alright? It's the only way it was gonna happen.
you. Okay.
It was the only way it was gonna happen.
We'll have to listen
Alright.
back to it and see who disrespected
All right,
the
Yeah,
server.
yeah,
disrespect is off the chain, off the charts. The disrespect.
Absolute disrespect.
It's ridiculous. All right, we're back.
Oh,
We're back. All right. I didn't hear any of the slander. All right,
Alright.
because I couldn't handle it. Otherwise, the stream would be over. All right. So there you go. There
It's
you
all
go.
slander.
Shout out to Roger.
Wait, was this what the whole podcast was about earlier when I was
No,
gone
this
doing
is
the
just
Hunter x
us-
Hunter one?
Dude, Roger, this is just a segment they have where they spend like 2 minutes wanking Shanks and they go on.
How
It's
much
not
longer do you
wank,
have?
it's
on
It's
that
over,
segment?
it's
Should I go
over.
play
We're
Pokemon?
over. Let's go.
It's over. All right.
Alright.
It's over.
It's
All
not
right,
wank
cool.
if it's
Roger,
true.
talk to us about that chapter
yeah,
that
what-
you haven't
what?
read yet, that no one's going to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. No one's talking about. We're done talking about the chapter. All right.
Oh, you're done
No,
talking about the
Roger just
chapter.
got on
We're
the
good.
stream, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, we're
I
done talking
literally
about the
just
chapter.
joined.
Yeah. Well, have you
Yeah.
read the chapter?
No, of course
Well,
not.
then that's good for you, right?
That's perfect.
It's
Oh, are you
perfect for
guys
you.
are you guys talking about it?
Nah,
No,
we're
we're
done.
finished.
I'll
We're
buy
No,
it
we're
finished.
out.
done.
All right.
I'm good then. Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That
Now,
works perfectly.
do we want to talk about that interview the Toei staff gave?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that?
What, the 5 years?
The
The
5
5 years
years, the Kaido and
No,
Luffy,
that's
Kaido and Big Mom
boring.
versus Luffy, all the bullshit. All right, all the
I don't
bullshit.
know about but
Wait,
There were
what
two-
bullshit?
There were two different translations for it, and a
Right.
lot of the community is tending to go towards the bull version of the translations, where the guy basically said One Piece is ending in 5 years, and by the end of Wano, we will know exactly what the One Piece
Yeah,
is.
and that's incorrect. The exact translation
Right.
was that Wano, not Wano, but One Piece could feasibly end within 5 years. He didn't say will.
Yeah.
He said could
Yeah, he didn't
feasibly
say
end.
that.
yeah,
it
and
will.
Oda,
Yeah,
and
the
Oda,
way that I
Oda
took
came out
that-
and said that already.
Yeah, and the way that I took that is that realistically, it could end in 5 years after Wano's over. Because I made this tweet and I got a lot of people talking about it on Twitter. But if you look in between when the Water 7 Enies Lobby story saga ended and the very last chapter of the pre-time skip era, it was 2007 to 2010. So we got Amazon Lily, Thriller Bark, the entire Thriller Bark saga. We got Sabaody Archipelago, Impel Down, Marineford, and Post-War, plus the stuff post Enies Lobby, all in between that. So feasibly, when Wano's over, if it's as big of an arc as Endy's Lobby 1 or 7 is, we could get a massive story saga similar to Thriller Bark with Elbath, and then a lot of miniature ones explaining stuff with God Valley, maybe what's going on with the revolutionaries, and then eventually going into Raftel, which could be a much smaller arc depending on how much gets revealed in flashbacks.
Do we really
war.
do we really need God Valley to be explained though?
Well, not necessarily, but I do think people want to see it.
Do we need it? No. Do we want
Yo,
it?
if we didn't,
Yes.
if we didn't see Aokiji versus Akainu, what makes y'all think we'll see God Valley?
God Valley's far
Because
more
the
important.
communication number one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because God Valley has a lot more story implications when
So-
it comes to the
so
when it comes
y'all
to
are on
Akainu
record-
versus Aokiji.
Yeah,
And also,
y'all are on record saying. Let me just get this straight. Real quick, okay? Y'all are on record saying that we'll see the God Valley incident before we see the Payback War.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see
I mean,
Raftel within the next 10 chapters.
I don't think we're going to see both, but yeah.
Matt,
either.
but look at it like this: the Payback War. We literally know everything that happened with that. Marco fought, Marco lost, Blackbeard took over. That's literally it.
We know what happened with
no, but look with the
God
Aokiji
Valley,
versus
yeah.
Aokiji versus Akainu fight. With recent chapters, if you believe the theories that Aokiji did lose, but they came to some type of agreement to where Aokiji joined Sword and he infiltrates Blackbeard. That's probably one of the reasons that we didn't see we didn't see that fight yet, because that would have been major spoilers to what's to come. And God Valley, that probably has a lot more to do with what's going on now than anything.
So yeah,
I think the simple difference is that, like, did Oda raise the question in the story itself? Like with Payback War and Akainu Aokiji, it's just telling us that these things happen. With the God Valley chapter, the Marines were asking what is the secret of God Valley and stuff like that, and it seemed like this was a mystery that is going to come up later down the line.
Right.
So like Oda was raising the question.
And also,
I'm curious, do you guys think we're going to get that during this flashback? To me, it
Nah,
seems
it's
like
already
the
over.
direction they're going in.
Not
No,
this
not
Flashback's
flashback.
already over?
It's already over, yeah.
God Valley, I think God
No,
Valley
no.
has implications. I think God Valley has implications to the difference in the end game, because if you look at what we got at the beginning of the story with Crocus's words on how where Raftel is at the end of the Grand Line, and then you look at the Poneglyph stuff and how they converge to where Raftel is, or Raftel, I should say. There is a conflict between what Crocus said and then what the Poneglyphs indicate. Potentially.
Remember when?
No. There's no
Valley
conflict, King. There's no conflict with what Crocus said.
Probably is, because it makes no sense where we go to the literally end of the Grand Line.
Yeah, it tells
and
you
then
where the Poneglyphs are.
Okay.
Right,
But listen, King, this is
what I'm trying to say is that, like, the end of according to what we got in Zoe, the end of the Grand Line is supposed to indicate something else that leads then to the Poneglyphs.
Well, yes. Okay. So look. I have the answer for you, because me, you, and Dritz were trying to figure this out whenever we had our call. So this is what it is.
We didn't come to a
This is what this is what I've. This is just what I think. Okay. So for one, it's stated that Roger went on 2 journeys or 2 voyages throughout his piracy.
Yeah.
That we know
He went through the Grand Line,
So,
got to the end, and then realized
he
had to go back.
conquered the Grand Line. Okay, so essentially, what Crocus was saying is, you have to conquer the Grand Line. He didn't give them the shortcut of the road poneglyphs like Inarashi and Nekomamushi did. So he told them, hey, you have to go conquer the Grand Line, go to the last island. On the last island is when you'll find out, oh, okay, there's something more that I have to do to find Raftel. Then you have to go and you have to find the poneglyphs all throughout the world. And this is probably why Roger went and got Odin, because after he conquered the Grand Line, he's like, yo, how am I going to read these poneglyphs? I need someone to read these.
Well, he read them.
That's how Odin gets
in the Zoe
implemented
chapter.
onto his
Nami
crew.
literally recites what Crocus told her about being able to go to the end of the Grand Line to go then to Raftel.
Yes,
and
King.
then Inarashi states that's actually not the case. So I'm not saying that Crocus like intentionally lied. I'm just saying that there is a slight conflict, and I think that God.
It's just a by the way. Like, you get to the end line, and then it's like, oh, by the way, you have to find these things.
But God Valley,
So-
but we're looking at the God Valley incident is one thing. We're not talking about like the island itself as its own story. When I
No,
brought
no,
up
no,
God
no.
Valley
I think
earlier, the
God
thing I
Valley
was
is
mentioning.
Raftel, Roger. I think that's a lot of people think God
No,
Valley.
But
it's
is
not.
bad.
No,
that
it's
could
not.
be the
No,
next
no.
couple chapters then.
It
Because
don't like that
obviously with
idea.
Odin's flashback, we're gonna have to find out more about Whitebeard. We're gonna have to find out more about Roger.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find out more about his journey. If any of that has happened, it's gonna come up in conversation
Maybe.
within this flashback. It's
Well,
going
And
to.
then-
Remember-
oh,
hang on, give me a
Roger,
second.
real quick, Roger. I gotta say this too. When you
Yeah.
look at the actual comics voice before about how there is so much of the story being covered between 2007 and 2010, but the problem is that the story back then was a bit different, where the context of the Straw Hats mattered a lot more in the pre-time skip than the post-time skip. So the
Absolutely.
story was condensed a lot more to the Straw Hats, whereas nowadays the story is Law might as well be Straw Hat. The story is so much bigger and the scope is so much grander now, to where in every arc there's so many different details that play a bigger role to the overall story that takes so much more time, or at least it should take a lot more time to kind of sift through all this other
Well,
content.
I feel like he's getting
King,
much
King.
better. Like if you look at the most recent chapter, not the most recent, I guess by your guys' standards, but like last week, 962, at the most recent chapter, right? There, all that stuff with Conjuro and with Kinemon and everything, like it all got skipped. They're like, oh, and then there's this character, and oh, and he did this one thing, and it was all a matter of a panel. Whereas I think with like Dressrosa or Whole Cake, a lot of that stuff would have been its own chapter. And so I do genuinely believe that the editors or Oda or whoever is like, bro, okay, you gotta speed this up just like a little bit.
Well,
You
remember,
gotta speed
we were
this up.
supposed to be
And
in
exactly
Wano.
what you're saying, King, exactly what you said is completely true, which is that, you know, now it's not as focused on the Straw Hats. It's about the greater overall world. And I think because of that, that's why I believe a lot of this stuff could be shortened, and why I think there's some of these story arcs might be like,
King.
So we're in agreement.
King, I wanted to say this to you, bro. Essentially, the Straw Hats skipped a step. They don't have to go towards the end of the Grand Line anymore.
No.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because
that's what.
Yeah, of course, because they know what happens. So yeah.
Exactly. So they don't have to conquer the Grand Line per se anymore, because if you've noticed, they have not been following the log post this whole time that they've been in the New World.
Right.
So you don't have to don't have to go all the way.
No,
bro. They have not been using the log post since Dressrosa.
No, but that's
they've been using Reverie cards.
No, wait. I can't, because they use the log post. Okay, they arrived at Punk Hazard on like a whim. Yeah, fair. But then they use I think the log post, or they used a log post to get to Dressrosa. I think it was Law's log post.
That's what I just said. It was only Dressrosa. After that,
Right,
the
after
log post.
Right, yeah, but after that, it just all happens to be happenstance. Like again, it's like the story just kind of takes them to, okay, we have to go to Zoe.
No, bro, they've been using the Reverie card.
Yeah, well, whatever. They haven't been following the Grand Line since the New World. Anyway.
And that's what I'm getting to. You don't. I don't think you have to follow. Look, you have to follow the Grand Line to learn about the poneglyphs, because the poneglyphs tell you how to get to One Piece.
Yeah.
So the Straw Hats skipped a step, so they're not gonna go to the final island.
Yeah.
Do we think?
All I'm saying,
do you think that
all he's saying is that the information.
They definitely could still go to the final island.
I think what King's trying to say,
because they're historical.
the information
they're
conflicts with what Crocus said.
Exactly.
And Luffy,
that's the point.
If the initial you think of the series is he wants to conquer the whole Grand Line, Luffy's not going to be like, oh, we're just going to make this, we're going to skip this. Like, they're going to want to go to the final island. But I think the final island could also be Elbaf. I think those could be one and the same. Like, you could condense all that stuff into one storyline. Or God Valley. But God Valley, like you guys said, could also be Raftel. So they could really condense it. Yeah.
There's one thing that's like kind of big, I think personally. So it depends how much do you put into Brook and Laboon, right? Because if the Straw Hats do technically get to the end of the Grand Line, then that would be coming back around through Reverse Mountain. And I do think that like that reunion's kind of big and pretty impactful if they're coming over Reverse Mountain, like so that Laboon can see them again.
Yeah.
And then
from one of the
their way
boys, though,
back to Marishoa for the final war. At least that's how and then that way they see their friends from before and gather them on the way back along. That's how I've always kind of imagined it.
Morge, do you think that the Laboon reunion isn't going to happen? Like, you think that's going to happen before the end of the series? Because to me, I've always assumed the Laboon thing could happen at the very end, almost like in an epilogue, where we see Brook after the rest of the crew is past, basically telling the story of the Straw Hats to Laboon.
Yeah, I wonder. I just think that like Luffy's made some comment at some point, like at some point we have to go all the way back. We have to go back around the world to see our old friends or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like if the final war is at Marijoa, which I kind of think it is, it makes more sense that they kind of do a lap
You
and like
guys
pick
put
up
any
old
stock
allies
in
just to go back
the
around.
next arc being
Mm.
Alabasta War?
Yeah, like, that's what I thought was gonna happen initially too, because you have like Laboon, and also I think also tied to. I mean, Oda never really got to it, but like Nami's dream of actually being able to draw a map of the world.
Yep.
Well, we can't see the world to do that, but we're only in the New World Grand Line, so we still have to go to like the North Blue, which also tied to Sanji as well, and then you have the West Blue, you have the South Blue, like other blues, that kind of stuff. But again, if Oda wants to get it done in 5 years, and that could all be done in epilogue, I suppose.
Yeah.
But what if Nami's already been to those other seas?
I don't think that's
I
confirmed.
don't think so.
No,
No, because remember they said it's not
Other
easy
sea-
to get from blue to blue.
she's basically stuck with Arlong before she
Oh
gets
yeah,
the Straw
that's
Hats.
right.
Yeah.
I
That's
can
right.
see
They
her
did
I
say
can see her
that.
at the end of the story saying that she's drawn a full map of the Grand Line.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
could get a
that
20-year
kind of-
time skip with her map completed. It's not out of the
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that makes her dream incomplete.
Not by the end of the series. If we get a time
No,
skip, and
yeah,
then she
at
has
the
the whole
end of
map.
the series, we get like a Naruto chapter 700.
I mean,
bull, and
And
But-
you see all their
we
dreams
found out that
fulfilled. You
she's
see
there.
Robin wrote a
Yeah.
book about the poneglyphs, and you see that Nami's
King,
drawn the map, and
yeah.
Brooke is talking to Laboon. and, yeah.
But King, her dream is actually just to draw the map of Raftel, the only island that's uncharted. Like every other island's
What?
uncharted. Every other island's
Well,
charted.
it's
World's
been
map
a
of the
big-
world.
Like every other
Map of the
island's
world.
charted,
Yeah,
bro.
it's the map of the world.
Yeah, but every other island's charted. So if she gets the final
where's
piece,
that?
What?
She
Was
makes
Wano?
Wait.
How are all these maps charted?
because
Nah,
there's map
Wano
books.
can't be charted.
There's map
Yeah,
books.
Wano's
I mean,
not.
the people of Wano
Wano's not charted,
Wano.
and then
How
I'm
did the
pretty sure
Marines
other
get there if
islands-
it's not charted?
God Valley's not charted.
It's off the
Dude,
map.
everyone,
There
dude,
you
if
go.
everything was
Raftel's
charted,
not
then you
charted.
could just go to
Yep.
the directions. The point everyone uses the.
That's
VP
why
cards and log
Raftel's
books to get
mystery.
places.
Oh, that's
That's
what
why
you're saying.
Raftel's not on the
delivery
sea.
cards Go ahead.
And then plus inherently the Marines don't even control half of the Grand Line. It's the Yonko. So
Yeah,
How
the
could they
Yonko
fuck
control the
up
other
Greece?
half.
yeah.
The Marines
So-
surely have a map to places like God Valley because they've been there before. They know where it is.
Well, I'm
Why
sure
would they
have
not
a
have a map?
of Whole King Island, but it's not like the same type of map that Pudding had.
Yeah, it's not a bullshit,
Right.
map.
Yeah, like
yeah.
running like a whole
Exactly,
schematic
yeah.
of Scotland that
So
you knew where
it's-
everyone
yeah.
was, like what seas you could take, and that kind of stuff.
So-
Whereas
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't have the same thing for the New World. Or
So-
And then
honestly,
just
also the Grand Line. I mean,
and then just because the Marines have it doesn't mean that the public has access.
Sure, but what I'm saying is like the Marines shouldn't have Raftel charted because it's the Void Century
they
shit.
should not. No, they should
Yeah.
not.
No, it's probably not,
Raftel
no.
and God Valley, if they're two separate islands.
Well, they destroyed.
Because
Well,
God Valley was
yeah,
under.
God Valley
God Valley
for some
disappeared.
reason.
It vanished.
Of Busticle, probably.
Busticle,
Like my
yeah.
dreams.
So with the God Valley, right? We know that Kaido and Big Mom have some kind of debt. So I think that's when the God Valley will get explained. When they explain that debt between each other.
Oh,
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
I just
that.
want to know if Crocodile's a woman or not, man. That's
Okay,
all.
Alright.
all right.
definitely.
I mean, why not?
Well, I don't
It's
know.
possible.
Ugh.
Well, I
Sh-
want to
sh-
know. I want to know what's up with
sh-
that. That's
yeah.
the secret I'm really interested in. I want to know what's going on with that.
Shout out to Crocodile and Stampede. He did nothing, you know. Just standing there.
Yeah, but the
sure.
book said
Crocodile
he
was
clashed equally and had a tie with Douglas Bullet, so we got my boy Crocodile.
Wait, is it the
what?
book?
We
What?
also saw
There-
in
there
One
was,
Piece Stampede, we also see Sanji 1v1 what's his
And
face, Lucci.
in one of
So
like
That was
they handed out like a
amazing,
pamphlet,
bro.
basically
You
just
mean,
like
you mean the
premiere
1
for,
second shot of
Stampede, and
him
in the
kicking
pamphlet it said that
Lucci?
at some distant point in the past, Crocodile and Douglas Bullet fought to
Yeah.
a draw.
Yeah, okay, but
It's been really distant.
Luffy fought Buggy.
Yeah, that
you
was
think
like
Buggy?
That's my goat.
Buggy's gonna be like, yo, I fought the
that's
Pirate
like
King.
Douglas Bullet free hockey, bro. There's
That's
no
my goat,
way,
bro.
bro.
That's my goat.
Fucking
Crocodile is.
crocodile.
Let's stop.
Trashadile,
No, they
am I
lied.
right?
They lied, bro. They lied to you. I
Go to
got this.
dial.
Go to
The
dial.
same guy that was on the same level as Rayleigh, according to Buggy in the movie. You're telling me that Crocodile drawed with him?
Shit, man. Anything can happen.
No, stop. Stop.
Matchups matter.
No. This is
Wait.
pre-hockey. Stop lying.
Wait. I apologize for walking away. I come back and all I hear is matchups matter. What happened?
Apparently,
about
Crocodile fought Bullet.
Can this
so-
not be a discussion? This is so.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on.
I apologize for bringing it up. Even I just thought you were on the topic. So
I'm very curious.
Moving on.
did you guys talk at all about Stampede though? Because Stampede
Uh,
was really good.
Not. We didn't
Not on the
touch
stream, not on this
Stampede
stream.
was
Talked about last
good
week, but
from
yeah,
a
Stampede
One
was
Piece
decent.
fan standpoint.
One Piece.
Yeah,
Stampede was
fan
decent.
service, Totally.
The whole
Wait,
smoke
what does
monster
that
kind
imply?
of ruined
Like,
it
is
for
it's
me.
not
but-
good
If you watch it as just an introduction to One Piece, like you
Oh, it's
like
terrible.
most people,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I've shown like Strong World or Film Z to some of my friends to get them into One Piece, and they were like, "Yeah,
Well,
yeah, that's cool. I want to know more about these people." But
I went with
if you do that for
I went with a
if you
crew
do
with
that
my
for like
studio,
Stampede,
where I'm at right
What?
now, and like 10 people
Um,
went. Half of them didn't really know anything about One Piece. They just wanted to see it. They said it was like decent. They weren't too lost.
But how would you even know what's going on? Like, I thought that when
Yeah,
I went to the
you wouldn't.
premiere too. I was like, I loved it. I thought it was cool as a One Piece fan. But like you said, Silvers, it is mostly
Well,
fan service.
give-
Like,
yeah,
if I
like
took, like
Right,
somebody
right,
who
right.
didn't know One Piece, if I took my parents to go see that movie, they'd be like,
Oh.
"What the hell is going on here?" I have
I
no
feel,
lot of
idea.
I feel like
Fighting you with
a
the-
lot
with the-
a lot of statements that a lot of the characters make are literally just there for the fans to go, "Oh,
Right.
he said his thing." Like
Shoutouts to
me
Kid,
and
he
Chris,
does nothing and is trash.
me
in
and
the
Christian,
movie.
me and Christian talked about it yesterday. Fujitora's entire thing in Stampede
It's just a
made
clash with
no
Zoro.
sense.
Yeah, he just finds Zoro and
Made
clashes
no
with him.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
feel- I
1v1
feel
Zoro
like
really quickly until
Stampede-
Mihawk can cut my meteor. It's
Yeah.
like-
All of the cameos, all of and
Stam-
Mihawk.
yeah.
I mean, is that wrong? Is that wrong though? It's a movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
I
it's a
mean,
movie.
no, it's not wrong. But if you were to look at the Dragon Ball movies are a bad example. That's another example of just like fan service. That's
I
a
mean,
horrible
that's what I
example.
feel like
but
a
the
movie.
Dragon
Look,
Ball
a movie, in
similar.
my opinion, is to bring more fans into the series, right? So
Right.
with Stampede, by far was the most fan servicey movie.
Right.
So it's not going to get new people
that
in.
Toei has come out with. But
Yeah.
I think that's doing that's doing the best that they possibly could be, because it's a movie. Like people are just going to go see it in theaters because they're like, oh dang, it's One Piece in theaters. Let me go see it.
Yeah.
They have
Okay,
no
yeah.
like stake in it.
Well, the
Okay,
best
yeah,
part of the
all right.
movie is
Let me
Usopp.
rephrase it then. As
Usopp's
a
arc
One
is
Piece
pretty good.
fan,
Yeah.
it was more enjoyable. Not that it's because if a non One Piece fan, like somebody who's only watched Dragon Ball, was to go see Stampede, I feel like they'd be a lot more interested
well-
to get into One Piece rather than if they just watch Strong World or
It's
Filthy.
the infinite conundrum of how do you get people into One Piece. So like
Yeah.
it's
I
an
feel
impossible
like
question to answer.
They follow the film Broly, where they just had a whole mess of fights. Like if you look at, let's say, Film Z kind of drags on. I mean, like you start with the fight between Kizaru and Zet, but then they take a lot of time to build up Zet as the character, as the villain.
Yeah,
His flight,
yeah.
great. Whereas in Film Z, Bullet comes in, I want to be the strongest, and then fight, bring it on, Supernova, and he just kicks
Get to the
ass.
chopper.
Wait, kid just doing
Hey,
nothing.
like, what's up, dog? You see what's up with this guy? It's simple. He just wants to be the strongest.
How can any of the Supernova compete with Luffy at all?
Okay,
I
can-
feel like
He was also
what's it
super
called?
dumb though in that movie because in the movie his whole thing is he could take machinery and then merge it into different things, and it's like the second his arm was gone, he can't just pick that debris up again and then reform
I
it.
don't know, bro.
No,
What's going
the
on with
dumbest
that?
thing he did in that whole movie was get into a mech at all.
Yeah, what?
He was fucking everyone up
Stamp-
for
That
guns.
was pretty clean at the end, though. I like that.
Stampede was added to that list of like things that I would do, or I would show somebody to get them into One Piece.
Just show him
Mm.
clips. Don't show him the movie.
Like-
Like,
Whereas like in other movies, I'd only show specific parts. If I want to get somebody into One Piece, I'd show them that whole movie.
Don't
You guys-
don't
Exactly.
show
You guys
him.
think
like,
Stampede is like where Usopp's character is gonna end up?
It's already like that. It's already done that in
Kinda
Motor
was-
7.
kinda
It's just a
already like that,
repeat.
but, like, I like
Yeah.
to see
Yeah,
it.
it's just a repeat.
but look, here's the thing,
Wait,
though.
what do you mean? What do you mean in Stampede where Usopp's character is gonna?
Because
End
like
up?
Usopp kind of did this already, but it's like he's willing to sacrifice his own shit for Luffy, which is like he did that in Dressrosa. But I just want to see
I
him
mean, he's
like
done it like 3 times.
Yeah, he's
eventually
already done
see
that.
him be the brave
Yeah.
warrior without like the nonsense in the front,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and then evolve
I
into
mean-
like stronger than Sanji
yeah.
because he's a brave warrior.
Oh, well, I mean,
The Brave Warrior power up. The Brave Warrior power up. Yeah.
Yeah, the brave
I mean,
warrior.
I'm on record saying this. Second highest bound in the Strad crew, Usopp. Done.
Whoa,
By
whoa,
the end of the
whoa,
series?
whoa.
Yeah, I
without-
can see
yeah,
it. He
without-
can
without-
bug his
Higher
way
than
into that.
Nah,
Yeah, he
not
could
higher
bug
than
his
Zoro.
way in.
Higher
Not
than
than
Chopper?
Zoro.
Second highest bounty in the crew.
Yeah,
I
I see
mean,
it
but
happening by
As
5
long as we
years.
all agree that Bullet would have been a way better villain for this movie if he had no Summer Wars like love machine devil fruit, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Honestly,
Yes.
like it was fine. Like, because here's the thing, it plays with Usopp to play to be the
Sure.
support.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, okay,
gives
yeah, but
Have the
And then
first
you
mech.
make the-
We don't need the CG monster that is so boring to watch. It does
But
nothing.
CG makes everything
Yeah.
better,
Bro,
dude.
I have
Bullet
no
showed
complaints
up in the
about
beginning.
Bullet, bro.
Bullet
Yeah.
showed up in the beginning. He was intimidating. He was a force. He was a
Base.
presence on that battlefield. Then he jumped in his mech. And was literally stationary the entire movie.
The mech, I think, is relatively fine. My issue with Stampede is that what you're saying about the movie is correct in the sense of, yeah, for One Piece fans and non One Piece fans, but I think it's inaccurate because it is a predominantly fight-based movie. But then if someone's actually watched One Piece now for episode 1, they're gonna be like, wait, hold on, where are all these crazy, stupendous, marvelous fights? It's like,
Yeah, but
well, that's
the
not
yeah, but King,
Yeah,
the best
King,
part of the
but-
movie
King, but
is
that's my
Bullet.
point.
Yeah, the best part of the movie is
moment
Bullet
in the
not in
film,
the.
like,
Yeah.
like, the best moment in the film is you can easily argue, or like when Luffy sees the log post of Laughtail, and he destroys it. It's
Sure,
like, no,
sure.
Right.
All right, but look, King, that's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
You said that Stampede is a predominantly fight-based movie, right?
Yes.
Bullet did no fighting in the entire movie, with the exception
He
of the
did all the
supernova
fight.
stuff, and with the exception of the supernovas in the beginning and Luffy at the end.
Yeah, I think I can
everybody
explain this. Yeah.
Everybody was wailing away at a wall.
Yeah, like Bullet.
What are you
Had,
talking about?
no,
the
King.
wall was punching back. That's called a fight.
King. The fight was fantastic until he went to his CG smoke monster, and then like he didn't do anything, and then people just attacking his limbs.
Listen, man, the Japanese
Yeah.
love mechs.
I gotta say though, I liked
like
I liked
fighting
that
the
moment with Sabo and Smoker where they're flying.
Yeah,
across
the combo
and
attacks were cool.
twisting and
Yeah,
stuff.
the
That
combo
was tight. I
punch.
like that. Yeah.
Ace mode was pretty
Sleep on my
good.
boy Smoker. People sleep on Smoker.
And
okay.
Boa too. People sleep on Boa, and she like is
Boa
doing
was
the
pretty
more
good.
damage.
Oh, and Kobe. Kobe's coming hot. Yeah.
All right, well,
he's
maybe,
not.
all right, cut Kobe out of
Kobe's
that.
getting, Kobe's getting
I'm
one
trying
shot.
to.
I'm getting
No,
I
it.
didn't
but
know your
that-
name was George J. Chris.
Wait. Kobe ain't getting one shot. Relax.
Kobe's getting one shot.
Kobe's
That's
getting
his.
one
That's
shot.
his entire character. He shows up.
He shows up,
Luffy,
cries,
says, I'm
and gets
going
one
to
shot,
Get
yeah.
strong, and
Alright,
then
yeah.
Luffy one shots him.
Like,
So,
if you look- okay,
what are you
like,
gonna do? What are you gonna do after Wano's up and Kobe's done some nasty shit? What are you
What
gonna
has he
do
done?
then?
What has he done?
What are you gonna
I
say?
mean,
Do you think he's
I
capturing Boa?
I
Do you
mean-
honestly think he's capturing Boa?
No. Look.
I'm looking.
I'm not gonna go that far and say that Kobe is gonna capture Boa, but what I will say is that after Wano is done, two Yonko were gonna be down for the count,
Right.
out,
Okay.
done.
Alright.
So,
Maybe.
Yep.
so
Yonko.
At
Big
least
Mama
one.
and Elbath, but okay.
So with
At
that,
least one.
so with that being said,
No.
so with that being said, right? Someone else has to enter as like the main antagonist, or that main person that the
Blackbeard?
pirates are
Hello?
going to be fighting against.
Yeah.
So, aside from Blackbeard, because Blackbeard's a pirate
Yeah.
still,
Marines.
it's going to be the Marines / the world government.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
with
Yeah.
that being said, like Oda has done a bad job of putting other characters on like a high level in the Marines outside of the admirals. So
Do you think
I
that's
feel
the
like after
reason?
Wano, more characters like Kobe and Smoker are gonna get redeemed. Smoker's gonna come back
absolutely.
stronger. Smoker's gonna come back stronger. Kobe's gonna be strong, or it's gonna be revealed that
But
he's
what?
like way
Kobe's
stronger
Kobe's
than what
going
we
to
think.
get stronger, but my point is when
No.
he
I think
looks
Kobe's
Luffy in the
already
face-
strong.
Yeah,
I think Kobe
yeah,
is
I do. I
Kobe is
agree with
already
you.
at the point.
But in the face of
Hey,
Luffy,
it's probably like Hold'em level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, relax. Relax.
but Matt, in the face of
Give him Batman.
Luffy,
Give him Batman.
he
Yeah.
always he
I mean,
give him Batman.
Luffy would destroy his entire crew right now, so like Luffy's pretty strong. Like he's no
Okay,
dude,
now I don't think. No.
Look.
Now I think it's changed because of the Sanjin's or power up, but
No,
I don't
no.
think. And then Frankie should
Luffy
be
has-
on paper. Frankie should
Are we
be
doing
in
this again?
theory,
King.
on paper,
Luffy has Future
building
Sight and
weapons
Snake
against
Man.
Kaido. So if Frankie has weapons against Kaido already on deck, then that's going to be a Frankie power up as well,
Alright, bro.
probably.
King, my
Hopefully.
favorite video of yours is all the Straw Hats don't need hockey. I love that video.
Well, that's true.
Appreciate that.
It's facts. That's facts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
They all don't need hockey.
It's like,
They should
it's
have
like-
it. They don't need it though.
It's like, could you imagine, like, Oda giving like Nami the time to go through like awakening or hockey train like that? It's like probably not. Dude.
Kaido
It's
already
not-
has hockey with the weather powers.
I mean,
Like,
I
Weaken it in
agree
the
with
fight
you,
with
but
the
I
budget.
also feel like by the end of the series there will be some explanation, and Nami's going to have some crazy hockey and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, look at this! We
by the-
retconned her love slap into
Like,
some hockey." thing."
I
like,
like
not
this
in
agenda.
They
not in Wano,
most
bro.
likely will. Most likely they will have like all of the Straw Hats. Most likely will get hockey in some
Nami
shape or
can
form.
sense
But
the weather.
in terms of their like actual combat, I feel like it'd be a lot more interesting
Well,
if
Nami's not
you
gonna
know
get a
they
fight,
found
so we're
other
not
ways
gonna actually see it.
around,
Yeah.
like to circumvent Devil Fruit.
Nami can have hockey, but don't use. Nami doesn't
Wait,
have to
hold
use
on.
her hockey in combat.
Real quick. Look how in the latest chapter. Oh, I'm sorry. You know,
Oh,
Don't
oh yeah,
bring
hold
it
on.
up, bring it up.
I'll bounce
my bad,
I'll bounce
my
out.
bad,
I'll bounce
my
out.
bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna be like, I can help out. I can help out. No worries.
we good.
Nami
No, you're
does.
good,
If
dude.
Nami has hockey, or if some of the other Straw Hats get hockey, it doesn't have to be hockey used in combat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm
But you
assuming
can say that
Nami
Nami
already
being
has
able to, like,
observation hockey
You can
because
say
of
that
the
Nami
weather
being able
power.
to like perceive the weather to like
Yeah.
sense.
It's
where, like,
observation.
Or yeah, that's obviously you can say that that's observation hockey. Fair enough, fine. But it's like again, like I'm saying, like because we've already been noted to several times that Kairoseki is prevalent in Wano country. You have guys like Frankie, Usopp, potentially Brook. They can utilize Kairoseki in many ways, and they become stronger.
Can you just say Sea Stone?
Yes, fine. Sea Stone. Sea Stone. All right. The Sea Stone that is
Yeah.
available in Wano country can make it more powerful. It
Yeah.
is there. Like,
Okay.
it's not hard to do. So it's like
Wait, why were you
again,
bothered by him saying Kairoseki? What's wrong with
I
that?
don't know.
Crucial doesn't like
Hey,
It's
it.
not. It's not.
I
very
don't like
good.
Yonko. I
So-
don't like
so-
Kuroseki. I
That's
don't
it.
like
Yo.
Chichibukai. I don't like it. All right.
Daifuku.
Yo, why,
I
I
gotta-
gotta,
Man.
Wait.
Yo, I got a
So wait,
question.
hold on. So if I say Dogstorm and Cat Viper, does that
Oh,
That bothers
Are you
me.
okay
It's
with that?
fine.
Say that.
It's fine.
Oh, okay. That's
What
what
about
I thought.
Dogtooth, dude?
Dogtooth. Oh, Dogtooth.
Dogtooth.
Where did-
Oh my
King,
god.
Where did that
you were the
even
one
come
who
from?
liked
Yo,
Dogtooth.
Manga Stream, I think, bro. Shout out
Manga
to
Stream
Manga
translations, bro.
Manga stream, but
Manga Stream
didn't
and-
they say some stupidness like Katakuri translates to dogtooth or something like
Yeah,
that?
they were
Yeah,
like,
it's
so
like
the
a
word
flower or
Katakuri means
something.
dogtooth.
King, you were the one who
Wow.
liked Dogtooth and didn't want to use
I
Katakuri.
do. I do like Dogtooth. Fine. I think it's okay, but I just can't handle like in hindsight. Like if I don't like if I like Dogtooth, then I have to also like kind of like Dogstorm. And
Yeah,
Cat Viper.
exactly. Yeah.
Nah.
Is
Oh,
See,
Katakuri...
and that's one that could have stayed untranslated. I love it, maybe not Inuarashi as much, but like Nekomamushi just rolls off the tongue in such a beautiful
Yeah.
way. Like to the
does,
fact that he wrote the song about it, where it's like Nekomamushi no da na ni. It's like
Why
it
are-
just works.
Why are none of the other?
$10.
Yeah, but why are none of the other minks have like one of those names? They're all just like random ass names.
Just
Carrot and
Superman.
Yeah.
Wanda, but then
Yes,
Nekomamushi Inuarashi.
Can we not talk about Carrot, please?
No.
No,
Can we?
we
We took
won't.
Carrot top 5 right here.
Not
Let's
worth.
have a
Not
fucking
worth the
discussion.
discussion. Not worth the discussion.
Yeah, Art has to stop with that nonsense. So
Get out of here, man.
No.
When Sue Long Carrot comes back out during the full moon in Wano country and she one shots one of the beast pirates,
I'll
during
be
the
saying
same
when
I'll
she-
be
when
looking.
she one-shots
I'll
a
be looking
boat
at
for real
Nekomamushi
this
so
time.
long.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah,
real,
actually,
yeah.
well,
Instead of taking the steering wheel.
Big Mom and Kaido are going down this
Get
arc.
up,
Roger,
Nah,
I've had this issue for years, and I finally get to
Carrot?
say it to you. Me and you have a problem because you single-handedly ruined the next Nakama thread in Oral Jackson for me.
I did. What did I do?
You
Carrot?
said
What?
carrot for Nakama, absolutely
hold on.
100%, and then everybody in the Nakama thread was spouting every single one of
Okay,
your points.
two things wrong with what you just said. One, I have never used a One Piece internet forum, so I never put
No,
that.
Well,
no,
he's
no,
never
no,
saying
no,
you did. He's
no,
never saying you did.
No, I'm not saying you did use it.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
you used
yeah.
Oral Jackson. I'm saying you
I was like, please
influenced
don't put
everyone
don't
in
put words
there.
in my mouth.
Oh, no.
But the second thing is, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry.
Can't-
I got
you
the
can't-
views. It's fine.
You can't control his
absolutely.
He
audience.
was wrong, all right?
Absolutely,
So
I
you gotta-
respect
you gotta
it.
check
Yeah,
those
of
out.
I respect it, but,
I
but
understand
you ruined,
completely,
you
yeah.
ruined my safe space.
It
That's
no
okay.
longer
We'll go to One
exists.
Piece
It no
Reddit.
longer
They hate
exists.
all of us there.
Yeah, it no longer exists.
Shout out to the One Piece Reddit.
Oh yeah, that.
They love me.
Nah, man. What happened to Oro Jack?
It got
doesn't
nuked.
exist
Yeah,
anymore,
it
does
died.
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 Dang,
rest
it
in
sucks.
peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, OJ.
Man.
Yeah.
Naomi Rose found a new home.
Where
Yeah,
is
dude,
she?
fuck OJ.
Oh,
Oh man,
Oh wow.
Oh.
all
Yo,
right,
he was
well.
innocent, dog. He was
Yo.
innocent, dog. What are you talking about? Whoa.
yo, I still have the Oral Jackson tab in my bookmarks.
Nah,
and I
dude,
have,
those-
and it still
the
says
Dang,
OJ
you've
mod
been
was
waiting.
ridiculous.
it still
Nah.
says one notification right there, and I will never be able to know
All
what
right.
that
Just move to
notification
being-
was.
Dang.
The OJ
You can
mods
never
are
go
like
check
corrupt
your-
beyond belief.
Really?
All
Yeah,
right.
they had this one mod who's like he was super powerful, and there was like an LGBTQ thread, which is Matt's favorite, obviously. But in that thread, the guy he is Middle Eastern, and he basically
What did you just
said
say?
as a-
Elemental P?
Yeah, I was talking about
I-
Reverie.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Don't get it.
People to this day. No, hold on, wait.
Come on.
People to this day ask me and go, Roger's base, are you ever gonna post the ILL Reverie from Anime Expo? And I almost every single time I'm like, not if the elemental piece segment's in there. I'm like, I'm not bringing that up.
Yeah, that shit gets shut down.
The
Yeah, bro.
second you
That's
said that, I was like, bro, this can never go public.
Bro, it's
I
going
can't put
public.
this video on
Wait,
my
did I,
channel.
Roger? Did I say that?
You did, yeah.
yeah, elemental
My
P.
bad.
It was like on the stream because I went off to, I forgot what was going on, but I was like, oh, you take over real quick. And you were like, anyway, this elemental P stuff. And I come back and I watch the stream and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like,
Oh man, my bad,
Wait a
bro.
second. Is that the only
doesn't
thing
matter. No,
that's
I like
stopping you
the
from
fact
putting
that it's
that up?
like I like that it's like a hidden
Well, yeah,
stream.
because
You know,
if you put that up, and then let's say you have some fan base that are hard, and like if they,
Oh,
they
yeah,
are
they'll hate
on
me.
that group, and then
Yeah.
plus also some sponsors, but Mr. Roger, what's going on here, Mr. Bass?
Right.
What's going on here with this?
Mr. Bass.
Yeah, Mr.
Funnily
Bass.
enough, I'll bring
What's
this
going on
up.
with
This has
elemental
nothing to do with this has nothing to do with One Piece, but I'll bring it up very briefly because I get this all the time. Whenever I'm on like either this or like Brago streams or whatever, people will bring this up to me constantly. They'll be like, Roger, like, I can't believe you don't swear on your channel. Like, you're just appealing to your sponsors. I'm like, no, I just genuinely don't swear that much in videos. I just don't.
Now you
But
should. Now you should. Now you should.
Well, I probably will now because of Kappa. I'll make a point and say shit every
I
video, of
joined-
course. But
Yeah, what did your
joined
manager
Roger's
say about that,
Discord.
Roger?
what'd you say?
What did your manager say about the Kappa stuff? Did you meet
It's
with him?
not going to affect me at all. So
Not gonna affect you?
the different no with me or a lot of other people. I think even
Don't
within
trust
our
it, bro.
community.
Don't trust it.
No,
Here's
no,
the thing.
I feel pretty
No, because not
confident about this
not
because he was showing me
like,
some of this stuff.
Wait. The lawyers that I talk to, because they're like, okay, this shit's like mega fucking big, so we're not even too
It's huge.
sure.
It's
Like
super
they don't
huge.
even know what's going on. It's okay. So
Yeah.
Explain it to the
over it,
people.
it's like we're
Yeah,
not
you're
too sure
talking
it's
so
great.
insular
You don't know,
YouTube
because
law.
again,
All right,
even if let's say,
explain it.
for example, even if let's say you think that your video is not targeted towards kids, if YouTube in their machine feel like it's targeted towards kids, they can put that video automatically for target for kids. And let's say it's not, okay? That means that now you're at risk of being fined for 42 because YouTube themselves put it for target for kids, and then you can't change that. They won't
So
let
there's
you
two.
change that.
This is
So it's
actually
a
maybe
weird
good for
thing.
me to share then, because these are two things that I found out from my manager, and I think they're both really helpful. And again, it doesn't really have to do with One Piece, but I guess it's helpful for everybody that's in here. First thing, you can set your channel to channel wide as being not for kids, but that includes all
Yeah,
videos.
I did.
highly
I did
recommend
that. I
everybody
did that
who does that to
instantly.
do that. And
do that right
the second thing that you could look into, if you're like, well, I don't really know, like we do videos about cartoons or we do videos about Pokemon and things that are for kids, like how could we really know? How is that set? The big thing that they're going after and that they're looking at that I've heard from not only from my partner manager, but from other people at Google and from lawyers that I've talked to, is that it comes down to your audience demographics. If you look at your audience demographics and you see that you're like you have a channel that's primarily, you got like 12 to 18 is your demographic, then yeah, you're probably
13 to 17. 13
like,
to 17.
or 13 to 17, sorry, you're probably screwed. Whereas like the majority of the One Piece community, the nice thing about us is
21
that our
plus.
demographics
Yeah.
are, it's like 45% 18 to 25,
Yeah.
and then another 45% 25 to 38. And so the ads that are on our videos in the first place have never been the ones that target kids. That are things like on, Ryan's toy review
Elmer's
or
Glue.
whatever. Hey,
Elmer's
kids, I'm
Glue,
posting a
like
toy
whatever
right now
else.
for
Okay,
free. Like, come check it out. It's a different type of thing. So thankfully,
Yeah.
that really isn't something that affects a lot of us. The thing that does is the weird, vague law about like cartoon characters and how that then forced them to set videos for 4 kids. And if you'll need to make certain things private in that sense. But beyond that, like the thing of, oh, well, our videos, they can go and change them. Your audience demographics really do speak for themselves. And if you've been doing a lot of stuff that, targets towards children and you're making those videos specifically to appeal to kids, you are going to get hammered. And there's really no two ways about it. Like it's going to
So I know that the crafting community, the Lego guys, are gonna get hit hard. I know they can get hard.
Well, the Nintendo
I know
community,
that.
I mean, there's so many of them. That's like,
Okay, well, the Pokemon community, I think, is a bit weird because I think you
Shout
guys in
out
the
to
Pokemon community
Sword and Shield,
have a very mixed bag of audience where a lot of you guys are actually like 18 and older who enjoy Pokemon, but the game itself itself is made, you could say, for all ages. So
But
it's
the
a
community,
really
that
mixed
community
bag.
itself too is also split because half of the Pokemon creators, like I don't even fall, despite like my reputation within the One Piece community. It's like, oh, he's squeaky clean Rogers base who loves Disney, yay! It's like really, I am on the other side of the community, which is like Shofu and the rest of them, where like I'm doing Pokemon battles, but I'm not like a kids Pokemon YouTuber. Where there's a whole subsection of like, hey kids, today we're doing shiny hunts. Yeah, can't you wait for my green applet? And their asses are fucked. Like they are fucked. Hardcore.
But again, the problem is that how the algorithm discern. The problem is the algorithm itself, not necessarily the law, because the law has to be backed up by a human. If they're going to fine you, right, they're going to review your video with a human being on the FTC's part, and they're going to see what's what if it actually breaks those guidelines. But the problem is going to be the actual YouTube bot itself, the YouTube machines and the automations that are going to discern what is or is not child friendly, because YouTube fucked up. Now we're gonna take all the goddamn onus and all the blame. And the problem is that their bots, we know from a history standpoint, have been shit, inconsistent. They don't know what they're doing. They demonetize unfairly. They allow other channels to strike you unfairly, and so on and so forth. So they have a history of being very poorly designed. So if they're poor design on all these other fronts, then we know for a fact that they're probably gonna take videos of yours that are clearly not for kids and mark them for kids, which they're gonna get throttled hard as fuck. Which also puts you
they definitely will 1v1. Yeah.
So the whole thing is extra fucked. And the issue at hand is that when they said in that video, you may want to consult a lawyer. I think that's genuinely so. You may want to actually do that or manage.
Oh, of course you should. Yeah, but if you're a content creator in general, you should already have a lawyer. I mean, that's a big thing. If you do copyright stuff or you're doing this for a living as opposed to doing it as a hobby, like you should have a lawyer to go over this stuff with you. But to sort of like bring it back to the One Piece thing again, I don't really think this is a community that'll really be affected. That's the nice thing about the anime community is that we are cartoons, but at the same time, it's like the demographic is so much older than usual and so much older than what's being targeted that the ads they're talking about that have been played on videos that have been targeted for kids are not ads that have ever played on any of our videos. Even like my most family-friendly Nintendo videos have been like targeted towards like a more adult Etika kind of audience, you know what I mean?
Like you look at the Elmer's glue shit on your fucking on your
I've also heard that with the mature audience thing is that you're going to get more money off of ads. Is that legit or no?
So you will get more money off of ads because they're going to be the only ones targeted now. So if your demographic is primarily like 28 to
keep it real. Because the problem is that what they're not telling you is that because of this new law, more and more folks are going to transition over to more mature content because it's safer. So if you're playing, so basically think of like a movie, PG-13 plus is going to be okay, but don't go rated R because you'll still get demonetized if your content is too mature.
That's what we're talking about though, right? I assume that's what you meant, right?
Well, because the problem is that demonetization affects your videos for the most part with like the first 2 days when you tend to make the most money through ads.
Right. But what I thought you were just talking about though, Dritz, was it's like we will be the people who are getting targeted ads, whether it's PG-13, R-rated content, whatever, will be getting more because there'll be less people that are getting targeted ads. So all those kids videos that were getting kid targeted ads before, they're not going to exist. These companies still have the money to spend an advertising budget. They will put it into putting stuff on those more PG-13, R-rated channels. They'll take the risk. Now again, King's totally right. Whereas the demonetization thing is still going to hit you if you're primarily R-rated and you're dropping an F-bomb every other word. Like, you're probably still not going to make as much money. But I mean, if you remain PG-13, you're all right.
Now, Roger,
that's pretty cool.
You're in many communities, right? On the internet.
What'd you say?
You're in many communities on the internet, right?
Oh yeah.
So I've seen this shit on Twitter that apparently One Piece fans are the worst. Compared to
are you talking about
I'm talking about
the guy who ran train.
I'm talking about
Afro Senju and Swag Kage?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Oh, what did Afro say? What the fuck?
He said they were basically just saying fuck One Piece.
The fans are toxic.
It started because Swag, who I've done a video with before, One Piece versus Naruto, that still for whatever reason gets views, despite neither of us knowing anything about the other series. Swag was trolling. he was basically like, hey, screw One Piece, I hate this. And the fans were like, you don't know anything about it. It's the greatest manga ever written. Like, screw you. And then he was just like, all right, whatever, man, I'm going to back off. And all these One Piece fans were like sending him death threats and doing all this stuff. And he's like, dude, fine, whatever. One Piece is great. Like, whatever, I'm done. And he stopped talking about it. So then Afro tweeted out, yeah, you know what? One Piece is trash. And all these fans then rated onto him. And Afro, I have DMs with Afro as of 2 days ago where he's like, yeah, I don't actually mean this, but the fans are garbage. I'm like, oh, believe me, I know. Like, it's not
More garbage in any other community.
What Afro's saying is true, but I think Afro, he forgets, and I'm going to refer to Matt B about this. Matt B should know. There was a time where you couldn't say anything good about One Piece on YouTube. All right?
Oh, boy.
Sure, when Naruto and Bleach existed, exactly.
Naruto was king. Bleach was still fire, even though it was full bullshit. And One Piece
you can spoil me on that now. I'm not.
Bro, you know when it got cool.
Times have changed where Naruto is gone, Bleach is gone. One Piece is still going strong. Gonna go for another 5.
Also, whoa, hold on, wait, time out, real quick. I gotta call this out. No, this is very important. Hold on, sorry, this is very important because I see this is the same stupid shit that I see all the time. Mini Mango in the comment section, he just said, "Wait, did Roger just call his fans trash?" No, the difference is not your demo, not Kings fans, my fans, whatever. We're not talking about fans.
The Kings fans are trash though.
I'm saying that the One Piece fandom in general, much because of what King was talking about, because they were always the underdog. They were the people that, you know, everybody was always shitting on the One Piece fans. Right. And so now that they have power, now that One Piece is the only one of the original big 3 left, if someone is like, oh, I like Demon Slayer or I like My Hero, they're like, well, that's fine. One Piece is way better. And it's like anything that potentially threatens One Piece being the greatest, which it is by like a far margin in terms of sales. Like nothing else is touching it, so it's fine. Maybe not this year, but like primarily, it usually is by a pretty wide margin. For whatever reason, these fans are like, well, you can't like all these.
Demon Slayer is coming to an end, and we all know that when a series comes to an end, sales normally tend to.
Okay.
But even still, because we're getting off the topic of the One Piece thing, the reason that they brought that up, and the reason that I don't agree with them just baiting the community and saying stuff, but the thing that I do agree with is that One Piece fans, because they are now on top, feel as though, oh, well, we need to push back at the people who, you know, had us put down for so long that our thing wasn't the greatest, and now we are the greatest. We need to let everybody know. And it's like, no, you don't enjoy what you enjoy, bro. It's fine.
Yeah. There's 2 things that I want to say. Like, bro, and honestly, One Piece did not get cool, like, to talk about One Piece until Marineford. Like,
absolutely,
up. You could not talk about One Piece like whenever Marineford was happening, Impel Down, Sabaldi, obviously, like that's when more people were like, yo, y'all see this? And then you find like the One Piece fans. But for the most part, in the comment section, oh hell no, you say anything about One Piece, you're getting crucified. Everybody will jump on you. And then second,
the conversation always went back to Naruto.
Yeah, always. Second, what you just said about Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not throwing any salt on Demon Slayer, like, but this is just the fact. A lot of the sales for Demon Slayer this year and why it's like selling out One Piece or selling more than One Piece is because of the backlogs. It's not like people are buying the new volumes that are coming out like at this exponential rate.
Yeah,
they're flying off the shelves. They're buying the backlogs because they're catching up to the anime. And they want to, or because they just finished with the anime and they're trying to like catch up to the series. So I just say, I say all of this to say, right? 2020, whenever the Olympics are going on, the Olympics are going to be in Japan. Wano is probably going to be in its climax or close to its climax. The backlog sales for One Piece after Wano finishes, I think One Piece is probably going to sell like 40 mil.
Yeah.
It's going to be another big booming period
versus, you know, Kaido and Big Mom. It definitely will. Yeah,
it's going to be another booming period,
like during Marineford. The climax be in 2020 during the Olympics? That's way too soon.
Of Wano.
What'd you say?
We're in that.
No, it's not, bro.
We're about to enter Act 3. What are you talking about?
We're in Act 3.
At the very least, the raid on Onigashima is happening, right? So whether that's the climax or not, so it's going to be
okay, fine. But like Kaido's defeat. come
No, I
summer.
don't think so.
No.
And I agree with what Spliff King is saying in the chat too, where he's like, I don't understand why people can't like One Piece and Naruto. People act like it's one or the other, and that's why you're all shit.
But
And,
okay, but like,
and
okay,
right
okay,
above
a
that,
good
Lord
example-
Zarkon, literally
a
right
good
above that.
example-
Hold on, I'm gonna read this out real quick. Lord Zarkon said, every day on Twitter, I see Demon Slayer fans are trash or My Hero fans are trash, and every show under the sun. It's so dumb. I think the thing is, when people say that, if they're talking about a subset of a fandom, and if I think almost all of us could agree, fandom in general, the idea of fandom, while it's great to, make friends through, mutually liking a series, most fandoms are trash. Most fandoms,
Yeah,
like,
100%.
a bad subset of
100%.
every
Yeah,
fandom.
but it's
You look
but
at
it's
Star Wars,
human nature. Wait, hold on, wait, but it's wait, hold on.
You
But it's
guys
human
are
nature to have
terrible.
competitions. We have competitions all the time. For example, a good competition that you see in social media is between the My Hero fans and the Black Clover fans, because the Black Clover fans always seem to have this weird little complex with the My Hero fans, because Black Clover and My Hero start on the same time.
Started
My
around the
Hero's
same
kicking
time.
ass. My Hero's kicking ass, and Black Clover ain't doing so high in the sales compared to My Hero Academia, especially in the Western world, especially like the U.S. and the Europe and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. So there's always this competition, and then we saw it previously with the Bleach guys and Naruto guys, where Bleach was never really as popular as Naruto, and the Bleach guys felt a certain way about that. So it's always a competition between the series, because like a lot of folks prefer Bleach over Naruto, and so when Bleach wasn't doing too hot, or like when the arc sucked, they would be staunch and defend it, like no, Bleach this, Bleach that, Ichigo way better character than Naruto, X, Y, Z reason, so on and so forth. The same thing happens here with Black Clover and My Hero Academia, where My Hero does gangbusters, and then no, you understand Black Clover, Asta, then and whatever the fuck. And
Yeah,
then
but
it goes on and on.
here's the thing about Twitter.
That, in my
Like,
opinion,
yeah.
I feel like the main reason for that is just because like it's not as simple as, oh, why can't we all just like, you can like two things. I think like the thing that's your favorite series or your favorite book or your favorite movie and stuff, that's like part of your identity, right? Like, how much we all love One Piece to a degree.
Fair.
So like
fair.
that's part of your identity. Like your tastes are part of your identity, and you take pride in that. So when somebody else is saying, no, the shit I like is way better than the shit you like, it's just hard not to get competitive with that.
Yeah.
I
The strange.
I used to hold a grudge against Naruto and Bleach fans to a degree, even though I like both those series. Now I don't really, just because they've suffered enough based on how their series ended. So like, what am I?
See, but even in what you just said right there, that's
Yeah, right. They
They admit it. They say it themselves. The Naruto fans are not happy with how their series ended.
the end of the day,
They're not happy with how their
at the end
series
of the
ended.
day, it's a
They got
fun
the short
thing
end
to
of the
discuss
stick, bro.
with casual fans, right? It's a fun thing to discuss, like, oh, my favorite thing is better for this, this, and this. But there are people who just genuinely do take it too far, and it's almost like they're hurt by it. Like, to me, I saw Frozen 2 opening night. All right. I guarantee you, 90% of my fan base, Frozen's trash. How could you like that? It's the worst thing in the world. Guess what? Didn't stop me from dressing up in an Elsa jacket with my girlfriend and going to see Frozen 2 at 9 p.m. on Thursday. I didn't matter. I love it. It's my thing. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It's like, I'm going to always like Frozen. If someone tells me, oh, it's not my favorite thing, then to me, that's like, okay, whatever, that's fine, but I like it. And I think a lot of it comes from insecurity in the things that they like, as opposed to making up their own identity. They're like, well, maybe if someone's saying that this isn't good, then maybe I've been wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about everything. Maybe I have bad taste, but that can't be wrong. I have great taste. And then they take it really personally. When in reality, everybody has a different taste, right? I'm not a huge violent manga fan. So like Berserk, Kingdom, that kind of stuff doesn't do it for me. I acknowledge they're good, but it's not for me. And that's cool. And I could go on Twitter and be like, oh yeah, 3,000 likes on this video to get me to read Kingdom because I hate it. But like at the end of the day, I'm not
You're wrong.
you're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm not at the end of the day.
No, you out of
Kingdom,
pocket.
that's the worst.
You were. You were out of pocket for that.
I will down for that one. That's fine, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Do you think-
That's the
Kingdom
right
Control
mentality,
horses,
but it's
so
hard
I'm
for
not
everybody to
gonna
have
hate
that,
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that toxicity comes from do you think a lot of that spawns from bandwagoning? Like the people who find something that's popular
that
and then they
definitely
just
plays a
jump
role.
on?
Yeah.
Of
That
course.
plays a role.
Well, it's
but it's like a wave. So like something first, people like latching onto something that's not so popular, and then it becomes their thing. Then the bandwagoning happens, and once it's bandwagon too much, then people start hating it because
And,
it's
like, the
popular, and then
original-
people hop off the bandwagon.
The
'cause they wanna
original
be-
like OG fans are like elitist about being there first, and then they kind
See, and that happens so much in the One Piece community too. That's like one thing that I noticed, especially because when I
can
made
talk
that
the
tweet,
wikis now, reading the
dude,
wiki.
yeah, exactly. When I made that tweet where I was like, if somebody who's a casual fan is like, oh, I've been reading the wiki, well, don't like go hate on them. Don't be like, oh, you suck. Like I'm a way better One Piece Just be like, okay, well, read that. Like, actually go read the thing. And so when people took those tweets of mine where I was like, don't go hating on people who just like started with the wiki, all these people who I know started with reading the wiki, who weren't like me and started reading along with Arlong Park in the initial release, I know they didn't. All these people are like, well, you can't say that. Whereas I guarantee so much of this community, especially online, if they weren't into One Piece before and they got in midway through, probably wikied their way through a lot of it before they went back and read it officially. And that's not a controversial thing. I think that's a thing that a lot of people just need to acknowledge. And like, I didn't do that because I read pretty much from the beginning, but I have nothing against people who have done that. And my point with those tweets was not to say, go read the wiki instead of reading the manga. Of course not. My point was, if somebody is reading the wiki, tell them, okay, well, now you could read this instead. Like, read the actual official thing. Go check out the whole story arc. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But if you're a casual fan who doesn't have the time, well, you can still enjoy it by like going to read a story arc that you think is interesting. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
We got a dono from Panda G. He says versus debates definitely made me biased for a while. Do you think that like Naruto versus Luffy debates would like fuel that flame? I guess a little bit as well.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like as characters or like who's stronger? Because like
Both.
Who's stronger?
It's always
Probably-
who's stronger. It's always
Probably
who's
both,
stronger.
honestly.
Yeah.
I saw
so-
that on Twitter today where it was like Luffy versus Naruto. People were just like freaking out about it. I'm like, these guys are retarded, dude.
Yeah, a while ago on Twitter, somebody.
Hisoka versus Doflamingo. I can't wait for that video. That's gonna be great.
I mean, there's no competition, but whatever.
A while ago, somebody put on Twitter, Team 7 solos the entire Naruto verse. I will admit,
Wait,
I got
Team 7 solos
baited
the-
into the.
Isn't Team 7 in
I
Naruto?
mean, no,
Yeah, I
I
was like-
apologize. Team 7 solos the entire One Piece verse, and I
Okay.
will admit, I got sucked into the bait for a
It
minute,
does.
and
Of
then
course.
I mean,
and
you're
then
completely
I
wrong, King. But
started
whatever.
reading, and then I started reading through the comments, and I was like, I can't be one of these
Of
people.
course.
Of
Like
course.
no, because
Like yo, like all you gotta
because-
say to counter that is yo, like Kizaru or NL solos with Naruto.
Why are you
verse.
getting
And then
into
all of
the
a sudden,
debate?
Yeah,
I don't think
but look,
just step back, and then watch shit. Just
blow
yo,
up.
I'll do it right the fuck now. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. on
Yeah,
Twitter. Watch
yeah,
it.
tweet it
Watch
out. Tweet it out.
Watch.
It
We
was,
should hold on.
I've
Wait, let's
seen-
all come
I've
up.
seen
Everyone
the-
who's on this right now, come up with a tweet that's just like a blasphemous tweet versus tweet, and we'll all post it at the exact
yes.
same time. I'm gonna do
I'm doing
Kanakuri
fairy tale.
solos Madara.
I'm doing
Yeah, fuck it,
not
do it,
to.
fuck it,
No,
fuck
fuck
it,
it. No.
Kizaru,
Sakura.
Kizaru, so. Oh wait, no, wait, no, and then put hashtag One Piece versus, and then boom, right there.
Not
There you
to
go.
solos.
There you go. Yeah. I'm
Hashtag-
I picture
Monkey,
Kizaru
Monkey
right
D.
now,
Luffy,
bro.
no,
Tweet it.
Monkey D. Dragon solos Madara Uchiha. Hashtag One Piece versus done.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing
exactly,
One
there we
Piece
go.
versus. Oh, all right.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Oh, all right. So
We're doing this shit right now.
It's tweeted. It's
Usopp
done.
There we go.
solos the fairy tale verse.
No, I'm doing Naruto, bro. I'm doing
Oh,
Naruto.
No,
that's funny.
the fairy tale people have been coming in strides
coming in.
lately. What
Oh,
do we
that's
hashtag,
funny.
Nick? One Piece versus.
One Piece versus. Hashtag One Piece versus.
So we're gonna get to. I'm gonna get to some fan questions in a minute. So people hold
Yeah.
on. If you
Make sure
want,
they're not chapter relevant for Roger.
yeah, I will.
You guys
Oh,
mean versus
oh,
like
thank you.
VS or versus
Appreciate
like
it.
the word?
Like VS. One Piece VS. Oh, these
yeah.
are funny.
So if you want your
I
questions,
like
put
that.
them in the community tab. We have technical
Kizaru.
issues.
Wiper solos.
Solos.
Wiper solos.
Naruto.
IQ verse from Morsh.
That's legitimately true.
Yo, that's
Not
amazing.
controversial.
That's amazing.
I mean, he might even be.
Wait,
in
what was the
Piece
hashtag?
Hashtag
never
One Piece
watched
versus.
One Piece
Piece
versus.
versus.
That is so
Yeah,
funny.
One Piece hashtag One Piece versus. Boom, there you go. There you go. That's it. Sweet.
There we
Watch,
go.
watch
You
us
have a-
make One
There
Piece
we go.
versus
Shitstorm.
trending.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, there we go. And then also you have a shitstorm right then and there. There we go.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
So with
Jesus
that,
Christ.
with that provocateur style anime community attack, we should get some questions.
Yeah, 100%. We just proved the One Piece community is toxic.
So we just
We
just
the
proved
one
it.
community is indeed toxic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Wait, yo, One Piece versus. Yo, that makes you guys see.
These are so funny.
Yeah.
Usopp and Nami solo the entire fairy tale.
Big Mom sold the entire Hunter verse. Retweet. There we go.
Oh, retweet, bro.
There we go. Like we people. This how you start a shitstorm.
Yeah.
This is how easy to. Usopp
Oh
and Nami
my
sold
God.
the entire.
Oh,
perfect.
Instant
Easy.
engagement
Oh,
right
Silver's
there.
also
Instant
amazing.
engagement.
Silver's, I love you, bro. I love
Instant.
you.
All right.
It's so funny.
Shanks
You know,
on Eric, spell verses right.
Yeah,
Fuck,
my
what is
bad.
that?
It's Australian spelling.
God, yeah.
I'm trying to do 17 things
What's
at once,
this?
bro.
Is this a weird Australian spelling? Is this how you guys do it? Now?
I'm
No.
trying to.
The
I'm
haiku
trying
verse?
to.
Yo,
I'm trying
I
to
like
do
it. I
1,000
like
things
it.
at
I
once.
like
All
it.
right,
Yo,
get up.
hey,
I like
Haiku
it.
verse is funny.
King, to make matters worse, I'm actually still keeping up with Fairy Tale.
Oh, stop.
Stop!
All
Why
right.
do that to yourself?
Stop!
Isn't Fairy Tail
I
over?
don't know. No, there's a Shippuden version called the 100-Year Quest. I'm not reading Eden Zero though.
Can you
I gave
stop?
that a
Can you
chance.
stop,
All right,
Silvers?
we're going on to
I don't-
questions. All right, enough.
Don't talk about
All right?
Fairy Tail
I'm
here.
not gonna read all of them.
Why am I here?
Fairy
I'm not
Tail
gonna read all
like a
of
guilty
them.
pleasure. I
Alright.
don't blame you for reading that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody's
Like,
on my side.
come on, come
From
on, guys.
Golem
We're
something,
better than
alright?
this, right?
All right, so
Like
this
we're
No,
we're,
I'm
we're
really
better
not.
human beings than
this
this.
is a good
aren't we?
segue out of this. All right, what's your most
Yo, like right
harsh
there, someone
opinion
said
of One Piece fandom?
big facts. Yeah, like that one up there. Big facts.
Yo, look at
Dragon Solo's water.
This is I love it.
Off the rails.
Funny
Off the
how
rails.
times
You
Solo
do. He's
Shanks-
solo.
Whitebeard solos the 5 Kage past or
Yeah,
present. I
yeah.
love that.
People
Yo,
want
right
you.
there, right there.
People want you to join in.
He's freaking out. People are freaking out right now. Bro.
Are they
They're
losing
freaking
it?
out.
Are
Oh,
they losing
man.
it? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Zoro
Reed.
Solo's all of Demon Slayer.
Oh.
It's amazing.
There it is, boys.
I love this.
That's good.
Also,
Questions?
See, and here's the trick. Here's the trick. We start this.
That is
Everybody
nerd
tweets
shit.
it. We get it trending, and then we loop it back around, and then all of us do separate videos on our own channel. Hashtag One Piece Versus, and gets us more ad revenue.
That's
It's
right,
just
that's
the
right.
circle of life.
This is why
baby.
Roger
You
is a
bait these
businessman,
people, and
right?
it gives us more money.
Roger,
That's it.
Roger
That's
is the
life.
businessman.
This is
of
why
community, right?
Roger is the emperor of the One Piece community, right?
I'm not the one who came up with this, though. Silvers came up with it. I have nothing to do with this. I hand all my success for this over to Silvers.
Shout out to Silvers, all right?
Shout
Much love.
Shout out.
Get Silvers to 1,000 before the end of
Sub
the
to
year.
Silver's channel,
it,
Yeah,
please.
go to
Let's do it.
Silver's channel and sub to it.
Silvers, what are you at right now?
I think I'm at 5 something.
On our Soniverse, everyone's like actually true though.
Exactly.
Christian did one that's actually like 98 bro.
I only speak
Oh,
truth.
no, actually, no, never mind. That's a bold-faced ass. That's a bold-faced ass lie from January showers bring Fridays ice slips to Christian. Oh my God!
Oh, man.
Shit
Yeah.
outs. All right. Okay, so check in with that later on. See. What's
Yo,
up.
what is
I mean,
going on with this
even if you-
One Piece?
If you look
thing?
at the comments right now, even there's so many people, like just like what we were talking about, that genuinely take this seriously and are like, no, that's completely wrong. Like, how could you say that? It's already starting. People, it's
Adjust
a clear
glasses.
bait. It's a clear bait. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's the point, bro. That's the point.
Oh yeah,
No,
Alex
people don't.
Torres on Rogers base, spoken like a man who hasn't read late Naruto.
Shit
There we
outs.
go.
Exactly.
There we
Exactly.
go.
Are
There we
you
go.
serious?
Yeah.
They
All
mean
right,
it.
from
I told you, man.
All right, questions
All
time.
right,
Let's get to the
from
questions.
Stilt King, $2. Do you think Lady Toki is from the Void Century?
Yes.
I hope so.
Most
Somebody
likely,
makes
probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Roger.
That's the only exciting option.
Okay.
I think
Came
Lady,
from-
well, Lady Toki
Mm.
was she in the most recent chapter?
No, 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 no.
No.
Okay, 'cause I was gonna say,
Maybe,
we're gonna have-
maybe.
No.
She wasn't in the
Oh, really?
No.
All right, look.
I mean,
I
we're
think
gonna have to see her at some point, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
at
we're
some
gonna have
point.
to see her in
Yeah.
this flashback. So
it's a
sure she's
possibility
not on it.
simply because I believe if she was from the Void Century and lived through the Void Century, that horrible ass war that engulfed the entire planet, and then came to Wano and decided, yeah, I'm not gonna jump ahead in the future anymore. This is the best life I've ever lived, and you're under attack by Kaido. You're being killed by Kaido, and this is the
hang
best
on.
life you've lived.
Silvers.
I mean, have you
She-
seen
she
Odin?
wants
What's that sweet Odin?
Have you seen
bro?
Odin?
Odin's a man,
Come on.
son.
Yeah,
Oh,
Odin.
yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. But
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
Chad dead. Chad dead.
Yeah,
Well,
you-
actually,
you
but would
can't
it be
walk away from
possible-
that.
Would it? Because she should be dead. But would it be
Yeah.
possible that we actually learn more about the One Piece through Lady Toki somehow?
She
some way?
could teleport into the future.
yeah, she can give us information about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, she
yeah.
uses her Force Ghost.
Yeah.
Haki goes.
Roger's Haki Ghost.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Roger's Haki Ghost at Raftel.
Yeah.
Get ready
By the
for
way,
it.
I'm not seeing that movie. By the way, fuck that shit. I'm done with that.
You're
Not in
seeing
episode
it?
9.
See how bad it is.
King, you have to watch it to hate on it.
Mandalorian's actually pretty good. I don't know if you guys have been watching it.
I've
but
That
heard-
is
I've heard
it is
really good.
amazing.
It's really good. I just finished episode 3 last night. It was new.
You guys play
Good.
the
Oh
game?
no, please don't. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying it was really good.
Mandalorian's
Well,
better
I
than
didn't
Game
watch
of Thrones.
All right, more questions.
Yeah.
More questions. You got more questions?
So basically, this loops back to what we were talking about from Golem something. What's your most harsh opinion about the One Piece fandom?
Harsh opinion.
I think we got that already squared away.
We covered that.
My most harsh opinion about the One Piece community
Alright, so-
is right. This
Yeah.
is the most harsh thing I'm gonna say.
Alright.
Right. The people who think admirals are equal to emperors are mentally deficient. There you go.
Alright, there it is.
There it is. That's my most harsh
Someone is going to
opinion.
be upset by that. I guarantee you.
100%. 100%.
Someone will be upset by that.
Second part to his question. Back to the topic at hand. He says,
Yeah.
"Does the truth about the history matter to the world right
Oh,
now?"
here we go. I'm gonna
The
say
ancient
no.
history to the. What do you think?
The ancient history does not matter to the world at large.
It doesn't matter until someone is able to find the One Piece.
What do you mean by that?
Until
Yeah,
someone is actually like the future and the Void Century stuff isn't going to come into play until someone is actually
Just give
able
him-
to find the One Piece.
Give him
again.
your argument.
Until they
Yeah,
know
'cause-
that.
Yeah, because you have to imagine. You gotta imagine. Like the One Piece isn't just money, treasure, and power.
Yeah.
Like Whitebeard said, when the
Right.
One Piece is found, it's gonna throw the world into chaos. What is in that treasure that is gonna throw the world into chaos?
Well, here's
Most
my
likely it's
argument,
the
right?
truth about the world.
Here's my argument that the truth about the world doesn't matter because there's tragedies happening here and now, and there's reason to hate the world government right now. It's not like everyone in the world loves the world government. There's no problems. Everyone's being fine, and then the world history comes out, and the world government's a fraud. Everyone already hates the celestial dragons. So what's the point of void history? It's not going to change anything.
I mean, Christian, right now in certain parts of America, people already hate the police, but when an article comes out about some guy who assaulted these kids like 20 years ago, the cops are now
There's a
under
difference
way
between
more
20.
fire.
Yeah, but there's a difference between 20 years and 1,000 years, and all those characters are dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now look at the presidential history.
Okay.
People didn't like the president. Then we find out a couple years ago he had
Again,
a
these-
mistress, even though he was doing great in
Yeah, and
office.
did that change
now he's
America
under
or
fire.
no?
Okay. So hear me out for a second. Hear me out for a second, right? The I'm not sure how many of you actually watched the show, but there was a show that came out last season called Astra Lost in Space, and there was a big reveal at the end of the show that was a very like it was a tremendous global reveal, and it changed the outlook of everybody. Like the whole world kind of gathered together to try and find out, like the truth and change the world and change the structure and so on and so forth. So unless the truth itself is a global thing, like they're all in some giant global matrix. Like it's
Yeah,
all,
unless
like,
it's
fake.
that. Yeah. Unless it's that.
Unless some
Yeah.
creation like that,
Yeah.
then what you're saying does hold merit. But I feel like Oda's it's gonna make sense somehow. Some way it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
make sense.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Of course it will. Of course it will.
Built up too much at this point that the history is going to be really important to like what happens in the world.
Yeah,
today.
I mean,
Like,
if this
we
Yama
don't know
would be able
what
to
it
pull
is.
off what he's pulled off currently in Attack on Titan, I have no doubt Oda's going to be able to pull off
I
whatever
feel,
he
I
wants
feel
to pull
like
off by the
I
end.
feel like the history is important to the fans, but not necessarily important to the One Piece world at large.
I don't feel like
It's been built up
okay.
that
I
it's gonna
don't
be
feel
that
like
way.
I don't feel like the history is important to like civilians. It's
Yeah.
only going to be important to people that can actually do something.
Like revolutionaries and things like that, yeah?
Well, you'd assume that the
And
revolutionaries
Yeah,
already know.
presumably.
Maybe,
I-
yeah.
It's not going to make the
I feel
revolutionaries more revolutionary.
Dressrosa as like a big foreshadowing for future events of the series.
Yeah.
And it's also like a big thing was like, the world's run by Doflamingo and it's much worse than people can tell, but on the surface it looks like a nice world, right? So it's allegory or analogy or whatever for the world government as a whole.
Except
So
when,
like there's
like,
a point where they
celestial
find
dragons
out,
go to,
like the
Shimon.
civilians do find out just how bad
Yeah.
exactly what
Yeah,
Doflamingo's been.
okay, yeah. But
At the
to,
same time he starts doing his
But we-
stuff. So I just
yeah.
imagine something similar happening down the line.
but the more we find out about the relationship between the public and the celestial dragons, the more we find out that they actually hate them and they don't want them there. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's
nobody
also
likes
like
the
a
Celestial
general sort of obliviousness kind of to the
Yeah.
extent of everything that they've done.
I guess, yeah. Alright, next question.
From Mind... Hang on, give me a second. Fucking phone. From Mind Mess. 2 anime and manga recommendations that people may not know about. What do you guys think?
Obscure
What are
picks.
people sleeping on that you'd recommend?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you like that one? Oh my. Okay.
I just
Haikyuu.
recently started reading it because Viz, they were like, hey, we want to do this thing where you get into reading like a new series. And a lot of people, well, in particular, one Japanese fan of mine tweets me every single time there's a new volume cover of that series and like tweets me details about like just things regarding the manga or like how the anime's coming out. And I'm like, all right, what the hell is this thing about if they're so obsessed with this? And I started reading it about 3 chapters in and I like legitimately really like it. And then I saw they're coming out with the anime next season. I could legitimately see that kind of blow up next year. I don't think it'll be My Hero levels, but I think it's going to be bigger than people are expecting.
They can check it out on the app, on the Shoto Jump.
Haikyuu.
Yeah, it's free on the app. Yeah, it's free.
Haiku?
Haikyuu.
Haikyuu is another one a lot of people sleep on. Yeah, Haikyuu is good. It's not
Yeah.
better than Dragon Ball, but it's good.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Haikyuu is the GOAT for sports series.
Yeah, yeah.
It has cemented itself as the GOAT. Yes, it's better than fucking Hajime no Ippo and Slam
What?
Dunk. Goddamn.
Ooh,
Slam
that's
dunk,
that's a hot take.
I'm fighting words.
It
but-
is
that
better.
is inherently false.
I just said
Wrong.
that Haikyuu is the GOAT of sports anime, of
You're wrong.
sports series.
There we go.
There it
That
is.
is a hot take.
It's better
That's like
than
Michael Jordan,
Slam
it's not the
Dunk.
GOAT anymore.
God
Nah,
damn it.
stop, bro.
It's better than
That's
Slam
putting
Dunk.
that's putting
Man.
LeBron over Jordan. Like, nah, dog, chill.
All
Wait,
right,
what?
All right.
All right. All right.
I wouldn't
Yeah, my boys, yeah.
Stop.
It's like
Wrong with
putting
that?
Roderick over Pittman is what it's like. It's not like putting like let's take it back notches, all right?
King, go watch Haikyuu, man. Go do yourself a favor.
God,
it's
I'm
like
not
when
rushing.
you-
I'm not
the
rushing.
The
I'll
anime,
get there.
the
I'll
animation
get there
definitely is
eventually.
solid.
Like, it's
I'll-
like how you
I'll
didn't
get
want to
there
watch
eventually.
JoJo and then you
Somehow
watched
I'll
it
get
and
there,
you're
right?
like, this is the go.
Just give me like a
Yo.
few more months. I'll get
Yo,
there.
when you finally get to this shit, you know what? No, King. No. You know what? Let me tell you. This is what I want you to do.
Let me
This
tell
is
you
what I want you to
something.
do. So you haven't watched it yet.
No.
Listen. I like,
Volleyball.
because of what just happened in Haikyuu, that is what made me put it as the GOAT. Okay, so wait until season 4 finishes, and then go binge this shit. Go watch it, and then come back to me and
Alright.
tell me and let me know. Hey, thank you,
So
movie
there's a
bar
couple of
for
recommendations.
enlightening me.
There's a couple
I
of
can't-
recommendations.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you for
Thank
blessing my life.
I
Thank you,
guarantee
Mookie
you,
Matt B.
I guarantee you that
Hashtag
Evo,
thank you, Mookie Water
that
My
Slam Dunk, that Dino Ace, that freaking
Ooh.
iShoot 21 are better than
Oh, you're out your goddamn mind. Get the
Wait,
fuck,
wait,
get
King.
the fuck out of here.
King, you're saying you
No way.
won't watch it. You're saying you won't watch it because it's volleyball. Let me ask you a question. Would you watch a series about sumo wrestling?
Probably.
I mean,
Probably.
have you seen the
Okay,
Hunter x Hunter fight
now-
where it's volleyball? That's pretty hype.
Now, oh yeah, that actually
Yeah.
was kind of fire.
So there you go,
Now,
King.
King, you said you'd probably watch a series about sumo wrestling. Have you seen a series
Not that
called
sport.
Keijo? Have you seen a
Oh,
series
here we
called
go,
Keijo?
Keijo.
I
Oh,
have
man,
not
Keijo
seen
already.
Keijo.
Oh,
I've heard
boy.
about it. Apparently they fight using like tits and ass.
It's a good show, right? Don't.
It's an amazing.
Why is the
show.
animation so
Here's the thing
good?
about Keijo. Here's my one experience with that series
Okay.
is 2 years ago, a lot of my fans when it first came out were like, you gotta watch it and do a review of the first 3 episodes. And at the time, I gotta be honest, I don't know what was going through my mind, but I decided, all right, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab a Mickey Mouse plushie and I'm gonna review Keijo as Mickey Mouse. And I did a 15-minute long review of the first
Jesus
3
Christ.
episodes,
Jesus
holding my
Christ.
Mickey Mouse plush and speaking in a Mickey Mouse voice. And the video is eradicated from the internet. However, I offer this to anyone who's listening to this right now. If you can find that video for me, I will not only upload it, I will pay you $50.
There you
Well,
go.
there you go.
It's gonna be after you if you do that.
It's one of the
Poor
funniest
and
videos I've ever
Silvers goes
recorded.
looking.
Please go look for it.
All right, $5 from 1D
It's a
piece.
42K fine right there.
Apparently, there's One Piece cameos in the latest Haikyuu chapter. Is that correct?
Hey kids, anyway, just chill out, Kaijo. It's handsome kitty.
Coming, bro.
I
They're
love it.
coming for that money.
Yo,
son.
Matt B.
Papa's coming.
Yeah, what's up?
Was there One Piece cameos in the latest Haikyuu chapter?
Wait, what?
Was there One Piece cameos in the latest Haikyuu chapter?
Oh yeah, that's facts. There was.
Last week,
Yeah.
chapter.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, one guy
Laz.
tweeted about that. And
And
one guy
and
tweeted
Laz-
about
Yeah, that guy was me.
Yeah, thank
Wait,
God.
wait,
There
was
you
that,
go.
was that Laz?
Yeah. I tweeted
Okay,
first, and Zoro put it after the fact.
The Zoro thing. Yeah. So then, okay, then obviously we ain't gonna rush Haikyuu. We're gonna push the shit off, baby. Push the shit off.
Hey, you need to relax.
Haikyuu goat, man.
No one likes
Alright,
Sanji the
go-
best,
so
alright? No one likes
basically, those
Sanji
are
the
the
best.
two
Hey, wait, Soma,
recommendations.
Shogeki no
Okay.
Soma, bitch. Hey, what up?
Oh,
Yeah, that series
I'm
went
gonna
downhill.
tell you, man.
Keep it,
Haikyuu
bro.
is the fucking goat.
It
Okay,
is.
alright. There you
Before
go.
that
There's the
chapter, not that
recommendation.
chapter.
There's the recommendation.
Hinata is
It's
a top 3
Top
main
5
character
MC.
That's a
right
good
now.
waifu.
Did we
Yeah.
just talk
Honestly,
about
bro, like
how the
Hinata-
fan bases of each show?
Hinata,
We
and
stand.
I forgot his name. Like the other guy,
And
like the black-
Kageyama.
There you go, Kageyama. They have to be ripoffs of fucking Sakuragi and fucking.
Oh, get the fuck, get out of
Better
here!
version. Better versions. Better versions.
Wow.
better versions.
Yeah.
Rebound.
Yo,
King?
I hate King of Lightning. Let that be.
Oh, there you go. Beef.
I know
Beef.
I lost
For
the touch.
volleyball, man.
Beef.
Look this up,
Yo.
alright?
We got beef starting on
That's
this
how
on
far
this
humanity
episode.
is falling. Niggas hate over
What the
volleyball.
fuck? This fucking thing just falls
Oh
out.
my god.
Hey, volleyball
I mean, that's
goes
how it
hard,
is, the
bro.
real
You
thing, bro.
tripping?
Oh, stop! How many?
Why?
Wait,
They
how
can't
many
do it.
times a year do you watch volleyball?
Have you
I
seen
mean,
professional volleyball?
Bro,
It's
I don't
actually
play.
dope.
No,
Yo, did you
I-
see? Did you? King,
no,
did you
no,
not
no,
see
no,
the last
no, no,
Olympics?
How many times a
watch-
year do
I
you watch
I don't
volleyball?
watch
That's
volleyball.
enough
Oh, I
about
watched the bikini league.
volleyball,
What's
alright?
wrong?
We're done. We're moving on.
Moving on,
That's it.
boys. We're moving on.
That's it.
We're
Alright,
moving on.
about
Funny,
IQ
funny
and
enough,
volleyball.
back in Europe and stuff, they actually have the leagues and stuff in Portugal.
I
I
bet
always
you
watch
go basketball is better than Haikyuu.
We're moving on
Mm,
to
that's kinda
another
We got a
question.
$50
Yo, you got a
donation.
$50 donation from Abdul Zahir. He agrees with Matt.
Abzul Dahir, Haikyuu, the best sports anime ever. He agrees.
Hey,
Shout
facts.
out.
Facts.
50
Crazy.
Big
Facts.
fact.
We appreciate the
Facts.
boys.
That's a fact.
All right, Haikyuu is good. We got it. 10 minutes
go.
on that
Yeah, I
one.
agree.
No,
We're good.
Haikyuu is goat.
Kuroko
It's the
basketball.
All right,
goat.
all right,
It's
all
the
right.
goat, King. It's the goat. All right, you have to admit it's the goat. There it is. Here
Kuroko
Did anyone
$50
see
that's
Ping
better.
Pong? Ping Pong was pretty good. That's like the only sports anime. I think.
There
Ping Pong
you
was
go.
pretty good, actually.
Ping
It
pong
was
was
good.
Ping
good.
pong underrated as fuck.
Yeah,
Baby steps is good too.
Baby steps is good.
All right.
that's tennis, right?
Shouts out to my nigga.
Yeah,
Jake.
it's tennis. Yeah,
Yeah. Princess
actually
Tennis
pretty good.
mid.
it's actually pretty
Erratic
What's it called
variety.
that came out 2 years ago? Like Champion Joe or Joe, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, that's all right.
The boxing one.
Oh,
Shida, Shida no Joe.
Oh,
Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
Yoamushi.
Ashita-
Ashita no Joel's been like the 60s. That's Megalobox.
Yeah, it's like-
talking about.
Yeah, Megalobox.
Yoamushi pedal.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
probably
Mushi underrated too.
overrated to me,
Megalodon
but
box.
that's sort of their conversation. I liked it, but it was a little. I don't know. Everybody hyped it up, and then I watched it, and I'm like, "This is good," but it's certainly not like as good as I thought it was going to be.
What, Haikyuu?
No, Megalobox. IQ, I've watched like I think the first I think 17 episodes or something, and I enjoyed it, and I want to finish it at some point. And my girlfriend likes it, so it's a good thing to watch before bed. So,
Make that business move, bro.
yeah.
All right, two
Hey,
more
and it's
sports
on
I've got.
Netflix.
Read
Netflix and
Sumo
chill.
manga.
Yeah, it's oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's-
Mhm.
Himanoto Zamuno. Shout out to my Japanese
Huh.
skills. Go read that manga. It's a sumo wrestling manga. All right. Next
Nah.
question, please.
There you go. Next
Killing
question.
it. All right. From Erratic Variety, if this was the last day of One Piece's final chapter, what would you do?
What'd you do? Read it. What do you mean?
Like, what would you
Go back and
prepare?
read my-
Would you
yeah,
prepare
aside
yourself?
from read it,
Would you pour yourself a drink? What would you do? Would you cry?
I'd cry myself
I'd
to
roll up
sleeping.
I'd roll up the fattest fucking blunt I could.
You do that every day,
Saw the
man.
clip.
But don't you
You
do
do
that
that-
every
you do that
day?
Yeah, man, that's an everyday occurrence. That's not really.
And then I would wait a second though. Wait a second. This is gonna be like a fucking 1,000 Sunny blunt, okay?
Oh, fool.
This
Wow.
is be a fucking
This guy.
blunt
Wow.
that is gonna this is gonna be a blunt that is gonna travel with me all the way to the ends of the earth, okay?
You mean them Sky Islands and shit.
That's a pretty good
so,
blunt.
so, so listen, man.
You take one
listen,
pull and he got to retire it.
Listen, that blunt is gonna be the longest lasting blunt ever. I promise you.
All right.
Word up.
All right.
Next question.
From Dix R6. How do you
Alright.
feel if the revealed that Odin was stronger than Kaido and he only lost because of Orochi?
I'm fine
I
with
would
it.
not like that.
No.
Whatever. Cool.
That's like too
Alright.
much. That's too
And
much.
he's stronger
much
than
sauce.
Kaido when he only lost.
Wait,
because
run
of
that back?
Orochi?
How would you
How
feel
would
if
you-
Odin was stronger than Kaido but only lost because of Orochi?
I would
Like
be
doing
down with
schemes.
that.
Yeah.
If Orochi,
some
Are you
nonsense
saying like
with
Orochi poisoned him or something?
Let's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
basically,
like
like,
that. Yeah.
Odin had to get nerfed
If you
by
kind of
Orochi
think
for
about,
Kaido
if you
to
think about
win.
the whole Gyukimaru thing with Zoro, I think it also be like a little foreshadow, like what exactly had happened
Oh,
with
right.
Odin, because you can
Oh,
see that actually implicated
calm
into
down,
with
bro.
What?
Orochi.
Oh, what?
No,
Odin was
that
hungry.
happened.
Odin was hungry.
Happened.
Kaido was probably most likely definitely stronger than Odin.
Well, there's a
Okay.
reason why he
And
needs
he could
Orochi
have
for
beat
some
him.
reason.
And he
okay?
could have beat him. It's just I do believe Orochi probably poisoned him, but that
Oh.
was just to like spit in his face.
Maybe.
Well,
To
yeah.
me, if Odin was stronger than Kaido, that kind of takes away from the drama of the current story, because it's kind of like even Odin couldn't beat Kaido, and that's why like 20 years
That's a
they've
good
been
point.
working to get the forces together necessary to beat him. So like if
Yeah.
Odin could have beaten Kaido, but it just fell short, that kind of just takes away from the current story for me
I guess.
personally.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Doesn't-
fact that he
I
got his scar and
necessarily
everything
take
from
away
Odin,
from
I
it,
mean,
because
like,
I think if the
he
whole
could-
thing is
Odin
that
could definitely have been able to hold his own, and like
yeah,
even
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
It
for
could
sure.
have been one of those scenarios where it's like, he had the chance, and when that chance was about to come, Orochi came into play and stopped them, and it's like one of those like what could have been moments. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Mm.
I really don't like-
think it's taken away
Yeah, I don't
from
like
it,
that. That takes away from Kaido a little bit too
I
much.
don't like
think.
it for the simple fact that it plays more into the whole like destiny and fate bullshit that even Odin couldn't beat Kaido, and without Luffy,
Well,
this plan was
Well, Luffy's not
inevitably-
soloing Kaido, so
Yeah,
we can
Luffy's
throw
not
that
Yeah,
out.
but I'm just saying
Kaido.
until Luffy
Yeah, that's
came
not happening.
along, until
Yeah.
Luffy came along, like this plan was doomed to fail from the very
Right,
beginning.
Luffy's gonna pull out that King Kong gun on Kaido and one shot
I
Oh,
it.
that's
think
happening for
King
sure.
Kong Gatling.
But I
King-
think
King-
the
King
Dawn.
Kong Gatling.
I think the Dawn is a part of what's it called? Like something
Sword.
that's on the poneglyphs. Nah, I think it's probably something that's on the poneglyphs.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being dead ass. Like
Oh yeah, I could see it. I don't think the Dawn
all
is like
connected, hopefully.
the country of Wano opening up.
Some kind of like an event or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be
Alright.
on the dawn of the new day or something, but
Definitely, Luffy will defeat
Yeah,
Kaido
shout out to
when the
Majora's
sun
Mask.
rises. 100%.
Big Mom and Kaido
Hey.
are following this arc.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
Big
know
Mom's
about
going
you.
down.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see it.
Big Mom's coming out.
Unbelievably,
I think Big Mom
now,
falls
yeah.
down some stairs just like Kuwait to be symbolic for like her
Yeah,
death.
that'll
I
be a
don't
gold
think
ending
that would be
for-
deep.
I don't
would-
think
it would be
the
deep.
main
Remember,
thing-
order respects women. Hell yeah.
I think
Why
the
do you-
main-
why do
I
we
think
have
the
to-
main thing in Elbath is going to be trying to get the final poneglyph, assuming that it's on Elbath.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because then take
The
out
final
two by
road
the end of this
poneglyph.
arc.
I don't think there's going to be like a per se villain in Elbath. Like I think that's going to be like
You don't think
there-
Loki
there-
in them?
th-
You don't think Shanks?
Like, nah, I don't think it's gonna be Shanks. I think, cause I mean, I have a theory what's gonna happen with Shanks, like at the end of Wano. I think Shanks is gonna die, but that's just me.
at the end of Wano.
Yeah.
A little
So
bit
you know
much
how
in
we
Wano,
see
don't you
what's
think?
going on the outside world with
Right.
like at the end of each act.
Yeah.
I think like Act 5, at the end of those chapters, we're gonna see like Blackbeard and Shanks fight.
That'd be hype. I'd love it.
Maybe.
That's just
And then
me
it gets
though.
off screen,
Yeah, I guess it ties into this guy's question from Dragon 456. Yeah, he does a lot of questions, so we'll just take one, right?
Yeah.
He says, Marineford is said to be, look cute compared to Wano. So surely that means Luffy loses something greater than Ace, if it's supposed to look cute.
Well, there's nothing
Or
greater than this.
someone loses
I
something.
would say Shanks is that.
Shanks would be
yeah.
like the thing, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Luffy,
Well, God,
or
maybe
it's
he
confirmed
says-
that
Well, I mean,
Jinbei
I don't
died.
Or maybe
Yeah,
Zoro,
but nah, but
I
like
don't know
even
if that's
then, no.
surprised
That's
that
not
he
even-
loses.
like, would
It has
Zoro,
to be Shanks.
would
that,
Zoro
like,
matter more
So-
than Ace to Luffy? I think
Yeah.
so.
So
right now.
so
A member
going-
of his crew would probably matter more.
just going based off of what I said earlier, right? About
Yeah.
about like a new villain inserting themselves into the story. What I feel like the Yonko saga is gonna be is essentially getting rid of the all powerful people. So the Yonko, the only one that's gonna be left standing is gonna be Blackbeard, and after that, the Yonko system is pretty much gonna be demolished.
Yeah.
Like I
Sure.
don't think there's gonna be so after these Yonko go down, so Shanks, Big Mom and Kaido, I don't think there's gonna be any more Yonko that arise.
Okay. Yeah.
Because,
You think
because-
it's gonna go
because
into
there's
World
a
Cup?
new system.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's going to
I
be a
agree
new
with that,
system
yeah.
to take its place.
I mean,
I-
unless
I don't-
unless Supernova
probably
like
not.
takes
It depends on
Because
what
every-
happens with the world
Hang on,
government,
I-
right?
I
Every
don't think there's
generation-
gonna be. I
every
don't think there's gonna
generation
be a
of
new
pirates.
system.
every
Yeah, the
generation of
only-
pirates, a new quote unquote
Well,
system
it's not a
takes its
it's not a
place.
system that the Navy developed. It's a system that organically
it's-
developed on the sea. So
Yeah.
a new system will arise.
Yeah,
so
that's
Matt,
what I mean.
Matt, do you think? So Matt, do you think like what's gonna happen is like the Marines and them they're gonna be overturned with like new people in play, and then maybe later like down the line they're gonna have like new systems or something else there to kind of like
Well,
overtake what
Well,
happened with the Yonkos?
Nah, I don't think there's going to be a new system simply because the three great powers is collapsing right now, right?
Right.
So okay,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So look, we like that's what I think this is all moving towards is the three great powers collapsing. So
Sure.
the Shishibukai is already done, and the Shishibukai has been done ever since Dofi was defeated because you had 2 vacant spots in the Shishibukai system, and we've never seen that in the story.
Yeah.
So then after Wano, seemingly the Yonko are going to be defeated. Then after Wano, an admiral is probably going to be defeated. Like I think that's when we'll see. It's going to be a big headline. Admiral was defeated. Luffy is probably going to be the one to do it, but I don't know how that's going to come into play. So the 3 great powers is going to be like it's going to be non-existent after this.
Questions.
I don't think there's going to be another system. I just think there's going to be a reign of supremacy to try and get to be the One Piece or try to get to the One Piece.
I'm with you like 40%.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the new era.
Yeah. In my mind, definitely Kaido, Big Mom gone. I think Shanks, Blackbeard's still around, and I think I put Kid as filling that next spot of Yonko along
If
with
he
the
does
other.
anything,
next up there,
Wano.
I mean, but
And
like,
depends on what happens to Law too and them, right?
It depends what happens at the end of Wano Country. Because honestly, here's the thing: it's like I feel like if Kid's bounty doesn't raise to at least over $1 billion come the end of Wano Country, then I think Kids. I think we're just done with this guy because I don't see them. Because at this point in time, it looks like Luffy is so much more ahead of every other supernova that
It's like what's the point of having a
matter.
rival at all? You know?
Right.
Like,
It's because at this point in time, then the main rival is going to be Blackbeard, and because we just know what's up now.
I mean, that's always been the
Right.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the case in the first place. So.
Yeah, it's always been the case. It's Blackbeard.
Right, but then at
Yeah.
the same time, but his thing is like, Oda himself alluded to Kid playing a bigger role. At least that's what he wanted because he never thought that Law was gonna be the guy. He thought it was gonna be Kid. So it's more so if Kid's get the shine that Oda actually wants him to, then Kid has to be on the same level as Luffy come the end of the events of Wano Country,
which is almost
and maybe
impossible.
Law too if Law still alive come the end of Wano Country.
So King, let me ask you. So what if they they split it up, right? So that Luffy is the main force. Like I don't care how you divide the teams up, y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the main force in defeating Kaido was Luffy. Main force in defeating Big Mom was Kid. Or opposite, you do it however you want to do it.
I think that doesn't work because
I mean, I would just say that because right now everything seems to be focused on either Kaido or Orochi. So if you look at Kid, you look at Luffy, you look at Law. Their attention is predominantly focused, of course, on Kaido.
Yeah.
And then let's say if you look at Zoro's attention is focused predominantly on Orochi. Big Mom is kind of the odd person out in this case, which is why I don't think that she really fits. Again, if you take Luffy's words at face value, Big Mom should be defeated after Kaido.
The promise
I don't see
between
why
men
you have all those comments in the future where Luffy says repeatedly to her, even to her face, after Kaido, you're going down, Big Mom.
Yeah,
it'd be so weird for that to not happen.
Yeah, but that's not the main argument. That's not the main
I don't
piece of
think the
evidence.
order matters as much. I think the order, is just based on what Luffy thought at the moment. I think, narratively speaking, it does look like Big Mom and Kaido, this arc just makes sense.
For me, it depends on how much the Rock's events matter, and if Kaido and Big Mom's relationship is actually something deep and meaningful. And if they go down together, that would be good if their relationship is that deep. But for her to not go down in Albath without, that Rock's connection.
Because I would feel like Albath.
Also,
Because when I think about what actually has meaning,
Katakuri.
Like Wano doesn't necessarily have meaning. Kaido has meaning for Big
unless
there's not actual genuine meaning.
I feel like God Valley would be a place if they're gonna go meet Shanks. That'll be God Valley. But I would actually like for Shanks to die before even meeting.
No, you would not like that. That's ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, cool. You still think God Valley's somewhere around because they said it was completely gone.
It's probably busted cold.
No, they didn't say it was gone. They wiped it off. They didn't say that it was gone. They took it off the map. They just
said it was wiped off the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was off the map. Yeah.
They said
it depends on how you take it too, right? Like.
something you guys were talking about with Elbaf real quick too, and this goes back to what we were even saying earlier with the 5 years thing.
Yeah.
And something I used to think was, yeah, Big Mom has to make it to Elbaf, but I recently
She doesn't.
reread part of Whole Cake Island, and I've obviously been reading Wano. Yeah, I don't think she really does, and I think it could open up where they get to Elbaf, and they they find out something about the story and what Big Mom did there, and then Luffy's like, oh yeah, I just kicked her butt. And then all the giants in Elbaf are like, "What? You? Like this kid?" And then it leads into almost like a jokey Thriller Bark-esque type story where it's really more about the development of the world as opposed to this overarching threat of, oh, we need to get revenge against Big Mom. If Big Mom's already done, the giants are immediately going to be indebted to Luffy and will feel happy.
I mean, but Roger,
that could happen, but I don't think it's a good thing for it to happen that way.
But here's the thing.
Roger,
then we
look-
get into power scaling, and how the fuck does Luffy go Big Mom then Kaido? How does that even happen? How does that even happen?
both of them at the same time.
How does that even happen?
Right now, I don't think it's even a discussion.
Hey, Roger, but at the same time, you got to remember, Luffy and his crew already essentially have the favor of the giants on their side. They have the two legendary giant captains on their side, and they have the new giant pirates who are going to who already have a majority of the giants on their crew that the Straw Hats have already made friends with.
And especially with what you just said too, if we think or assume that the Grand Fleet is going to show up near the end of Wano Country, because they mentioned that, it's going to happen somewhat soon. If they show up at the end of Wano Country, Haruden will be like, yo, I'm going to head back to Elbaf real quick. You guys want to catch a ride? And they're like, yeah, woo, sure. And then Usopp and Luffy have all these jokes on like Haruden's ship hanging out with the giants. And that takes us directly into Elbaf. I mean, that's an immediate in for us if they end up coming at the ending.
Yeah, to me, the Elbaf Big Mom tie, it's totally overblown by readers because to me, it's just like, oh, people saw Big Mom's backstory happen to take place in Elbaf, but her character's not tied to the Giants. Like, her dislike for the Giants was much later on when she found out they didn't want to join her crew. But beyond that, she doesn't actually care too much about the Giants. She just doesn't want to hear about them anymore.
Well, I think it's more related to what
It's big for her dream, and it's big for her goals as a Yonko, what she wants to achieve. Because she cannot achieve her dream at all unless she has the giants on her side in some way to perform. Now, now, of course, the onus is, of course, world domination with Kaido. That's what she is focused on right now because that's what she's here. That's what she's here for Wano Country. But at the same time, if you look at outside of Kaido, what value does Wano Country have for Big Mom? The answer is zero. So I know Big Mom is just here to wrap up the narrative, potentially wrap up the narrative. We're just defeating the Yonko on Wano Country.
Unless I know Kaido's a Big
but I feel like
that's
again, like just how I feel like in some cases, I mean, it's still going on, but just how I feel like Oda's kind of dropped the ball with Zoro in some cases with Wano Country so far. I feel like he's going to drop the ball with Big Mom. That's just my fear, ultimately speaking.
King,
Well, he's already
if you're
dropped
dropping the ball, would it really be a better alternative to drag Big Mom through 3 consecutive arcs?
Yeah,
it would not. Because it all depends on how he wants to orchestrate Big Mom's character. Big Mom hasn't been treated with the same respect you could argue with as, let's say, Kaido or Shanks or Whitebeard, that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Big Mom, you can also say, is probably the best characterized character among the active Yonko. You can argue, let's say, Shanks of the past now, but in real time, in real time, Big Mom is better than Kaido, without question from a character standpoint. I'd argue so far. So Kaido will get his share, and I want to take Luffy's word seriously. And if that's the end game for Kaido, I mean, even right now, Kaido, then let's keep that narrative going. So so you can then develop Big Mom's character even further if Kaido and her actually had a genuine relationship of sorts. And if Kaido's defeated, then you can expand Big Mom's character even further with that, see her reaction. Because here's the thing. If you want to, so from a narrative standpoint, I understand it. But I think from a character standpoint, it's a lot better off if Big Mom is defeated in Elbaf, number 1. But then number 2, I have to think about how Luffy is going to defeat Blackbeard if Blackbeard is the god in Raftel. And if you look at Big Mom and Kaido now, there's no way in hell they can beat Kaido, or if Luffy can tangle them one-on-one. There's just no way. Unless you have like a Hawkins and Gecko Moria, Nightmare Bowman, Tarot card, super power.
Do you think Blackbeard can?
One-on-one, I think Blackbeard could maybe take on a Yonko one-on-one. Well, he's Yonko
he's capable.
Probably
he's
now.
capable.
Is he winning though? Is he winning?
No.
I think
you
he
have
would lose
Blackbeard
extreme
60-40.
60-40
being Blackbeard.
But
if you're gonna ask it before Wano, maybe
Blackbeard is
not.
going to get
third fruit, like third.
Blackbeard is going to get right. But
not the third fruit
what I'm saying is
again.
that Blackbeard is going to get over time better. I feel like
Yeah.
Webcomics is gonna get better to where he's gonna be actually above the Yonko power wise come the time Raftel.
But that's like
or
in 2
maybe
weeks
end
in
the
real
story
time.
in-
Right. But
It's
by
like
the
2 weeks
time
real
that
time.
Right, but
happens, King, then
Big
he's
Mom's
gonna
gonna be the
only
perfect
one left.
Okay, but yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is that we don't have to rush
wait,
it
are
to
they
where we
dead,
take
or are
out
they
both
defeated?
Yonko in Wano. We can have Wano, Kaido, and then we follow Luffy's words, and then Big Mom is
Well,
next.
Luffy
in another
also
chapter.
promised
Okay,
Katakuri
but
to
King,
defeat
but
Big
King,
Mom.
but King.
So wait. So then go back to Dritz's question. My answer is yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot what the
So
question was.
King, he
Same-
said
same.
is
So
he
Big Mom
said,
3 arcs.
he
Big
he
Mom 3
has
arcs.
the Big Mom for 3 arcs. So, um, what? Why don't you see Big Mom is Big Mom's connection to Elbath like is that just because she announced her dream, or
It's not
do you
No,
feel
no,
like
I think
Big Mom's dream.
think
Big
that
Mom's dream was just to have everybody be able to see everybody on the same height. Everybody be
yes,
like.
and she doesn't have every she
It's
doesn't
not
have
the
every
same as-
species.
Well,
She
okay,
needs the
you know,
giants.
cut the giants out of her like black book of
Oh,
like people that she wants or whatever.
It is
The point
overblown, but
of
it's
the
not
island was
nothing
that-
as well. Like
Yeah.
the connection between Albath is a little bit
Like the
overblown.
whole
But
Mother
it's-
Caramel
it's-
event happened there.
Right, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not just the dream too, but the Caramel event too, where Caramel, her death is unknown to her. A lot of folks use the whole notion of, well, it was actually, memory loss, or like she actually
It's
knew what
unknown.
happened.
No, it's unknown. Yeah.
If she read the context of what happened, she had no idea at all because she was in such bliss. So very similar to what happened when Sanji made the cake for her. She didn't know what was going on. She was eating the goddamn cake and she was enjoying herself and she was having hallucinations and that kind of stuff. So the whole thing here is that the truth would probably come out in Elbath. I know some folks say, well, Hydruden is going to come to Wano country, so he could just tell her.
Oh
And, okay,
yeah.
fine, that can happen too, but that's lame. That's whack.
Yeah, that's not
very-
impactful at all.
King, let me
really-
ask you this question, King.
I don't know if it's even that important for Big Mom to get that memory of Carmel back. Like, I think people are overblowing what needs to happen with Big Mom's character. When
Well,
I think,
no, More
I
just like
think
you
too.
said earlier,
I think
I would
so,
actually
too.
agree with King if there wasn't something in one that already kind of highlighted that would happen. But just like God Valley for you constitutes, to a certain extent, a promise or a mystery, so too does like Untied ends on a character arc. But the thing is,
Right.
like, King, you see this amnesia stuff happening. I mean, it started off bullshit, but like, is that just where does that lead for you in Wano?
What do you
Doesn't that
mean,
really
start
just set up
It's
her
over. It's
finding
already
out
over.
eventually?
But
It's already over though.
Is it
To be
over?
honest,
Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah.
has her memories back. It's over.
Why
Like
It's over.
So
why is it
She's
an
no
untied
longer in
character?
amnesia anymore.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why is
yeah.
it an
the
That's right.
amnesia thing was literally just to destroy Udon. That was the
Yes.
entire purpose.
Yes.
That was
Seen that
literally,
photos
that was
from
That's
Yeah.
literally the only
inconceivably
reason.
bad.
it's
Yes,
very-
we
it's
know.
not good at all.
Yes, we
Well,
know.
This
Oh,
is
thank you.
this
Driss,
is
thank you so much for saying that because there's still people who are
We
like,
all agree
see you
on that, by the way.
LDL, Big Mom is doing cool things in Wano. I'm like, no. The
No one
amnesia
likes
thing
it.
was
No
still
one likes
stupid.
it.
It was
No,
trash.
but-
Yeah, no one likes it.
No,
Yeah.
Reason to defend that. It's fine.
this is my question with the whole amnesia thing, right? So it doesn't make sense because our well, if assuming she lost her memory with what happened whenever she was a kid with the caramel shit, right? Like what is she regaining back? Like what memories did she get back from whenever she
Yeah,
snapped
but
back to reality?
All of
Like-
it.
like-
All of her personality, her
Reverse
whole
gravity.
life.
Huh?
Her whole life. She
She
got her.
regained-
Yeah, she got her whole life
No,
back.
but the thing
yeah.
about the
So,
Mother
okay, so
Caramel
you're
stuff is
saying-
that she
you're saying
didn't
her whole-
lose any memories.
Yeah, look,
She
I just
never
don't
had the
understand,
memories to
so-
begin with. She can't lose them. She never.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
never
she
saw.
doesn't know
she
that
doesn't
she
remember any
grabbed
Big
it.
Mother Caramel.
Yeah, she didn't know that she grabbed Mother Caramel and the kids and
Right,
ate them.
exactly.
The only memory that she has of that day is her eating the semla, and then
it-
she
they
looked
disappeared.
over and thought
Right.
everybody just left.
Right.
There's no
That's
memory
her
to
memory
regain.
of it. There is
Again,
no
we're
memory
We're
to
getting
lose or
confused.
regain.
We're getting confused with whole cake island theories, and everyone assuming Pudding's gonna give that memory back when that's not. That's just a
Right.
theory.
Pudding's not
It
involved.
never,
No,
it
but the
never,
fact-
it just
Yeah,
didn't
no.
begin with.
with Big Mom's
It
character,
never, it just didn't begin with.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
for her if she gets the point of that whole backstory to me as I see it so far wasn't that okay, the character arc needs to be somehow tied back with her getting the memory of what Mother Caramel happened. The point of the backstory was to explain why Big Mom is the way she is today, and that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, but you would.
that fed her these fantasies, and now that figure is
Yeah,
gone.
but you can't introduce a promise and concepts of, well, what if she doesn't know, and people constantly saying, well, no one can find out about this.
Well, there's a
You don't
giant.
introduce that
There's
concept
people
without
who
it
know.
actually coming
Yeah,
back
and the
around
giants
to the
know,
character at
and
some
then
It's
point.
they'll
like a
tell them.
gaping wound for
Yeah,
Big
the
Mom's
giants.
character.
The giants know what
It's not-
happened.
That's like a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's
happened.
not. Chekhov's gun is not like just anything that kind of a character isn't aware of and has to find out or could find out later. This was just
But why say it if it doesn't matter?
Psyche
Why
is.
say it? Why credit to Big Mom if it never has
I
to
mean,
happen for a
to be
character
fair,
ever?
I
Yeah.
think there are a lot of Chekhov guns in One Piece, but it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
always
absolutely.
necessarily need to mean anything. Like I remember going into Dressrosa and seeing the suitcase with Bartolomeo and being like, "Oh my God, what's this suitcase?
It's
What's
the
this thing
One
it's
Piece.
carrying with the danger on it and all this stuff?"
We
And-
found
and
it out what it was. Yeah,
It
we
was
found
never
out what it
even, we
was.
never really got what it was. Some
Yeah, we
people
do.
assumed
Wasn't
bounty
wasn't that
posters.
It was
just
leg
the,
pieces.
Not
yeah?
really,
Wasn't
dude.
that just the? Wasn't that those
bounty
straw hat
posters.
merchandise?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like,
Those
it was
straw
some bullshit.
merchandise.
Like,
It was some
yeah,
bullshit.
Alright.
It wasn't
yeah,
anything.
like,
Yeah.
but we're not talking about someone like fucking Bartolomeo. We're talking about an actual character that has substantial meaning and weight to the overall
Exactly,
story.
yeah.
That's Big Mom. Like,
Sure,
yo,
of course, of
and
course.
if you're gonna put it in the same line as someone like Whitebeard or someone like Kaido, someone like Shanks, look at her peers. Her peers are stupendous and magnanimous figures in the world of One Piece. Even folks that are even higher, Whitebeard and Goldie Roger. Even Whitebeard after his death got a lot of stuff with Marco and the island he was when he was talking to Neko. I mean, when
Oh
he
yeah,
found
I
out
mean, I
Marco
don't
made him
doubt that we
feel
can get
comfortable.
things post Big Mom death either.
I'm
But
trying to,
I think,
I'm
I
trying
think
to,
you're
I'm,
proving your
I'm
own
trying to
point
find a way to
correct, right?
treat Big Mom. No, but I'm trying to find a way to treat Big Mom equally as the other Yonko, and even from a symbol of a character, she could be just as good as someone like potentially Whitebeard if Oda wants to make her that way. And part of that is going to be her finding out the truth about what went down with Mother Caramel. So
But the
yeah,
truth-
so what I'm saying is that Morge is right. It doesn't have to happen. Fair
But it
enough.
should.
doesn't have to
But it should.
but I would
But
much
it'd be
rather
nice.
prefer it to happen because Oda
Sure.
has the potential to do a lot of character stuff with important characters, big character stuff. But if he's so focused on getting to like the end of Wano and then having the thematical stuff of Big Mom and Kyle just and Yonko done move on, all I find it happens that way, but that's a missed opportunity.
Well, forget about that. It's just like
I guess you
my
could,
thing.
but like you could say that to me, it's something as simple as, for example, like Oda likes giving us little backstories to understand what makes the villain who they are, right? So like same with like Lucci, his little backstory, Doflamingo,
But
his
there-
little backstory.
there's never any
That's
mysteries in them
all
more
Big
though.
Mom's backstory was. It was just to give us more insight into what made this villain who she
And
is.
maybe
But like
more
part
insight
of
into
the
Albert.
defining aspect
Yeah.
of her character.
Yeah, but
We've already gotten more. We've gotten more of her
You
character.
can't
in
compare
the
those
past
backstories.
three
because
arcs.
Dofi had
We've
because
got more
Dofi
for
had
her
like
than we have for Kaido.
because Dofi had his backstory, then he had his character stuff also in Law's backstory, and then
Yeah,
the same thing.
but here's
is,
the difference between
Rebecca's backstory as
here's
well.
the difference
They're not-
between
they're not
everyone's
comparable
yeah,
backstories.
here's the difference, right? Everyone else's backstory has little to no mysteries in it. It's just a story. Where Big Mom has massive mysteries to it. Where it's
Big Mom
like
doesn't. The only
yeah.
thing is that she doesn't know, and the important part of her character is the
Alright.
fact that she doesn't know. Like that's what's important.
Yeah,
She's
and to wrap up her character, she has to know.
Well, she doesn't.
To be
That's the-
honest,
Look, villains
the-
don't
the
always
problem.
get what they
It
want.
has to be addressed.
Villains have to
It
get
doesn't.
defeated.
There's like
It
by
doesn't
no
have to know, but it has to be addressed.
Will never be completed.
That's what makes her so terrifying. What makes Big Mom terrifying is that she's a child with monstrous power who is like chasing this
Okay.
misguided idea that she grew up at. Like
Yeah, but
that
it's
she
not about
had-
what makes her terrifying. It's
Look,
about what
we're not
makes her
gonna
character.
we're not all gonna agree on
I
this.
Like, I don't care if she's like terrifying or not. It's all subjective. I mean, obviously, like
Yeah.
you know, like the other characters in the world find her terrifying and imposing and so on. But for the sake of her character, like Whitebeard was a terrifying dude. He
I
was
think-
a monster.
yeah.
But then when you get the internal monologues and how I can't be the strongest forever. You know, like I'm gonna do this for like Whitebeard and Blackbeard, and how you try to resolve the issue. How he does the One Piece at the end before he dies. Like Whitebeard was terrifying, but also I think he was honorable. He was. You
I
know,
get it, but I'm
courageous.
saying like
Who's to say?
Mom
Who's
is
to
that
say
she's
Big Mom
terrifying
isn't going to get
being
that moment
perfect,
during the
but-
Wano fight? I mean,
Well,
she
that's
could.
what I'm saying, Roger. I
don't know.
think that
Totally,
happens during
totally.
Wano. I think that
Yeah.
happens during Wano.
Yeah, she
She
could
absolutely-
totally.
I
do
don't
that
think she
during the
does
fight.
Elbap anymore. For me, King, I'm with you on Big Mom, like at least getting some type of closure. But like, just the way things seem to be going for Wano, dude, I find it very hard to believe she lives past it.
Okay, well
Fair
there we
enough.
go.
Well,
We'll
my
move
thing
on.
is, my thing
The
is,
sooner
right,
she dies, the better.
Katakuri,
Oh,
wow.
Luffy,
Wow.
Luffy
Jeez.
promised
Do
Katakuri
not think
that
so.
he would fight Big Mom, and that promise is between men and Ironbound.
Exactly.
broken.
You can't be
So
broke.
must
Exactly.
happen.
You can't break.
Yeah, I agree with Christian and Eric on this, but yo, I'm gonna get going. I have
All right,
things
dude.
that I gotta
All
get
right.
done.
see
Yo,
you
guys.
The
Christian,
stream's been going
Christian,
for 3
Eric, thank
hours.
you
We
for having me
appreciate you
on,
being here.
fellas. It was nice talking to you.
Pleasure.
Most stuff.
Take it easy.
All
Cheers,
right.
Silvers.
Peace,
Awesome.
brothers.
All right, we got 5
You know,
euro.
Silvers is turning this off and gonna go play Pokemon. You guys know that
Oh,
already.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
facts.
going. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
That's facts.
As soon as this ends, I'm playing more Pokemon.
All right, so
We got $5
Yeah.
from Man6. He reckons that Albaf will be more similar to Amazon Lily and not like a kind of
A
a
full
settle
arc,
down
yeah.
from
Right. I don't think it's gonna be a full arc.
big fights.
That's a fucking
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
Like, like a
Alright.
detour kind of thing, like
Kind of
kind
like
of
a
like Jaya
fun little
was.
arc kind of thing going on.
I hate
Not-
I
not-
still
not-
kind of feel
nothing
like it could be
crazy.
Thriller Bark length.
yeah,
I think they could
40,
do-
I just-
40 chapters, yeah.
listen,
40,
the-
50
yeah,
chapters.
best-
yeah.
the
I mean,
best
wouldn't
thing
it be
about
more like
Albaf-
Zoe?
Yeah, what
30.
Zoe, I don't know.
It would be more like Zoe than Amazon
to be
Lily.
honest, though, if
Yeah,
you
like
look
a transitional
I don't
arc.
know
If you
what
look at the
conflict
big arcs
Luffy would
of post time
fight,
skip One Piece, it's usually the shorter arcs. So like I'm all
Yeah.
for that. That's
Yeah,
great.
okay, yeah, but
30
like
and
the fact
stuff,
that oh man, like I see, like to me, I hate that notion because this is an
Why's
arc
that?
that was even this is an arc that was hyped up even before Wano was.
Yeah,
When you
for
had
sure.
the giant Tori and Brogy in Little Garden, and you had
Yeah, but-
Usopp there, and then you had the tension of the princess
King-
and his role with
Yeah.
Thriller.
I think I was honestly
Lord.
more excited for
I
Elbaf
feel like-
going back to
yeah,
Whole
like,
Cake
again, like,
Island.
It could be that way, but if it's not its own crazy epic little saga or like its own saga, then that to me I think is another.
Well,
myth.
40 chapters, you can tell a pretty good story,
Yeah,
King.
Thriller
Yeah,
Bark
you
was
could.
50
Yeah,
chapters.
it's
Thriller
40
Bark
chapters.
was
Only
Yeah.
depends on what
1,000
kind of story
chapters.
you're telling.
Yeah.
Shorter,
Is that-
shorter arcs are
That
better.
too, and like what kind of setup Oda kind of does with
Though,
Wano,
like
you
what
know?
King's talking about is very feasible because we could have a lot of these
Yeah.
could be condensed into that one story arc.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
Elbaf and the end of the Grand Line and information on Raftel and information on God Valley. That could all be in one story arc.
Yeah.
Like I think people are thinking they each need to be their own. No, they don't. They could easily compound. We can get more Green Bull in that story arc. Find some way to do that.
Yeah. Saga. What I'm trying
He just
to
has
say
to
is
learn how
that-
to pace himself properly when he gets to
Yeah.
that point, because he
Yeah,
remembers
yeah,
how he did from back
yeah.
then. But when you have so many things on your mind, it's hard to kind of keep it to like a short distance, right?
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
it's like part of me really feels like at this point in time, I mean, like if this is something that I've said before, and I know folks don't like to hear it, but part of me really feels like Oda is now more concerned with getting to the finish line rather than writing the story that he actually wants to write.
Well, he's getting
And I think
old, dude.
part-
He's getting
and-
old.
and I think part of that is because of a motivational issue, because I felt like when he
No.
made that statement years ago, when Kishimoto ended Naruto, he said that
The
he
straight
felt a
up
certain type of way about it.
disrespectful
I-
King.
and
Do
like,
not bring up
I'm
that
just saying,
motivation
bro,
issue.
I'm just saying, bro, like Oda may not be so inclined on, I mean, again, we already know that he's combined arcs like so many times over now in the post time skip. Germa and Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, but
Punk Hazard, Dressrosa.
I think more. Yeah,
Not everyone.
What?
Not everyone can be Masahiro Sakurai. I'll tell you that.
That's it.
Not everyone can be Sakurai, son.
Smash Brothers Game of the Year, baby.
I mean,
it's just the game of the year, 100%.
Amazing.
All right. So what I have to say about this is, I think it would have to do with more age and health compared to motivation. Maybe he's getting hand cramps. He's taking more time off.
Back hurts.
He's worried. He's worried that I'm gonna have to finish this before I can't finish it myself. That's what he's probably
Dropped
thinking
the number
about.
2 in sales this year. You think
Yeah.
that's gonna light it fire?
Well,
Nah,
I mean,
nah.
it should, but I don't know if it will.
Nah.
He's already kind of cemented himself as the best, considering where the sales are right now. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna touch where we are right now. Like Yaiba could do great in the next couple. Well, again, I feel like it's gonna end like in a year or two. But like no other series is gonna ever come close to those numbers. So he knows he's good where he's at the top.
Did he
top.
beat Batman
Losing out on
yet?
that yearly sales won't do anything.
Did he beat Batman yet in terms of sales? Or is he almost there?
Over, you talking about like the whole overall?
Yeah.
Like, no,
I
well,
thought
this
it
year.
was
So this year,
close.
Yaiba I think's already at 11 million, and
Yeah.
One Piece is just about to hit 10 million. So it's like almost a
Yeah.
mil, 2
Yeah.
million difference.
Well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in total
I
sales,
genuinely
I mean.
feel next year, just because I remember how hype it was during the first season, I could genuinely see next year Attack on Titan doing like top 3 numbers again too.
It
It's
should, based
so
on the
good right
anime
now in
too
the
coming
manga,
out.
and with the
Yeah.
anime coming back, the final season, and how good he's wrapping everything up. It's like,
Well, is it confirmed that right now we're in the final
Hey.
volume? So like
yeah.
by the time that comes out, the
Yeah.
anime's
Yeah.
coming out. Like
That's
actual
true.
for
That's
people who are
true.
waiting.
But-
for it,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
But, and I'm not caught up yet. But last, I think can attest to this. Niggas sleep on Kingdom, and Kingdom's getting it
All
again.
Yeah.
right.
See, this hurts me,
Yeah,
Cole. You know how
yeah.
much it hurts me
Yeah,
hearing
I know,
about.
don't do shit.
But
man.
Is
King-
Kingdom
but
good in
King-
anime?
People are gonna see the
I
horses.
mean, it
and they're
doesn't
gonna be like,
exist.
this is
I know
trash.
that, but rumors
Yeah,
are.
it don't
Kingdom's
exist.
getting an anime.
It's
Doesn't
getting season
exist.
3, which is weird. I mean, it's getting season
Supposedly.
3 anime.
Yeah.
So like, but they have a new studio.
I don't
that have
know.
new staff.
I don't know how much of an appeal Kingdom would have worldwide. It seems very.
I think it's something you could
yeah.
definitely sell and stuff, but
Yeah,
more
they
live
could do it
action
for
than
sure.
you are in anime. I
Right.
think
All the
live
horses
action
better
sell
be
it easier.
correct in the anime,
The
though.
movie apparently did really, really good. Really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it did. Yeah.
didn't see it though, but I really want to see it.
What are the chances the horses are CG in the anime?
100% chance that the horse is
Kino is one of the few stories that's actually on the cusp of manga.
100%. There's absolutely
Oh,
no
yeah, and
chance that they're not going to be
also remember
CG.
too, this year, we're gonna go into next year probably with it too, but we have the My Hero stuff with the latest arc, the overall stuff. So
Okay.
guarantee you,
Right.
My Hero's gonna start off.
Do people still like My Hero? What's going on with My Hero?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Haikyuu, I can't wait, man. I'm sorry. That deserves a lot more praise.
I guess,
Um,
I'm thinking of whatever,
That's
Haikyuu,
some
yeah,
nice.
whatever.
One last question.
Volleyball.
King,
Yeah,
you're talking
volleyball.
about Kingdom a lot, but yet I don't see any
Hey,
videos.
King, when I see you next year, we gotta
Yeah,
square up.
facts. I'm with you
Yo,
there, bro. I'm pulling
son,
a kneecap, bro.
Man, I'm ready, nigga. I'm telling you,
We
bro.
gotta square up, bro.
King just coming, man. All right, fine. I'm saying Luke Cage is gonna come through, all muscles and shit.
King's
No
got that
fat,
drop kick, boy.
no baby fat.
Hey man,
Looking
I'm gonna
good.
give you a light speed kick. You better
Same.
quit
Come on.
playing.
I can
I was
dodge
gonna
that
say,
shit. I can stop time. I'm Dio, nigga. I'm gonna dodge
It's
that
just
shit.
that little
Watch.
Mac combo.
While
even
you're on the
talking
topic
about-
of My Hero, though, real quick, just because this is something I've noticed. I don't know if it's just I'm like not looking in the right places,
Yeah.
but this season has not blown up in the way I fully expected it to.
It hasn't,
Knowing
yeah.
what happened with
It hasn't,
Overhaul, like,
yeah.
and obviously, like, I
It's
know we're
getting
still a little far away from the really, really good moments in the anime, but still, in all, like, I don't know. I think I really expected it to get huge, and I almost feel like a lot of the momentum from it went to Demon Slayer because that blew up in such a unique way midway through the year that I think so much of that hype went to that, and a lot of people who would have been hardcore into My Hero have kind of already moved past it now.
I
and
feel
are
like,
into Demon
I kind of
I
agree
feel like
with you.
every
Look at the
season.
sport.
I thought My
as well.
Hero was gonna blow up with Mirio during this, but like
Me too.
the
That's
total
some of the best stuff in
sales
the
for Demon
series.
Slayer, it's already only like 4 million away from the total sales ever for My Hero.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the total sales?
Hey, y'all hear that? Mid Hero Academia.
Got him. Got him. Got him. We already.
Demon
Like,
Slayer's
I wanna know what's
popularity
going on,
is
but-
literally insane, and they're getting
Yeah,
that
dude.
horrible movie. They're getting that movie next year. It's gonna blow the fuck up, dude.
Listen, like, and the thing is too, that first
Okay, wait,
season,
next
like,
year we
it's
have a
not even
movie.
the best content either in the series. Like, the movie coming up and then what's to come
Yeah,
afterwards
movie coming out
clearly tops that. So
Oh, boy, I'm
imagine.
looking forward to- all I'm
Gaiba's
hearing you
already
guys are
half
talking-
Promised Neverland.
Goku does?
You guys are
Yeah.
talking.
It's
All
our
I'm hearing right now is
movie.
I'm hearing, future watch through series, right
Yeah.
there. That sounds great.
There's not that many episodes though. It's gonna
Roger's
take a
now
while.
a
Be
My
God
Hero
tier,
st-
man.
a
Arthur doing
Hunter
all
Hunter
that.
stand.
I'm excited.
Roger loves
Yeah.
that Hunter Hunter.
Oh my! Well, Hunter x Hunter's legit. Nothing can touch that now at this point. I feel like Hunter x Hunter was a weird situation where I don't know what I was expecting going into it, but it's like easily top 3 for me of all time now. Like
I would
if
say right
someone
now,
asked me, like, what are your 3
anime-
favorite series?
anime
I would
of
tell
the
you.
Anime of the decade, Hunter x Hunter, without question.
Don't
I
read the
agree.
manga though. It's
Facts.
trash.
Yeah.
Don't read the manga. It's trash.
Facts.
I
Do
would
not-
say that no, the manga's not trash. The manga's. We had the whole discussion about this about an hour ago. I was hanging out with BMC.
Okay.
Dude, the current manga, I just got to chapter
Oh, it's awful.
366. So it's when a
Should've been
certain
there.
character arrives on the boat, and it's amazing. It's good. Obviously, there's complaints like with the art and how there's a lot of writing on screen, but the art that's there is still really good.
This
It's just he has a
arc-
lot of stuff to explain.
This arc in Hunter x Hunter better get good quick, or it's gonna get dropped. All right, that's what I have to say.
Hunter x
we'll
Hunter
see.
ain't gonna get
Oh.
you.
Actually, wait, have you guys been reading it like weekly?
Yeah,
When
wait,
it comes-
whatever it comes out.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's been
the
on
new
for
arc.
a
Yeah,
year, so,
yeah.
Yeah,
I read
I read it binge, basically caught up to it. It's
So
really
good.
juicy if you read it binge because it's like filled
Exactly.
with history and like lots of moving parts and
Yep.
stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
actually
right.
really juicy.
Yeah, I
All
like
right,
the Succession
well-
arc so far. What I've watched of it, it's good.
Last question, and I think we're gonna wrap up this stream.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Cool.
So you want to get the last question loaded up? We've done about three and a quarter hours. So
I mean, shout outs to Molan Israk.
Okay.
Mohammed, I'm blind. If Wano ends,
Molan.
if Wano
It's
ends
Mohammed,
badly,
yeah.
will Roger like Hunter x Hunter more? What do you think
Yes.
about it? All right, there we go.
there you go. There it is.
Can you please
I'm
get?
gonna agree with you.
Can you
People
please-
people ask me this all the time, and I don't understand like why it even matters.
We're back to
Dude,
the
I
same.
grew
We're
up
back to the
with
Twitter
One Piece. Of
conversation.
course,
Yeah.
One Piece is always my favorite. Like I grew up with it, but I mean, in terms of a narrative in this point in my life, like there's no question I like Hunter x Hunter more right now. Yeah. And I love Wano Country, but I think I was really soured through a lot of stuff that happened late Dressrosa and especially Whole Cake. And I'm not saying I don't like One Piece. Again, I still love it. It's up there. It's One Piece, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter are my 3 favorite series, unquestionably.
Okay.
And it's still
Okay,
up
cool.
there. It's
Good,
just
good.
that because I'm being introduced to a lot of the stuff for the first time in Hunter x Hunter that you guys have known about for years.
Yeah.
And sort of what Morsh was talking about, it's hitting me in one giant tidal wave as opposed to reading it week to week. And so I'm blown away by everything that I read when it comes to it because I'm new to all of it.
So what you're saying is you're a fake fan.
Recency bias.
Did you read the wiki? Did you read the wiki, Roger?
I'm not reading the wiki. I'm doing reviews.
Yeah, you're not gonna sequel, man. Come on.
All right, all right.
Hang on,
Recency
give me
bias.
Hunter x Hunter was the most exciting.
Just for
really good.
just for the chat.
And then plus, and I love how it's gonna end off, or at least where we are in the story right now. Oh, just the world, we're going to fucking
So close.
yo, bro.
I mean, I'll see you in
if
100
you
chapters,
haven't-
King. I'll see you in
yeah,
100
I
chapters.
understand, like,
Continent, baby, dark continent.
and, you know, I'm used to it because I have to deal with Hunter x Hunter and Berserk. Because Berserk has been like the fucking holy grail, but it has that one little hiccup of, oh yeah,
That's gonna drop.
we'll get there eventually. It's like shit.
All right.
You're killing me.
I need it.
Join my
Just
Berserk squad.
And where's Vagabond? Oh shit.
Vagabond, yeah.
That ain't
Didn't
going
that
back.
actually get dropped though? Didn't Vagabond like actually just get
I don't
dropped?
even know though.
Yeah, no way gave it up for politics, man.
One Piece is gonna end before Hunter x Hunter and Berserk.
yeah, that's facts.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hunter x Hunter.
Maybe. It depends.
That's before the
I-
5-year announcement.
Hunter x Hunter is gonna end like probably when I'm like 50 or 60.
I mean,
I mean,
Togashi's
the man
gonna be dead
alive?
by then, so
How old is the man?
he's like
Yeah, knock on
50,
wood.
isn't he?
Isn't he like 50?
Yeah, he's
be
gonna
like
use.
90.
Yeah, he's gonna be like
He's still
90.
young.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I say if Togashi doesn't finish Hunter x Hunter in the next 10 years, it's not gonna be finished.
Yeah. I feel though, I had this conversation literally on the stream just before I came in here.
Yeah.
Based on where I am right now, and I'm not completely caught up, so like don't tell me if anything else happens, but where I am right now on the boat where Crollo just came back, it does seem to me that like this arc could be, if Togashi really wants to, one of the last arcs, because a lot of the stuff that's there, he could do a long Dark Continent arc explaining a lot of that stuff, you know, exploring things, and then we could do the, you know, roundabout back to Meteor City with Killua and Gon, maybe after a time skip, and then see what's going on there with the remainder of the Phantom Troop, Hisoka and Kurapika, all being involved with Gyro. Because that thing with Gyro and Gon was removed from the anime where they said that one day Gyro and Gon will meet and it's going to, you know, be this legendary thing. It could be that Gyro just ends up being the final villain.
Sure.
They clear out everything in Meteor City, and then the series goes back and they're like, well, let's actually explore the Dark Continent now. And then it ends in a way similar to Toriko, where it's like, we have all this stuff to explore now. Let's go explore.
Shout out to
Yo,
Toriko.
shout out to Toriko. We always love.
All right,
shout out to-
the last question of the day from
I missed
Heavy
the corner
Hime,
roll,
the
man.
ultimate waifu.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
asks. Heavy Hime, the ultimate waifu. She asks. Are you happy
thought it
with
was
the
a character
pacing
move.
of the story so far? Do you feel like it's being rushed? Also, what is your favorite character in this current arc?
No.
It's alright.
No.
Pacing's. We talked about pacing before. It's both slow and erratic. So I don't know. Like, you can't really.
Not,
It started off
no.
really fast.
It's too
And then he
fast.
kind of started down afterwards. Yeah.
But then you have a whole chapter about a
Act one,
fox.
Act 1, he started out really fast, but then like he simmered it down as soon as we got into
Yo,
Act 2.
Naito literally says in the latest comments, yeah, like the pacing is really fucking fast.
Yeah, well,
Even
It's
Naito
fast.
says
It's
it.
fast and
Even Naito's
unfocused.
saying it.
No, here's the thing, King. It's fast. That's true,
Well,
but it's
he's
also
super, like,
unfocused,
farther in.
so we're wasting time. You know what I mean?
It's
No.
I mean,
No,
I
no,
like
no,
it.
no, no, no,
I like
no,
the
no,
pacing
no, no,
it's at right now. I think it's
Okay,
a good
no, no,
read,
no.
but there's definitely
Wano
stuff
should-
to
okay,
take
look,
more time on.
I think that if Oda had the same mindset going into Wano as he had for, like, let's say, Dressrosa, Wano would be a 300 chapter arc. I'm not even easily. But the problem is that, because here's the thing, there are so many players in Wano. That's the reason why it feels like it's slow, but at times fast. No, it's just fast. But there's so many goddamn people to cover, and so many folks coming in.
And then
That's
we
why
get-
it feels like
That's
we're not
why.
getting
That's why I
there
feel like we
fast
need.
enough.
Yeah, but King, the thing is, I feel like you could cut out half the stuff in Act 2, and nothing changes.
No, because they're important for the scabbard.
No.
Not really though. Like gathering the weapons.
are.
Not really. Like.
The weapons definitely was important. The stuff with Onimaru in the backstory there was
No.
hugely
That Onimaru
important.
backstory is phenomenal.
All
man.
right.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Christian's
Fox made it to my top
got
five
his
of one of
issues
characters,
about
man.
what's going on.
I have major issues with Act 2, but we can get to that later. But you know.
Wait, one of the questions though was who's your favorite character?
Yeah, who's your
In
favorite character in the
Wano.
Oh,
arc?
go ahead.
In Wano.
everyone-
In Wano right now,
Yeah.
is Tama. Hands down, bro. Tama. I still
I'm gonna
miss
say
his daughter.
Hawkins. Give it. Does that
I'm gonna
count?
say,
Does that count?
Hawkins.
I don't know. Yeah. Does Hawkins count? Yeah.
Kaido. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, current story Kid, maybe backstory Odin if we're counting Odin.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna
Sweet.
say Odin.
Oh,
as
Chad
well.
Dan. Oh yeah. Chad Dan.
Odin as well.
Tama gang.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I would also say Odin. Based on where we are right now, I just feel like Odin's a total
Odin's
champ. I love him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mini. Well, I won't say because Roger's gonna read tomorrow. So don't worry.
Yeah.
I almost lost right there. I forgot. You get.
All right.
Hey,
Episode
saving me.
100 in the books. What an episode it was. We
Went
had
off the
many
rails. We started an anime war live on the
books. Yeah,
stream.
look up on Twitter.
We started anime
Hashtag
war. All
One
right.
Piece Versus. Have a look.
All right. Have a
Hashtag
look at
One
that.
Piece verse.
You can like the channel. You can subscribe to the channel. You can listen to this on SoundCloud. Do all those things. Go check out these boys. I'm sure you're aware of who they are.
Yeah. We know.
Alright.
No.
If
You
you're on
know
this
what?
channel,
Unsubscribe
No
from
way.
Juice's channel.
Yeah,
all right.
unsubscribe to
from
Drits,
Drits.
please.
All right.
you don't need to
Yes.
listen to that.
there you go. All
Shout
right.
out to Matt B for turning up. We appreciate your time, as the rest of you guys.
All right.
You should totally just name this. You should name this live stream Reverie Part 6. Just-
Oh.
It's just a Reverie.
People are gonna ask. You'll get more views. You have my approval. Just call it Reverie.
All
Part
right.
6.
There you go.
There you
Reverie
go,
Part
it was a
6.
Reverie Part 6.
Yeah, by the way, real quick, for the anime war on Twitter, just scroll through some of your comments. It is a shit show.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's a shit show. It's a shit show.
And we appreciate Silvers and Roger for starting that absolute nonsense.
All right. There you go. Shakes the God King.
Shanks is
Good
God
night.
King. Good night.
Dragon.